Namco.
Dude, it's Namco. Remember Pac-Man? Remember Galaga? Remember Dig Dug? Before Bandai Namco was a thing, they used to be two separate companies. I know that might be a crazy take, but now we're here to witness one of the greatest FMVs of all time in the intro of a video game known as Soul Edge. Better known as Soul Blade. Just kidding, it's better known as Soul Edge. Yes, this is Soul Blade, as they called it in America, in order to avoid trademark copyright issues with another games company that had the word edge in it. No, this game is not edgy. I don't know if I call it wholesome, though, but yes, this was released in 1996 in arcades and also the same year on the PlayStation. It's freaking awesome. This music is awesome. It's great, it's beautiful, it's wonderful. I love FMV. As goofy and corny, as weird. Just so much soul to it. This is the beginning of Soul, like you wouldn't believe, man. This is the first game in the SoulCalibur series, as it would be known later on in the future. I don't know if they knew what kind of game they were going to end up making in the future, or whether or not they had the proper naming scheme for the series, but we're not watching this whole thing. It's good. Just believe me, it's good. Well, first off, we're already getting into the title screen. There's no music. This was originally an arcade game. It was kind of like that, where you just hear noises. Also, it's a Namco thing, where they don't really have much music in the title screen. It's usually in like character select, and obviously once you get into the various modes of this game. This is a 3D fighter, and it has a lot of inspiration from like Samurai Showdown, Battle Arena, Toshiden, another series that Namco made, Tekken, and games like Virtua Fighter. But this is also a weapon fighter. Look at this demonstration. Don't you already love the soul in this game? Look at that knight guy. Who is that? Who is this guy? He seems pretty strong. Look how fast this is for 1996. A 3D fighter, I just want to point out. If you've ever played the first and second Virtua Fighter and played Tekken 1 and 2, this would seem like, wow, we're moving at a lot faster speeds here. I know, it's crazy, but let's get into it. That's a good sound effect. So we're going to go to practice mode first. You're like, why are we going to practice mode? Don't you want to show arcade mode off? There's things in practice mode I want to show off that's better said instead of me trying to fight everyone and destroy them. See, notice how there isn't a timer here? So I can take my time to talk about things. So normally you have, what, 10 characters here. You can unlock 5 more, and I'll put them on the screen, but 3 of them are actually costumes. 2 of them are actually new characters, and I want to say new because one of them is actually the boss character. I think Cervantes is, but actually in this story it's Soul Edge, which is the blade that's technically taken over Cervantes, all right, or corrupting him, whatever you like to call it. The real protagonist in this game is obviously Siegfried. He's like a teenager that's just like, I'm trying to get revenge for my family for what's happened. Get the Soul Edge. You know, one of these mystical blades of history that has power and so on and so forth. Very much German. I think I should put his full name on the screen so you know how German he is. This is also probably one of my favorite characters to play in this game. I'm not saying I don't like anyone else, but it's more interesting for me to play Siegfried because of the great sword dynamic. Hey, wait a minute. Is that the ult costume? Yes. So the CPU will actually choose the ult costumes of all the characters, like Huang, Rock, Taki, Sophatia, Mitsurugi, who looks inspired like Haomaru from Samurai Showdown. Siegfried's ult is straight up red armor, which is an interesting choice, and I think it's much a parallel to what he ends up becoming by the end of this game. Swung Mina, dude, I'm just gonna botch all the names. Li Long, Voldo, and Cervantes. It tells you, obviously, practice Siegfried versus Cervantes, and it tells you what song we're getting into. So the first thing you may or may not notice is the colors. How bright and vibrant it is. Look how bright Siegfried is. It's insane. My goodness, look how bright these colors are. They're very distinct. You can tell based on the character model what this character is, what they stand for, what their moveset is just by looking at them. Siegfried obviously looks young, but Cervantes here looks very old, or at least an elderly man. You got your classic practice mode stuff where you can just hit buttons and it'll tell you how much damage they do. It's pretty simple stuff. But like I said, this game is pretty fast, except for getting off the ground. It's really not that fast. You got regular jump, you got your super jump, you got the jump, you can do a jump strike if you want, and you can do it different ways. There's also a kick button. You also have a block button, which is very interesting in a 3D fighting game specifically, because most of the time you'd probably just press the back button. But it also has something called a guard impact, which is like a parry. So in order to do a guard impact, you have to block and press towards the opponent at the right time. See, it's like a parry. You gotta really time it down. There you go. Look at that. Yeah, there we go. And you can do it from pretty far away. Probably the full distance of his blade. Let's see. Right here. Yep, see, look at that. That's crazy. But I also want to talk about, especially in this game, for 1996, just the environments. Obviously, it's not the greatest looking graphics-wise. That's not the point. But the soulfulness of having water, as you can see, it's water. And platform that actually rocks back and forth is very interesting to me. Because SoulCalibur is really based on being on one entire I wouldn't call it an island, but a platform that has edges so you can knock the opponent off. Compared to something like Tekken, which doesn't have that. It's really just a big open arena that has invisible walls to it. They didn't have to do this. They didn't have to do wrecked ships out here in the middle of this very dank water. These whole environments are crazy. These are all 3D environments. These are not matte paintings or JPEGs or images. Dude, you even see the door in the background. They didn't have to do this, especially for a 3D game. My goodness, there's a lot of soul. Okay, Cervantes, you're getting a little crazy. All right, let's do, there you go. Stand still. I didn't mean to hit the reset button. Oh, well. But I also want to show off arcade mode. There's very special things that happen in arcade mode in this game. We're going to choose Siegfried. I like Siegfried. We're going in as the regular Siegfried, all right?
Battle 1. Fight.
There we go. Look at that costume. My goodness. And as you notice, there's a timer in the middle. There's a time for the amount of time you spent during arcade mode. Obviously, there's the insert coin, just like in arcades. There is a sword meter at the bottom of the health bar. If you see, it's above the 2 dots, which is where your victory will be. It's good with the color scheme, too, because I think they picked yellow so you could differentiate from the environment, too, as well. This gave us crazy quotes. It has voice acting in 1996. Might not seem crazy to you. You might be used to it in games. And it's English voice acting. But the sword meter at the bottom with the fire in the background, it is your weapon strength, essentially. It's your weapon health. If you start blocking, getting hit, it starts getting lower and lower to the point where your weapon just breaks. And then you have to fight unarmed, which is a very interesting mechanic I don't think they bring back in the next game. Thought probably was a bit ridiculous to feel like getting punished for blocking. And I kind of agree with that concept to a degree. I mean, I don't think the concept's bad, but maybe just do less damage during the block then, right? Because I don't think there's chip damage in this game. Wow, I'm still impressed how quick this game feels for 1996. I don't think there was a lot of 3D fighters during this time. This and maybe Tekken 3 are like pretty good pace to them, despite being 3D fighters, which are known for more plotting during this period of time. Hence Virtua Fighter and Tekken 1 and 2 specifically. But I also want to point out that you could sidestep. Obviously, it's a 3D fighter, right? But you see how quick that sidestep was? Sidestep attack is so quick that it'd be almost near impossible to block. So you really got to position yourself well. Yeah, he's trying to get vengeance for his father. You could also choose the victory poses and stuff like that as well if you wanted to. There's multiple in this game. Like I said, they didn't have to do this. I also think the models are well textured, giving this a very good, authentic look to each character. Very well defined. I'm not saying that just because Taki's on the screen, okay? It's true. Also, if you notice the background models as well, like moving, I can't remember what it's called. I'll probably just put it on the screen, whatever the hell that is. But you got bamboo reeds, you got a nice, like, ancient, what seems to be Asian temple. But like I said, they had moving things in the background they didn't have to do. I say what didn't have to do is in terms of they could have put way less effort and still sold maybe the same amount of copies of this game, but they didn't. They actually were passionate about this project and wanted to put more things in if they could. Like the waving in the background, that could have just been nothing. You know, they didn't have to put any type of effect or motion to that. They could have left it completely straight, but they didn't. Okay, thank you, Siegfried. There's multiple stages, too. And they're beautiful. Look at this. Another rocking stage, but we're going down a river. I am not kidding. We are going down the river on this stage, which is crazy. You never think of moving platform stage in 1996? Some people would think of you mad. I don't. I think of them very bold and brave. See, there's even a bridge you can go underneath. They modeled all of that. It's not just I don't think that's a picture. I don't think it is. I mean, the texture kind of makes it look like a picture, but no, these are 3D models. Isn't that crazy? I mean, I'll just put a Tekken 2 on the screen and then show you this and be like, these are a year apart. Woo! They even knocked him out. Look at him. He's gone. Disappeared into the water. Oh, look. We're going to fight Voldo. This fighting game character is probably one of the most unique fighting game characters ever made. And definitely the most strange and unusual. Look at this map, too, as well. You got the pirate flag in the background waving back and forth. The Jolly Roger. You got all these chains. You got fire in the background. That's insane. That could have just been an image. There's shading in this arena. There's lighting. There's proper shadows that move with your character. Are you kidding me? 1996? What? I'm just blown away at how well this game not just runs and how fast-paced it is, but how well it looks even for its time. See, it changed its victory pose because I held it down.
No one can stop me.
I'm not saying that's the greatest voice acting, but it's goofy. It's got like 90s voice acting for this game. I'm not saying it's always going to be like that. Absolutely not. Look at this stage. Even resembles glass and it's see-through. Oh my goodness, Sofatia just perfected me. Thanks, lady. Also, they moved the lip flaps. They didn't have to do that either. They could have just had the voice acting, but no. Oh my goodness. I am trash. Wow, don't allow me to play a fighting game ever again. Renounce my fighting game license. Freaking Sophia every time she gets hit. Look at this fighting pose. You can also hit people on the ground if you want to. You can do like a jump stab. Kind of like that, but it's different for each character. Like Mitsurugi will actually stab with his blade. You're insane, Siegfried, for trying to headbutt. Look at that ground attack. I think there's also air combos in this game for 96. There we go. Jeez, the backswing on that one. You could almost see that her weapon got destroyed because she was blocking a whole lot. Oh my goodness, a mirror match. But you get to see Siegfried's ult costume here. Look at that, it's in silver instead of red. You could also play in red if you wanted to. This looks like an entirely new character, though, as well. This could have been Shadow Siegfried or something like that. Wow, I just got it perfect. Here's another new stage. Look, they got trebuchets, which I actually don't think are 3D models. Are those catapults or trebuchets? But the tower back there, the flag on top of that tower, look at those are 3D models. No, thank you, Siegfried. I think I'm doing pretty good for myself. Look at this. This is just like a field that's just propped up higher and higher than anything else in the environment besides those towers in the background. I'm doing my jump slice. Oh, he hit me in midair. See, the problem is when you make tall characters, when they crouch, they can't be at the height at which you're swinging the sword, because I technically hit his head there, but it didn't count for his hurt box, because technically he was crouching. The disparity of me getting a loss and coming back and getting a perfect is insane. You can also skip the quotes so you can get back into the game. Grass kind of looks a bit janky here, obviously, but that might be because I'm running at a higher resolution. I'm not playing it at the perfect value, which it was in arcades and the console itself. Nice try, bro. I'm knocking you off. Woo! Guess who was right? Guess who predicted that one? Yet another new map. I mean, obviously it could look a bit samey because the textures on the platforms and the maps of which we're at, you know, because it's just one big square, and it's like, well, it's kind of obvious what it was going to be. It was either just going to be repeating ground, or it was just going to be a square platform, which it does get crazier later on at SoulCalibur, but we're not there yet. I do like the font, though. It's like ancient or medieval. It tells you of a fantasy world that I really like and enjoy. 40 seconds is crazy low, too. That's how fast-paced the game is. When your timer's default is 40 seconds, you know the gameplay is fast enough to where the people attacking in the game almost never get draws. Especially how much damage you do if you get hit. Oh, he's so fast. That was so fast. Would have to have pre-swung. We had a continue screen there. I like how it's just broken buildings in the background, too, besides this giant. Well, it looks like the Great Wall of China. Also, you can only sidestep down. You can't sidestep up, or else you just jump, because up is the jump button. They couldn't figure out how to do it the other way. See, you try to go up, but you can move sidestep down in order to avoid your opponent's attacks. Oh, we gotta fight Cervantes now. See, we're back to that ship place we were in practice mode, because this is Cervantes' stage. I think stages also reflect the characters in the game. I notice I haven't used the guard impact a whole lot because you just oh my goodness, that spin kick is pretty well animated, actually. These animations on this game are excellent. I gotta say, oh my goodness. That is insane. That's also what Soul Edge does, by the way. Oh, he's gonna do it again. At least there's wind up, so it doesn't feel like complete and utter BS. That had some good range to it. My goodness. Don't get it perfect. No way. Are you kidding me? What is this game? That you get unique 3D cutscenes into the next boss fight. So this is where you see that Cervantes transforms into Soul Edge, which is what the spirit of the sword is. Even unique profile picture, unique background art that I didn't talk about. Look at this stage. This is final boss stages in the 90s. Are you kidding me? This looks insane. The ship is floating. The towers are floating. I think these are all representative of previous maps. This platform is also see-through, sort of. It's not truly opaque, but it's not truly translucent. You win. A bit transparent. Just use all the adjectives. But you see all the debris flying by? They didn't have to do that. This could have just been in the air. So what's unique about this game is that there are two endings you can get into it. Look, he just dissolves. And it happens after the black bars if you press a specific button. I don't think we're going to try to do that because I actually want to show you why it's important that Siegfried goes through what he goes through in this game. Because like I said, he's basically the protagonist. He's the reason why the series goes the way it does. See, the black bars at the top and bottom. And if I press the button, as soon as those disappear, if I remember correctly, because it does become interactable, but you have to press a specific button. And I don't want to show the alternate ending. I actually want to show the true ending. So you press it, I think, right here, and then you get an alternate ending. But man, these are all animated. They didn't have to do this. It could have been just a screen in this game. It could have just been a piece of art, which we'll do later on, actually. Yo, look at this. He's fighting it. Fight it, Siegfried. Do not pick up the Soul Edge. Look at that transformation. The slow dissolve in. That was sick, dude. Are you kidding me? I love it, man. Oh my goodness, look at that background. Oh, ooh, right in front of the moon, too. He looks so good. I love this game. I'm not even nostalgic for it, and I love it. It's insane. Hey, it looks like you might have turned into an evil person, but hey, listen, here's the congratulations screen. But there's more to show in this game. It's not just arcade mode. This is awesome, too. This screen looks awesome. I'm just going to put bad. The narrator's good in this game, too, as well. Or I should say the announcer. Okay, so the next mode I want to show off is Edge Master. And this is very important to what SoulCalibur comes later on as well. It's having an alternate mode in this game. See, I've already done 2 of them already, but we're not going to do that. Let's open up this 3rd slot. So you can choose any character you like to use in this game, right, for this. It even tells you what weapon they use, and that's important for this mode. See, if you hold down one of the buttons, you see the alt costume. By the history of man becomes a soldier, through the history a soldier becomes a hero. From a bard song in the 14th century, this is the tale of souls and swords transcending the world and all its history for all eternity. Yo, and it shows even a portrait picture. Look at this 3D model! They didn't have to do this? Man, this looks so good! Throwing the blades up. Look, those are all his alt swords, by the way. They show you right at the beginning. So in this, you basically just move to a spot and fight an enemy. But there's criteria in order for you to beat that enemy. So you hit book. It gives you like the name, the age of the character, what day they were born, the height, weight, blood type, even family, weapons, style, possessed. So you got all this nice character stuff. If you want to look at it, that's fine. I'm not right now. Bogus survived. I can't believe they put bogus in this translation. Tear this imposter apart. So the red text tells you what you need to do. Cervantes. I just did half health. Also, you only need to win once. Also, you notice there's infinite time. Wow, that was a perfect. That's crazy. Excellent stuff. Bang! It even shows you what you win. And now it shows an X on the screen to let you know you got to complete. Look at that! They didn't have to do that. So what they did is they shrunk down the 3D model and put it on the map. Are you kidding me? So now we can actually change the weapon. Look how insane this is. This is not a glitch. This is what it's supposed to be like to show that Soul Edge is that powerful. You can even try out the weapon if you wanted to. Look at this. They just put the model there so you see it swing for you. All right, so we have to look into the book, right? Because the book will tell the story of this mode. Crush all your enemies. Look at Sophia's shield. Isn't that insane? There's a command list here to see all these moves. Look at this. Insane. We're still going down. We're still going down. Look at all these moves. You also get different grabs in this game. If you grab them from the front, it's its own unique animation. You grab them from the back, it's its own unique animation. You can also break grabs, which is obviously feels like common sense, but for some people, they may not know that. Look at that martial law kick. I just realized that was a martial law kick. Yay, look, we got swords again. I gotta win 4 matches? Are you out of your mind? There we go. You can reset it with my head to start and select. But yes, we have the weapon room here as well. I want to show this off real quick. When you're doing Edge Master mode and you complete it, you can just look at all the weapons if you want. See all the individual names. The Omega Sword is crazy. Faust is even crazier of a name. Corey Fuji means something, I don't know, but Faust is obviously symbolic for Siegfried. Very good name choice. You could even look closer at him? Jeez, I actually didn't know that. So you also have survival mode, which means to last as long as you can against as many enemies as possible. Time attack mode is based on doing enough stuff in time. Let's look at the options. You could change difficulty. You could change the ring size if you want to. You can have an 8-meter ring size if you wanted to. You know how insane that is? You can even have a larger map if you want to. If you don't want to have ring outs, that's fine. 5 battle count. You can reduce the health bar. You can gain more health here. Battle time can be infinite instead of the standard 40 seconds. I do like that they changed the color to let you know the difference between what is standard and what isn't. You even have quick instead of arcade for character select. That's insane. Ultra hard? We gotta see ultra hard. First of all, let's do 8 meters at ultra hard. We gotta see that. Also, you have the original version, you have the arcade version, you have the con super session. You have 3 different background musics that you could choose from. 3 different soundtracks. I would listen to a Rage version. Look at that 3D PlayStation model of a controller. Oh, wait, you can press select for joystick mode? Oh my goodness, this is insane. Oh my gosh, she's just swinging all the time. Woo! Okay, so it's not so bad on Ultra Hard. It's not so bad. I think I can win at least 1 round. Ooh, this alt costume's good too. What the flip? He looks like Dracula, though. A little too much, I think. But you can see how the cape is modeled and the symbol on the back. It just looks so good. This game looks so good for its time. It's unbelievable. Wow, okay, Ultra Hard's easy on stage 1 at least. So I argue this might be easier or harder depending on how... Oh my goodness, see how high I went? They didn't have to animate that. I'm surprised they're not guard impacting. Oh, that was a grab. Okay, fair enough. Will you challenge the enemy again?
5, 3, 1. The legend will never die.
There you go. That's a game over screen for you so you can see it. Well, this has been Soul Blade, Soul Edge. I do recommend it once in your life to play this for like 10 minutes. You don't have to play it forever, but go through arcade mode once and maybe try Edge Master mode, and that's about it. Well, this has been a review of Soul Blade. Have an excellent one. And remember, The legend never dies. The legend will never die for the Dreamcast. Namco, welcome back to the stage of history. Wow, that's loud. Hopefully it's not too loud in the recording of this review, but look at this opening. And what are you thinking is like, well, what's different from Soul Edge to SoulCalibur? This is an in-game cutscene. This is not an FMV. They decided, you know what? We're going to show off the Dreamcast's ability to render graphics and also not try to screw up the frame rate. So here you go, an entire in-game renderization of what you'll expect to play in this game. Music's good too, man. It's so good. Look at we got. Who is this? You're probably wondering. It's like, well, you got to play the game. No, I'll just tell you, it's Nightmare. It's from the previous game. That's what Siegfried turned into, dude. It's crazy. I'm still impressed. I'm just like, hey, man, let's up the ante from Soul Edge. Screw it, let's make a better 3D fighter. Yep, and then we got SoulCalibur out of it. What these cutscenes do actually show off each individual fighting style or personality of that character. It's flipping awesome. Look at that. It's so sick, man. Oh, yeah, Ivy. Oh, yeah, look at that. Cervantes is back. He's got a different design in this one, especially since he doesn't have Soul Edge anymore. Look how creepy Voldo is. He's slow. Look at this Silent Hill enemy. Got Maxi here swinging his stuff all across the screen. Excellent stuff. Look at that. Taki just doing multiple spamming kicks. If you want to play a spam character, there you go. These cut-ins are so good. That's SoulCalibur, by the way. That's the new sword, which you probably won't actually see. Because everyone still goes after Soul Edge, but this is supposed to be the introduction of the new blade that's supposed to be the opposite of Soul Edge. Dang, this intro is so good. I just wanted to play that out because how good it is. The SoulCalibur font here is so good. SoulCalibur. We got a great announcer yet again. We got a nice background of SoulCalibur. We have the demonstration screen to show off who's what. And they actually give details to what each character is. All right, let's get into the game. Of course, got nice sound effects here. Always go into practice mode to show something off. So we're going to pick Siegfried. You can choose between different models. So the models are actually in the thing just like Soul Edge, and they even have different colors for backgrounds, different hairstyles. Obviously their fighting style is the same. Yo, you didn't think they could get any better, and here we are. Like the background's a nice green, the top is going to the left, but the bottom is going to the right. Every single character has multiple outfits. That's a glitch, ignore that. Look at Nightmare, it's insane. These look like sisters that they do the same person. They have the bangs differently and everything. It's like, wow, look at these two. Look at the backs, he's got blonde hair, red eyes. What are you, an anime villain? It's just insane the difference in the portraits. Mitsurugi, Sophia, I mean, she didn't really change that much. She went from, I'm not that sleepy to, I'm fully rested and ready to go. Boldo just got horns. All right, so let's get in there with Siegfried. So this is new compared to Soul Edge, is actually being able to see what stage you're fighting on. That's an octagon. This is like a weird arrowhead stage, and you can see each individual shape of the map, which is awesome. You never got to see that in the other one because it was mostly just squares, but now they're different shapes. So now you have to strategize how to actually knock the opponent off the stage. And they're all unique too, all different backgrounds, 3D models. It's brilliant. So let's go to a basic map here. New background, new font. Still trying to keep in the essence of what the game was. Cervantes. I like the way he does that. It's weird because there's Japanese voice acting for the characters, but the narrator's English. As you can tell, it pretty much plays like Soul Edge, but it's like so much faster. Notice how I'm just slightly moving back and forward. You can move back and up at the same time. You can still get hit. If Cervantes swung at me, I'd still get hit because I haven't moved far enough away from his blade. Now, you can even do the quick sidestep if you wanted to. Look how quick this is. I just want to point out, look how fast this was compared to Soul Edge, and I'll just put up Soul Edge footage for you. This is insane. This is 1999. Look at this speed. Not only can you do quick sidesteps, you could do small side steps. Wow, you can just move wherever you want. But the problem is you're wondering, well, how do I jump now? So A is still block, right? Jumping and hitting A will give you a nice small hop. I don't know how to do the big hop, if there is a big hop in this game, but that's how they made the jump now. They removed the super high jump as far as I can tell. It would be almost impossible to do it with the new control scheme. You got your attacks there, attack here. Got your ring outs. Look at that, he disappeared. And now you could just run off the stage if you want to here. If actually, I think I could just do it here, where I could back up off the stage. Look how large this is. Oh yeah, you can jump off. There you go, sayonara. Do you see the difference in the background though? They actually ended up, it's kind of sad because if I remember correctly, Soul Edge's backgrounds were mostly 3D. But in this game, there are some 3D aspects, but the rest is a matte painting in the background. or a JPEG. It's kind of sad, or a PNG. Still have the boats that's shooting a cannon. They didn't have to do that. But I do miss it when they were all 3D models, but I think they were, I don't know if they were stressed for time or simply just not worth doing it. So they went with a nice mixture of like having a matte paint background with 3D assets in the middle of the water. You also notice that there is a proper mirroring effect from the water onto the ship. They actually cast a proper image on there, a proper reflection, which is insane how good the Dreamcast could do it. It's just a shame how poor the Dreamcast did in terms of sales, especially trying to compete with the Xbox, GameCube, and PS2 all at the same time, despite it coming before them with these advanced graphics and lack of a library and controller design, amongst other things. But man, this game is just awesome. It is an upgrade from Soul Edge. You notice there isn't like a weapon thing. I know we're in practice mode, but they removed the weapon bar, so you don't have to worry about losing your weapon. I think they decided, you know what, we didn't want people to get punished for defending too much, and we wanted our aspect of our game to be focused more on the weapons than anything else. Still got your grabs, just got all the classic stuff from the game, just being able to do a little bit more in terms of movement. Movement is so important in this game. How you move, the super side steps, all that good stuff. I think we got everything I wanted to show off here because, like I said, I've already talked about it in Soul Edge, and SoulCalibur is pretty much just an upgrade of that. Not really too many new things, except for, hold on, I didn't talk about that before. There's critical edge in this game, which is also in Soul Edge, is that it's basically do more damage. Notice that I did 18 damage. Now I did 22 damage. So you do more damage when you have a critical edge on. That takes time to charge up, so you need to be doing it far away enough from your opponent so you don't get hit. So let's actually go into arcade mode. There's also the VMU, which is the video memory unit. Dreamcast was ahead of its time. Of a time and ahead of its time. So you got all these modes as well, but of course we got to go to arcade mode first. It's all these characters that you can choose from. The top row are all new characters that you have to unlock. The bottom characters are all the ones you can use immediately. So I'm going to use Cervantes this time. We're going with the Band of the Hawk Griffith outfit. Cervantes is still evil, by the way. He's not good. So sick. Yeah, narrator saying both names and saying the font that's the Tears for you. See, the walls are 3D, which is interesting here. Look at that, that's 3D in the background. They didn't do it for every map, but these are all 3D assets. I don't know about that statue in the background, though. Also, this is a uniquely shaped map with a bunch of rats scurrying around on the platform. Also, they give you the narrator. I know I'm talking over him because there's a lot of things happening right now. Also, custom battle poses and quotes as well, but they're in Japanese. This game feels insanely good for $19.99 for a 3D fighter. This Tekken 3, man, oh my goodness. I think you still have guard impact in this game as well, but I almost never use it because of how aggressive you are in this game with any character. Look at that, get out of here. Look at the reflection of the torches on the water. That's sick. That chandelier's a 3D model. They didn't have to do that. I just can't believe how good some stuff was back then, and I don't know if we really appreciated it a lot when it first came out. Another map, 3D models. Mountains in the back aren't, but 3D models of the pillars. That mountain looks sick as hell, too. Oh, I just want to point something out on this map. You notice this is a cold map, right? The characters are breathing. They literally modeled wind in this game, and the character's breathing because it's cold. That's crazy. Also, if you stand neutrally, it automatically blocks. So just be neutral. Neutral's actually good in this game. Yeah, that's a command grab. That stab from a certain distance is a command grab, which stabs into him and acts as a grab. There we go. See, that's a normal grab. Which, look at that sick grab. They didn't have to animate that. Oh my goodness. Also, if you notice from the HUD, we got to talk about the HUD because the HUD's different from Soul Edge. I'll probably pause it on the next match so I can just show that off. So we can pause in the middle of the game, which is good. You also have your command list as well, and it tells you all the things that are in there, like what buttons do what angle, what combinations you can work with. It's insane. Look how colorful that is. You got the character on the left of Cervantes' name that's like flashing up and down. All right, so the HUD here is a little bit different from Soul Edge, but still tries to carry the same aesthetic as if it's diegetically a part of the SoulCalibur universe, which is now what it's going to be called throughout the rest of the games. They didn't go with like Soul Edge 2 or Soul Edge versus SoulCalibur. We're now calling the series SoulCalibur. As you notice, the health bars are kind of the same, but they're more like they have like plastic reflections. You have the stage up top. You obviously have your arcade time, the timer, which is like a similar font to what Soul Edge was. You have the 2 dots underneath for your victory, and the victory now shines. If you didn't see it from the other matches, the victory will actually shine. It'll give a nice glimmer for you for winning, so that's a nice touch. If you notice, the names have strike-throughs behind them, which indicate what costume you're actually wearing. So different costumes will have different colors to let you know that it's a different costume than it normally is. I'm using an alt costume of Cervantes, so it gives me a different color to show that it's an alt. Same thing with Killer. solid. So you got 3D models and matte paintings. Good combo. I kind of wish the matte paintings were a bit clearer or the images were a bit clearer, but that's about it. If you see the V right there, it glows. Or not glows, it shimmers with the reflection. It's very nice. This is one of the better upgrades I like about this game, too. You notice the timer still starts at 40, because that's how quick it is. But if you notice at the top right, instead of saying not just press start, but trying to insert coin, it says challenge me. Like it's threatening you, come to me, beckoning you to play the game. There it is. Lip flaps are good. The models are excellent. The Dreamcast is... I don't think it's overrated or underrated, really. I think it's gotten more cult gathering throughout the ages, but I think that's more because of Sonic. Hey! Remember that animation? But they made it a little bit smoother in this game. That's what I like about a proper sequel as well, is that they try to upgrade things in it. Notice, hey, remember that Soul Edge map at the moving water or the moving platform? Look how fast we're going now in comparison, as well as the texture of the water. It's beautiful. There's also lily pads of flowers here, trying to make it, I think, similar to what would be either ancient China or ancient Japan. Temples and lilies and cherry blossoms, all that nice stuff. I'm still impressed about the reflections in the water. The voice acting, I think, is pretty good in this, too. I think it really exemplifies what these characters would be like if you've never played the Japanese version of Soul Edge. Woo! Look at that slow fall. And they still give you, like, the stage name and the BGM in the bottom as well. Oh, my goodness. Nightmare doing that was crazy. Never expect a great sword wielder to do that kind of stuff, do you? There you go. Get off the stage. I'll join you. So on stage 7, they give special scene for who they're fighting against. Woo! Ooh, see, that was a Batman grab. Look at that. That's just a very good move. That's why I like using it. Oh my god. Taki's voice acting's a bit iffy here. The ability to just jump in the water with your opponent is so good. It's unnecessary, but it's good. Alright, so now we get to fight the boss of this game, which is Inferno, which is the soul of Soul Edge. Similar gimmick to Soul Edge, except he uses multiple different classes. If you guys know what Mokujin is from Tekken 3, that's what Inferno is now. He just uses multiple different classes. Look at this Final Destination stage! They always make the boss stages very grand, majestic. They always try to make over the top. This is what a wormhole would look like. So right now, Inferno is using the Soul Edge. Newly designed Soul Edge. Ooh, I got cooked. I also like this is the new version of Soul Edge. And you'll see this version for a pretty good amount of time before they change up the design. If you see that load, you had to see that Inferno switched to a different style, which is Astaroth style. But I mean, it's just... wow. Okay. I'm getting cooked as Cervantes. Continue. Well, you got to see the continue screen. So we switched back to using Soul Edge. All right. Well, that was a perfect. Out of rings don't show perfects. I don't know if the opponent actually gets easier as you lose. Woo! Oh, he bounced off. You can actually like bounce on the stage and fall off. And then Inferno just blows up. With whatever weapon he has in his hand, they didn't have to animate that. Absolutely did not have to, but every Inferno death has its own animation if you destroyed him with the weapon they have. So what's different from Soul Edge is that they decided to just do art instead. And the art's really good. Trust me, the art is, but I do miss the in-game cutscenes. It's like they reversed it. FMV was in the beginning of Soul Edge, but then they had in-game cutscenes instead, and now the endings in arcade mode are just art now, which is very good art. I like it, but I wish they actually had in-game cutscenes instead. Look at that, you got Soul Edge back. This art is so good for it too. And it fits more like a history book, which is what I really like about the design of this art, the color pattern, right? Like it's faded and a part of history. And we have a new congratulations screen that scrolls from right to left and left to right. You are a true hero and your legend will never die. But across horizon, a new quest beckons your soul. And you have the credit screen now, so we can skip it. You don't have to worry about it too much. And now, this is a whole new thing. If you remember from Soul Edge, all you had to do was just click 3 buttons. Now you can literally use your character, and it follows the letters. It's insane. Look at that. And you can just strike it whatever you want. Look at all those 3D numbers. Or not 3D. Well, they are 3D in a sense, but they're 2D. They're flat, but they're in a circle. They did not have to do this. Look at this. You could... look at this. Woo! It's so sick. I'm so glad they did this. So the only 2 characters I don't have unlocked, Inferno and Edgemaster. Edgemaster and Inferno basically play the same way, but they have different character models and different lines. So you can tell with the bad, I did worse with Cervantes. All these bads are mine. Top one I already know is Nightmare, because obviously Siegfried did horrible. Because Nightmare and Siegfried actually play differently, which is awesome. And it's interesting that they're both in the game because Siegfried is Nightmare at this point. So now they have like the museum where you can see all the SoulCalibur treasures. Like you look at the art gallery if you want it for this game. Collection data for all the characters that are selectable. They tell you what maps are unlocked. New costume for people. It's very interesting stuff. I don't know why I have 0 of 12 of this. Oh, you buy these. I don't know if I need to buy anything else, but this is going to be like the start of where you buy things in the game. Oh, you get new stages from this too? I didn't even notice that. I didn't know that either. I like playing it like this because I learned new things that I didn't know about. And you can also click the thing to see it. You can move the picture around. I think you can zoom in too. All this nice character art. There's more? You can buy even more portraits and stuff like that? I don't got enough points for that. That's going to take a lot of grinding. But in order to get Edgemaster and Inferno, you have to play every character. The specific outfit for one of the characters. I'll probably just put it on the screen. So we have new modes, versus battle, team battle, where you can actually play with a team. Very interesting choice. Time attack, survival, there's all the classic stuff. I already showed off the museum. But the other thing that's new here is mission battle, which is essentially Edgemaster mode. So we're going to play as Nightmare, because he's my guy. So we got all these missions. So it's the same as Edgemaster mode, where you want to move around and click to new places. It's a mouse cursor now for some reason. I don't like this change nearly as much. I kind of wish it was a 3D model going to new places. I think that was cool about Soul Edge. So it tells you the difficulty, the story of what you have to do. Oh, it speeds up until you get hit. Okay, nice. Woo, look how fast that is. That's insane. You can also hit your opponent afterwards as well. So I got that done. And notes on the map, like a red X like it was in the classic one. Do you get art here? Is that what the thing is? 'Cause I don't think you get extra weapons. Can I buy more stuff? I probably can. So let's go try this next mission. Oh, this is part of training. So in this mode, you can train. Oh, that's an old costume for Edgemaster. He looks nothing like that in his normal costume. And it'll tell you what you have to do. See, he's using Killick style. So I gotta throw him from the front. And it tells you what you did, right? Side throw. Oh, that's from the back? Really? Okay, that's from the right. There we go. That's from the left. 4 different throws there, by the way, from each angle. Are you crazy? You didn't have to do that, but they did. And the multiple missions here, this is kind of annoying, actually. I wish they removed Edgemaster part. I get they want to teach people how to play the game, but I feel like this is not the place to do it. You should be doing this in practice mode, not in this mission mode. We could go to this other place instead of doing that, which is interesting because it's not forced to do it, but you want to complete everything. So sand will bury your feet and make your movement slower if you do not run. Interesting. Like I said, all the classic characters are back with new characters like Ivy, who is Cervantes' daughter. Okay. Well, that was... okay. That was certainly something. I like Soul Edge, just a big mutant blade with an eye in the middle. Does the eye move? Look at that. They didn't have to do that. I do think it's cool that it teaches you stuff, but this would be a better mode for practice. Don't put it in the mission. So you're probably wondering, well, how do you know if you completed it? It says in the top right your win ratio, and the press A button to start battle. That means you got it done. Oh, see, that's normal Edgemaster, dude. It's completely night and day difference. This is my unblockable. I don't know if I'm the biggest fan of unblockables in any game. I don't know if you can guard impact them. If you wish to engage in new battles, you must purchase a special art card. Are you insane? Why would I have to purchase things just to continue on? I do not like this system. Okay, what's the new art card? Symbols. What does this even mean? I should probably go for the more expensive ones, right? Yeah, see, you get new stages this way, too. Oh, yo, Silk Road Ruin. So I guess just go for the more expensive ones if you want to unlock things faster. Oh, nice, Exhibition Theater. Dude, there's so much stuff in this game. I just kind of hate that you have to buy it. I don't think that's a good idea to hide it behind all this, because it's like you're forcing people to play the game to unlock all this stuff, and it's a fighting game. People are going to get bored. You play arcade mode, you play mission mode, you're like, oh, wait, I got to buy stuff in order to go more places? See, you have to constantly keep going through and through unless you want to just save it up, which you can do that. It's not like you can't. Get out of here. I'm done. No, thank you. This is even how you unlock characters. You play arcade mode to unlock characters, so I just feel like it's even more useless. But I do want to show off team battle. So this is what Tekken does as well, where you can have as many as 8 people on a team. They're all the bangers. Siegfried, Ivy, Nightmare, Cervantes, Yoshimitsu, get over here, buddy. And you see that the portrait changes here instead of at the top left. Yoshi, you're on the team. Mitsurugi, you're on the team. Oh, God, the last 2 is rough. Pong, go ahead, get on the Lizard Man, why not? So now it's going to be 8v8. And obviously, if you lose all your health, it'll switch out to the next character. Notice underneath the health bars, it actually shows what character you're using. It'll show an X that you defeated them. So one last thing I want to do is look at the option screen, because I did that for the last game. I want to show you in this screen. So you have the game options here. Medium, which goes to ultra hard as well. And they kept the color scheme the same. That green is standard, and then everything else is not standard. A life bar versus life bar 1-player game. And it tells you here on the screen right here what changes depending on what you change change in the option menus in terms of the game modes. Round time, character change and continue, quick character selection, stage selection, neutral guard. Neutral guard is normal in this game, which is what I talked about before, is that if you don't press anything, it's automatically guards. So you have the Dreamcast version, the arcade version of the command display, help messages, subtitles, and you can put everything back to the default setting there. You got memory card, classic Dreamcast. Look at the Dreamcast controller, dude. What were they thinking? Sort of. Very strange to only have one joystick for the Dreamcast when we already had DualShock for the PlayStation. Very weird choice, but very nice. It still kept it as a 3D model. I also like the background screen here, where it's a nice tealish color, and you have SoulCalibur's logo going through it, all of it. You have game records of characters you played as. So to let you know who you cleared in arcade mode, this is very nice. We got sound options, mono, and stereo. I turned down the BGM volume just in case so I can record it better. You also have BGM test here. Very good track, like most of SoulCalibur games do. Adjust display, there isn't really much else to talk about there. Wait, hold on. Did it have a range soundtrack? Notice how I can't change from a range to arcade? That's kind of sucks. I don't think they made two different soundtracks for this game. But yeah, that's pretty much SoulCalibur. I do think it's a better game than Soul Edge, but like I said, they changed some things, like the intro and winning in arcade mode for each individual character. An interesting choice. They had a compromise for the Dreamcast. Thanks for watching the video. This has been SoulCalibur, and remember, the legend will never die. Produced by Namco. They don't actually say it. I'll say it for you this time. Soft Deck, ADX, classics that you'd see in fighting games back in the day. And also another new intro for yet another entry into the SoulCalibur series. Namco twice. Oh, they cut it in half.
Transcending history and the world. A tale of souls and swords.
So awesome.
Eternally retold.
Look at this intro, man. SoulCalibur just kept getting better and better at making FMV intros for their video games. And epic music for the backgrounds of their games. They were phenomenal at presenting their games in such a way to make you want to play them just by seeing the intro. Look at this. Even showing off the characters of the game and their playstyle. Even Heihachi Mishima is in the game, which is probably the easiest crossover they've ever done, by far. They made Tekken, so why wouldn't they just cross it over with one of the more famous characters from that series, right? Get those sales numbers up. That's what I'm talking about. Look at this. Seeing multiple characters fight each other, seeing multiple character origins, or seeing how they interact with other characters in the series is so awesome, dude. This game is awesome. This game is phenomenal, fantastic, marvelous. Any adjective you can describe this game that feels an essence of good, it is in here. Look at that. That's Necrid. That was a character Todd McFarlane helped make. Apparently they said it was created by Namco, but then they have to give credit to Todd McFarlane, so it's like, okay. Whatever you want to say, Namco. Yo, look at this. Look at the flippin' sword. Uh-oh. Yo, that's actually crazy. The fact that Ivy's sword could just break apart and chase you is absurd. I don't even know if that could actually do that in the game. And it's so long. These intros are crazy long. Just showing off their technology of being able to take these characters and put them in wondrous environments. Look at that mountain. Look at this guy, the Azure Knight, baby, in his full, beautiful blue form. Oh, the piece of Soul Edge is mine. That eyeball is one of the most beautiful pieces of FMV. Look, it's Inferno. He's back yet again. The soul of Soul Edge. SoulCalibur II with the moon. Hit your eye like a big pizza pie. That's a Soul Edge.
SoulCalibur II.
I have no idea who that's supposed to be. It reminds me of that one guy from Samurai Jack. Look at this demonstration. Awesome. Look, they have different camera angles to show off the computer player fighting each other. So good. So wonderful. Oh my goodness. They tell you all about that character and what they do. The title of this screen is different when you actually unlock all the weapons and characters, just like it was in Tekken 2. So what we're going to do first, as always, and anytime we do this stuff, go to practice mode. We'll tell you almost everything you need to know. But here's all the characters. You got 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 23 characters. These two are like bonus characters that you can choose from. They're not really like part of the main story. They're more like bonus NPC characters that you have. But we have some returning characters such as Mitsurugi. Heihachi isn't returning. He's in for the first time. Almost said he's returning. Necrid's new. Taki, Raphael's a new guy. Young Sung instead of Huang is in this instead. I don't know why, unless that's his last name instead of his first name. Cassandra, Talim, Killick, Shang Hua, Aqua, Maxi, Yoshimitsu's back, Cervantes, Ivy, Nightmare, Charade, Sophia, Astaroth, Voldo, Sungmina, and Lizard Man, Assassin Berserker. So obviously I'm going to choose Heihachi. I love Heihachi. Since I'm also doing the Tekken series, if you see Yoshimitsu's character box right there, you can actually change costume, which will say in the top right, and you actually see the different shades of Yoshimitsu here. Ivy's has different colors, but she gets 3 skins instead of just 2. Not every character has 3 skins. Cassandra has 3, Talim has 3, Mitsurugi has 3, Heihachi only has 2. But that's how they decided to change it in this game. You also have the fire, which is just coursing in Heihachi's hand, burning up. I like this type of screen for SoulCalibur. Dude, it was in gold back there. It was so sick. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 stages. It's not a whole lot, but it's enough to work with in this game. This is the best part. The fact that you can even do that is crazy. This is practice mode. They'll tell you freestyle, stay in normal. You got all this stuff. You can reset positions, which will reset your position. Practice options of what you want to do. Freestyle versus computer. Counters done. Full information. All that good stuff. You got your command list for your A button, your B button, your kick button. Look at this. They got 10-hit combos in this game. Namco went crazy. Like, here, you want to do a 10-hit combo? Here you go. Here's all these other special moves. They even tell you what buttons do what. They actually have an explanation of what these buttons do. It's an entire index of what you need to do and how to do it. That's flipping awesome. You got your options here. You got the background music, sound effects, voice volume, and your controller settings. You just see it all here. Just like in Tekken, this game will just show you what your mids and lows are. Heihachi plays just like his counterpart in Tekken. Beautiful. Did you see that? Also, the movement's pretty good. It's about the same as SoulCalibur, maybe a little bit faster. You can jump normally by hitting A and the up button. See, I can guard and then just hit a diagonal, and it'll automatically have me jump. In order to do a jumping attack, you got to hit up in that button. Just swinging his fist around. You still got your soul charges and all that. But if you notice that the stage design's different. We have an entire wall of a beautiful bookshelf with a door and windows on the side with flags in the top. Gotta drag Yoshimitsu over real quick. But if you notice, this is actually an edge that I can fall off of. Classic rig out. The font's really good too. I like the font in this game as well. And it just feels good. Oh my goodness. Look how fast everything's going. Oh my goodness. Just play Tekken and SoulCalibur. That's all I ever wanted. I wish there was a proper combination of Tekken and SoulCalibur. We never got it. This was the closest thing to it. Maybe they'll reconsider in the future. But yeah, that's pretty much. Look at all those numbers. They got the damage numbers popping up on the right side. It's so cool. It comes in real quick and then it leaves. We also have the attack data on the top left. So it's pretty much practice mode. I can't really show the HUD here. That's what arcade mode is for. Good loading screen. Hey, saving on the PS2 memory card? Nice. I'm still crazy that Todd McFarlane decided to give Spawn. In the Xbox version, Link from Legend of Zelda is in the GameCube version, and Heihachi is in the PS2 version. Proper cameos. It's crazy. We're going to do arcade. Notice Lizard Man, Berserker, and Assassin aren't here. How could you deny the greatness that is Heihachi Mishima? Also, the flame's a different color.
Cassandra.
So the point of this game is that like the Soul Edge, Spirit, or Soul or whatever has captured SoulCalibur. That's why it's the evil eye over the SoulCalibur sword.
I'm going all out.
There's a crap ton of voice lines we'll get to later, but there's so many. Cassandra alone has 91 unique voice lines. That includes sound effects too, if you count those as voice lines. They're mixed in with them as well. Like pain noises and stuff like that, damage noises. But if you notice like this beautiful stage, you notice it's not just some giant circle, but there's walls. I don't think you can break the walls in this game. You can also use it to wall bounce if you want, but the ring out section's over there. So now you got to worry about positioning. I wouldn't say even more as you would in regular SoulCalibur, because the whole ring is a ring out. Because usually it's a giant circular shape that has no walls to it, but this game actually has walls, so it really tries to center you to keep you inside of the ring. Multiple battle pose wins as well. Great addition to this game of having 3D models that taunt. You can press a taunt button. Notice how the ring out is different here. Those corners are actually ring out corners. It's not just a giant square or rectangle that you fall into. Electric Noogie, one of my favorite grabs. So if we actually look at the HUD, we got the timer, we got the stage 2, the arcade time, we got the press start, which isn't as crazy as challenge me. The health bar is similar to SoulCalibur 1 with the plastic look to it and the red background. The balls are just, they look like little beads, little glowing beads, but the names have strike-throughs that let you know what costume you're using. Yeah, I'd be laughing at that costume too. See, this is more like a traditional SoulCalibur stage. Great narrator in this game. They knew how to choose narrators for SoulCalibur. The guard impact's still in this game. It's pretty much the same as SoulCalibur. Look at that. We got to get in the Nickelodeon slime. The water looks pretty good. Also, everything in the background's a 3D model. It's not painted on, or an image, I should say. This has 2 ring out sections, in front and behind. This has backgrounds that are just images, but the fact that they modeled an entire wheel, they didn't have to do that. An entire
freaking windmill.
3D modeled from top to bottom just for a stage. They did it only for a stage. They didn't care. They're like, dude, we're just going to show it off. Even those windmills in the background are 3D. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Crazy step up from SoulCalibur 1. This is another special type of ring out stage where the wall is in the background, but everywhere else, you have the ability to fall off the stage. It looks good. Oh my goodness! Yo, that's a 3D bridge, 3D ship, all that's 3D.
You're in my way.
You had another unique battle pose. There's many in this game. Like I said, there's a lot of voice lines. Look at this cherry blossom place, dude. Kyoto? I think this might be on easy. I'm thinking this might be on easy. There's no way I should be doing this well. Yeah, the Destined Battle. Destined Battle usually fight Raphael. And it's a different intro for every character that fights the Destined Battle. I don't know if it's always Raphael. Look at that, it's so sick! I didn't have to do that. Block with my gauntlet, enough.
You may be a worthy opponent.
Unique lines just for these two. Look at this cathedral, dude. Look at the shading. Look at the light source, man. Oh my goodness. I mean, I kind of wish it was more detailed on the windows, but I get it. I get it, man. It's not going to show the blue light on the ground. Grab them. Look. Yeah, look at those unique grabs. Awesome. So now we got the unique cutscene for whatever character you're playing as, but they'll give different lines for this. Teleport to a different area, and this is basically Inferno's boss room. And this room has some issues, and you'll see. Yo, SoulCalibur is stabbed into Inferno in the front. Unique background image for that. A unique graphic. Hellfire. As you hit Inferno, the fire just randomly starts going. And it's kind of jarring because I think they intentionally do this to make it harder to hit Inferno. Also, he starts out with Soul Edge, so he'll change 2 times to whatever random fighting style that's in the game, just like previously. He's about to change to his final form, which is just someone else's fighting style, that's it. But they have a weird bone and flesh combination that looks a bit wonky with lightning everywhere. They only get 1 round, by the way, so if you die, you die. You gotta restart. Inferno just blows up, and then SoulCalibur, drops out of him. Yay, the sword is free.
Even Kuma is stronger than you.
Dang. Oh, man, that's a crushing blow. He doesn't even take it. He doesn't even take it. Also, you have more letters to work with here. You also have 99 seconds. And also, this is the ending of the arcade version of each character. They went back to the presentation of this sepia art and just describing what happened after they were done with the arcade mode. He challenged the sword and just left. He came here, he fought, and then he left again. That's all Heihachi came here to do. That's all Namco gave him. They're like, I'm going to fight the sword, then I'm just going to leave. I don't need it. Look, you get gold, which is used to buy things in this game. Buy weapons in Weapon Master mode. Beautiful font, background shadow, and colors that combine together to make this look really good. Daryl must have really liked playing this game. How long did I do it? Bia! Oh, I was 3rd. Nice. Let's go in the options. Why not? Let's show it off. So it was on easy. It was on easy. But normal's regular. 2 for both versus and 1 player. And you see this entire list of things that it affects. It's insane. You could even start with a lower life gauge or a higher life gauge. So normal time's 50 now. It's not 40. So you also have character change, stage selection, neutral guard, help messages, subtitle, and default settings. If I hit default settings, obviously it's going to go back to all the green. You have your controller settings, which doesn't show the controller. It's very sad, but that's pretty much it. They simplified it a lot for this game. You can adjust display brightness or screen ratio. So this game does support widescreen. So if you want to play this game in widescreen, more power to you. I'm doing 4x3. You have sound settings as well. You have stereo, surround. And if you have headphones, you can hear this. It sounds so good. And I can just turn this down. You can change the language from English to Japanese. You have the records as well in the game of how many characters you played. You have your collection history of all the characters that you unlock. Look at this. And much more. The profiles as well. Weapon demonstrations, costumes, all that stuff is in there. You also have save and load. We're going to show off art gallery as well. So there is high resolution art pictures that they have in here of each character. Or the 20 characters that they added to this game, not the other 3. I don't know why Lizard Man got screwed for no reason. Lizard Man's a character from SoulCalibur, but they're treating him like a cameo. You can zoom in if you want. You can zoom out. You can look at other characters if you like. Got Talim here. You got Young Sung. Look at each individual character. Look at Nightmare, dude. Look at my guy. Look at my dude. He's looking at you like, you're looking pretty good for a soul. They also have a different color background for the SoulCalibur logo. And that's it for the high resolution portraits. We also have illustrations of classic images of what these characters looked like on paper before they were put into the game, and how these character designs would be developed into 3D models. And there's multiple models to get an idea of what these characters would be like. My goodness. Oh my goodness. Woo, beautiful characters in video games. I miss them. And then you also have the special art gallery here. I think these were used for promotional images or something like that, maybe in America or Japan or other countries. It also just shows the different swords. So that's Soul Edge. That's the spirit or fragment of Soul Edge taking over SoulCalibur, and that's just SoulCalibur. I think this is the box art for the PlayStation. Yeah, this is for the PS2 version. I think it's different in the Xbox and GameCube version as well. But there's more. We also got Battle Theater, and you're probably wondering, what is this? What does Battle Theater even mean? Well, if you notice that it says CPU above Mitsurugi's character profile, that means if you want, you could choose to have 2 CPU characters go at it. Also, you could choose whatever weapons that you have unlocked. Soul Edge, look at that, the Soul Edge version. And each weapon does something special for that character, and it tells you good defense but has weak single strikes, penetrates defenses but has short reach, just like original Soul Edge. And there's a lot of weapons. They put more than they did in Soul Edge. Wait a minute, we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Where did these stage come? Is that a wireframe stage? Yo, now this is a sick map design. I like the hexagon. But if you want to watch that, you can. You could choose to loop it or not. You could choose a different camera if you want. Look at this. You could move around and choose what angle you want to see the fight in. Well, let's get out of here. I just wanted to show that off. There's another function of this game because they added so much. And they added so many different modes just because they added the weapons. So extra is just doing exactly what original is, but you could choose your own weapons. So let's go to extra practice. It even tells you what it does. So let's go with Ivy. Not for any particular reason, but you can choose any weapon you want and then start that way. There's options in here too, jeez. We gotta go back to the museum and look off the exhibition theater. You're also probably wondering, what the heck is an exhibition theater? Why is this in the game? Well, I'll show you. Let's get in there and find out. Also, that is a weapon that shows Heihachi's face on it. So this just literally shows off the techniques of the character with the weapon they're using. It's very special for each character. Look at this, martial arts. Look at the Mishima art style. Yeah! Martial arts! Look at him go! He's doing it! He's shaking the screen every time he moves! What else we got in the museum? We got the character profiles. So if you click on a character, this is an awesome screen too. You can choose each profile. He is 75 in this game. Claims to be Japanese. 5'10", 176, birthday unknown, blood type B, weapon is body, Mishima style karate, pet, Kuma, others unknown. It'll tell like the whole history. Well, not the whole history, but enough. So this is his stage. Also, look, 69 different voice lines. And they're all different. Isn't this crazy? They didn't have to add this into the game, but they did. They cared, man. They're like, dude, we got to try to one-up ourselves. And you have beautiful teeth, Heihachi, by the way. They look pretty dang good. These models in these games look amazing for PS2 era. They even made an HD re-release called SoulCalibur II HD Online that you could play on the PS3. It was crazy. But yeah, you could choose different characters to see what stages they're put on and what voice lines they have and all that good stuff. Over and beyond compared to SoulCalibur 1. Insane amount of stuff. We're not even done yet. We still got to go in the weapon gallery. Look how many weapons each character has. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. For, I believe, 19 characters. Let's count it down then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 19 different characters. 19 by 12. Are you out of your mind? And every character gets a version of their Soul Edge weapon. Every single one. Even Heihachi has a Soul Edge version of his weapon. But you have other characters that get to wield the SoulCalibur version of their weapon. It's only a select few people. Nightmare gets to. Even Talim gets a SoulCalibur version of her weapons, which is awesome. Still not done yet. We got to go in the demo theater. Look at this. So you can see each character's ending if you wanted to. Again. So if I want to see Sofatia's ending, I could just click it and they'll tell me what the arcade ending is. So we have the Weapon Master opening that tells you just like the other Weapon Master mode in SoulCalibur, stuff like that. They'll give you an intro of why they're going after Soul Edge. But they also have an ending to where you beat Inferno and Weapon Master mode, and they give you a special ending for that. So you have the opening of the game, the home version, which is the console version, which you already saw. But the arcade version is different. They put both in here. And this one's pretty quick.
Transcending history and the world.
Yo.
A tale of souls and
This sounds so
swords,
hype.
Eternally.
It tries to reel you in so well. Look, you can even see the corruption of SoulCalibur. Oh my goodness, such good game design. Look at that. The chains that bind me. And that's it. It's a quick intro. But there's also an ending of the arcade version of SoulCalibur II. Look at the eye movement. Look how good that eye is. It reminds me of Resident Evil. Look at that. It's shattered. Charade essentially is just Inferno, by the way. Essentially, as it just switches styles. It's like a fragment of Soul Edge. All right, that's it of the museum. I know that was a lot of stuff to get through. Final mode that we're going to talk about is Weapon Master. This thing is massive. This is where you buy all your weapons and extra stuff here. And trust me, they really wanted to double down, as they will in SoulCalibur III, but in a different way in SoulCalibur III, is to make this mode extremely long. They wanted to make their own RPG, and they have done it here. Yo, Algol before Algol? Does it talk about Algol in here? Oh, it's a location in this game. And I'm saying this because if you don't know, Algol is a character that shows up in SoulCalibur IV. Look how many missions there are. Oh my goodness. And it starts like the other Weapon Master mode, where you go to your Proving Grounds, and you fight Edgar and you try to fight other characters in the game. But also like specific missions. But this one is the more unique stuff. These extra missions, look at this. It is a mine that you fight multiple characters in the little blocks that you have to go through by battling each other. So let's go in here. Navigate through the enemy-infested dungeon to defeat the boss. They let you know what's happening too. This is special presentation for this mode as well. Yo, look at me. I'm Nightmare, baby, with SoulCalibur. Oh my, she's going crazy. She's going crazy. She's gone mad. She's gone mad. No, no, no. Nice. Good job. See, it shows an X when I defeated her. It tells you how much gold you get as well. It's level 76 Platinum Edge Master. See, and it makes another spot. It lets you know when the area is done. So that's pretty much all this is on different maps as well. This is where you unlock the maps of the game as well. And that's pretty much Weapon Master. It's crazier. It's longer. They tell you the scenarios and all this stuff. It's insanely long. But what's unique about Weapon Master here, compared to SoulCalibur 1 and even Soul Edge, watch this. Not only can you pause during this and choose what weapon you want for your character, but you can also change your character whenever you want. You don't have to stick with one character. That's why the mode is so much larger now, so you can play as any character you want going through these. So if you lose a battle, you could switch and just go back in. And also you have the shop here where it's obviously all sold out because everything has already been bought. And with many different challenges. It'll tell you the difficulty, the setup like they do in other games. You're your worst enemy, defeat yourself. Show me Nightmare versus Nightmare right now. Shadow Nightmare like they did in the other game. Yes! Yes! Let's go! It's gonna be so hype! But I'm wielding SoulCalibur! And he's using the second version of Soul Edge. Let's go on the alt costume. Yeah! Yeah! Come on! Come on, Nightmare! I'm your true Nightmare! Get off the stage! Yes! Normal mode! But that's basically it for the game. I know it's a crazy amount of stuff in this game. It's absurd how much stuff is in this game compared to SoulCalibur 1. All that extra bonus illustrations, art, profiles, voice lines, all that stuff they did not have to do. This game would have been good just with the gameplay, but they went over and beyond to make this the best possible product they could make at the time. One of the best video games, one of the best fighting games ever made, bar none. Play this game, no matter what version you get, Xbox, GameCube, PS2, or all of them. Play this game. It is fun, enjoyable, great with friends in versus battles. You can even choose different weapons if you like to utilize them in every other mode in the game, so then you don't have to just use it in Weapon Master. Have a good one. Enjoy yourselves. Welcome back to the stage of history. SoulCalibur III, checking the memory card. Namco. They don't say it anymore, man. Oh, those are not just in fighting games, by the way. Those are in every game back then. Yo, look, it's Namco. Remember Galaga? Remember Galaxian? I don't think people even remember Galaxian. But yes, Namco is still playing on the effect of them being an arcade game company, even though it has nothing to do with their games now or even during this time. But look, it's like a special intro just for this game. It's only to show the fact that they're THX approved. It's certified, and so you know it's going to be good. Produced by Namco. Maybe a little too cinematic and make it really weird. Yeah, Namco again. Did you see it the first time? How about the second time? How about the third time? Yo, Project Soul. That was awesome. So Project Soul is like the main group that worked on SoulCalibur. So this is what happened at the end of SoulCalibur II, I think. Is that he finally got free of being the Azure Knight and he stabs Soul Edge with SoulCalibur. Yo, this intro is good too. Dude, I don't know if there's a bad SoulCalibur intro. Look at that font though. Look at that. Oh, straight from Mount Doom. That's such a sick visual imagery, dude. Oh my goodness. Look at that, look at that mountain. Yo, look at our protagonist, dude. He's a protagonist to me, okay? I know some story events are canon that don't really involve him, but he's the main guy. I mean, there's Nightmare. Oh, look at the Vision's hot tip. He's gonna go crazy. He's gonna be back to Nightmare again. Look at all these people running in, dude. Oh my God, it just kept getting better and better about the visualization. Uh-oh, it's Nightmare again. Okay, this design I don't like. He looks too much like a unicorn here. I'm playing SoulCalibur and I still get surprised about how long these intros are. Dang, look how good he looks. My goodness, is this Advent Children? Oh, who's this character? This is another new character in the series. What the? Did you just kiss a bird? You're gonna get bird flu, dude. Dude, they solved this in SoulCalibur 1. Okay, never mind. Don't worry about it. Sophia and Cassandra. Ivy versus Savanta. Yo, father-daughter battle. Let's go. This is hype. This is, oh, yeah, baby. Oh, the Gunblade! That's a very unique take on a Gunblade, I gotta say. Compared to ones you see in Final Fantasy VIII. These two fighting? Taki and Voldo? Haha, she's like way too green. Dang, Raphael's way too green too. What is all this green? Yo, now this is a sick anime scene. Yeah, burst. No, it's too strong. I think I know what's happening here. Look, I'm free from Nightmare, but yet again, Nightmare exists. Because in this game, they're two separate beings. It's like the soul of Soul Edge or whatever in his own suit of armor. And then it's Siegfried by himself. Uh-oh. Who is this guy, you may wonder? Well, this is the aftermath of Solomel transforming into Abyss, which we'll get later on. And it's supposed to be just to set up the plot of this game. That's what the intro's here for. Of course it is. SoulCalibur III. That's sick. I love the lightning. I know Namco loves lightning because they put all the Mishimas and all that stuff.
SoulCalibur III.
All right, so we're back to the intro. Let's go. Simple intro. We got stuff in the movie background. So this game's weird, and we're already starting out in the weirdness. That everything is now descending horizontally instead of a vertical menu setup with books on it to tell you what they are. I don't necessarily mind this, but it is weird, especially comparing it to the past 3 games. So now you have to get into a mode within a mode now. First thing we do, see, you got a nice book here, and it actually tells you a screen of what the thing is. Very nice. I like this inclusion into the SoulCalibur series compared to SoulCalibur II's menu, but SoulCalibur II's menu is much easier than this, I think, in my opinion. It's not really that much different, but look, they listened to me. They went back in the past. See, what's great about this game is they actually just show you the tutorial instead of putting it in the mode, which is funny because that's what I was saying in the other games. All right, so this is your practice mode. This is your full roster. These are supposed to be for random characters. Random is in the middle, and then random bonus characters. We got characters coming back like Cassandra, Taki, Mitsurugi, Siegfried, of course, Nightmare, Ivy, Astaroth, so on and so forth. You can see them based on their character portraits, who they are, right? They're very notable at this point, so I don't necessarily have to go over all of them. But look at this guy. This guy is just Edgemaster, by the way. I don't know why he exists. Why wouldn't you just put Edgemaster in? Look at this. This is the boss of the game. Abyss. Certainly a choice. I gotta say, certainly a choice. We'll get there when we do arcade mode. But I want to show off the game in practice mode first. Yoshimitsu's design is really weird. Don't like this design personally. Bonus characters in here, and it tells you characters who appear in other modes are selectable. The guy who is a main character in Soul Edge and SoulCalibur is designated being a bonus character. Why? You were telling me you couldn't have slotted him in somewhere? They just replaced it with Young Swung, but like, what's the point in having both of them? I feel like there was a weird dispute in Project Soul where they couldn't decide which one of these 2 swordsmen they wanted to leave or whatever. Look, Revenant. Look at this. You can play as a skeleton dude. Greed. We have a character named Greed. Miser, Valeria. This is where we're starting to inflate the roster too much, where we're just getting a lot of characters. This character is actually important later on, and she's a bonus character in this game. So this chick is actually the character in the beginning of SoulCalibur II telling the soldiers to go off in order to hide Raphael, because apparently she is the adoptive daughter of Raphael. Crazy, I know. Also, you can choose weapons in here. They don't have to need separate modes for it, which I think is better for this game. But we're going to play Siegfried. Who cares about anyone else? The Ancient. No, give me SoulCalibur. I don't necessarily like this SoulCalibur design. Also, when you choose the model, it takes a little time to load in. A little bit of time. But you can tell it's a 3D model zooming in, just like they did in SoulCalibur II. I like SoulCalibur II left and right and the character screen in the middle. I think that was the best type of character screen, and it's funny enough because they do the same thing in SoulCalibur IV anyways. As you can tell in the character portraits, just like SoulCalibur II, they change it up. You can see in the portrait the different costumes that you can get. But hold on, there's more. There's more than just costumes in this game, right? You have Costume 1, you have Costume 2, and she even changes her facial expressions based on which costume you choose. They also have edit colors, where you can actually go in and edit the colors of the characters now, which is awesome. Don't matter. Just fight Nightmare. Giant squid. When you go to giant... Okay, we're getting, like, goofy now. This game gets a little too goofy, in my opinion, but there's plenty of stages now. There's a lot. Can't really be mad about that. Yeah. You can still taunt in the screen, too. That's good stuff. I do like that full screen portrait. It's pretty much SoulCalibur 2. I don't really have much else to say about this. If you see my SoulCalibur 2 video, it's pretty much the same. You side dash back to... I don't know if it's a little bit... It feels faster. Maybe a little bit because I haven't played SoulCalibur 2 in a while. When I mean a while, I mean like a week. But it feels good. It's not like it feels bad. You still got the slow walk stuff, everything that was already in SoulCalibur II. So it's not really trying to improve that much on the formula. There might be some attack and defensive stuff that's new in this game, but I don't know how relevant it really is. Like, look, you got the kicks, you got the grabs that are the same. And they're the same animations, not like they're crazy different. But I think this game is different from SoulCalibur II by having, like, Nightmare being a separate moveset than Siegfried, since technically now they're two different beings. What is this difficulty setting? This is insane. You got your command list counter, start, replay, everything that is and hasn't been said before. I know it's a lot of repetition in these. See, that's a different moveset than Siegfried. See, he does that horizontal strike, but this guy does a different one. Oh, you see that? Yo, that's a sick grab. That's new. All right, we can go back to return to title screen. There's nothing else to say here. It's kind of a shame, too, because I like this background art stuff like that. SoulCalibur never really fails in the art department. So we got system settings, you got subtitles on, off. Obviously, default is on. You have your different modes, which you could select things. Dude, does this game need extremely hard? The easy, normal, and then it's hard, very hard, ultra hard, and extremely hard. What is this, Doom? Now the default battle time is 50. Obviously, I think I said that in SoulCalibur 2. Battle count, stuff like this, default. Obviously, green is default, which I still think is a nice feature. Nothing really much there. Controller settings, they don't have the 3D controller. It's gone! It's so interesting to me that neutral guard in this game is automatically off. I think neutral guard is just a good concept for a 3D fighter. So you don't have to worry nearly as much about guarding so much, but I'll leave it off. I think it's more challenging that way. So we gotta adjust display. We got the classic stuff here, but I wanted to show not the brightness. Screen ratio. So this is important in this game compared to SoulCalibur 2 is that you can play in widescreen if you want. You can still play in 4:3, but it'll squeeze the screen as if you're playing on 16:9. So if you want to play this game in widescreen, you're more than welcome to, but the default, even in 2005, I believe, when this game came out for PS2 only, it was in arcades, but it was also only on the PS2, which is the reason why this game didn't sell nearly as well either. Deciding to go out of your way to only make this on one console instead of spreading the love around with the Xbox and the GameCube was a bad idea, especially when you already had cameo characters in the past and they don't have any cameo characters in this. If you're going to commit to having cameo characters, you should have committed to it for this game, and especially since SoulCalibur IV does bring in cameo characters. So we got new stuff here. So that's stereo, right? This is Dolby Pro Logic 2, which is a form of speaker type. And you have the Surround X, which is why it was THX approved, which we're going to keep it on that. You got to be a voice language. You could obviously do English and Japanese. All right, single player mode, baby. Tales of the Souls. So this is your arcade mode. I'd probably just play Siegfried. I think I've already played as Siegfried, but if you notice there's spaces missing because the bonus characters you can't play with in arcade mode. And also the bonus random characters you can't play. Can't use Abyss because Abyss is the boss. And these two are memory cards, so that's why those slots are gone. It looks ugly. When you have random missing pieces on your character thing that isn't just because you're missing a character makes it look ugly. But I do like the background for this. I do like the setup. Visually, a lot of SoulCaliburs aren't bad. They do make it look interesting and cool, and I know these PNGs are kind of blurry, but you see that the bottom is Soul Edge, the top is SoulCalibur, and they're oppositional of each other. Let's get goofy. Where's red-haired Siegfried? No, that's terrible. Actually, let's go blue-haired Siegfried. I mean, we could choose our weapon in this, which does give bonus stats to it. Look how good SoulCalibur is. Well, when you're starting out, you won't have it, so let's just pick Requiem. It starts off like you would in... Wait a minute, Tales of Souls is an arcade mode, is it? And it tells you all the stuff here just like that, like they would in the Weapon Souls mode. I don't know why they did that. Just tried to take the secondary mode and made it the arcade mode. This is what you're working with in terms of SoulCalibur 3's HUD. You have the actual face of the character there, just like in Team Battle, and then you have the green as the health bar, which looks more metallic than it does like a plastic color, and you have the background just being like a vial or like a container. But what you can do in this mode is you actually choose where you want to go. So let's seek power. Let's get more Nightmare on it. Confrontation is actually from SoulCalibur 2, if I remember correctly. Also opening quotes when you battle, just like SoulCalibur 2. And it tells you who you fight versus rock. I do like the font, though. I always like they try to keep in the spirit of like this medieval type font that would be used in a fantasy setting too. A good combination of both fonts makes it really good. The font is in Capcom colors. So this is where this game kind of gets a bit weird and goofy. We have special segments where Zaz Salamel, who is the boss of this game, I know Abyss is, but Zaz Salamel, spoilers, is Abyss. As already said in the beginning in the intro. They just show you it. It's not a secret. You know? Again, in the intro, you're not supposed to be able to insert it, but it's like, who survived the explosion? Yes, there are quick time events in this. I don't know what they were thinking for this. I really don't. This is not an addition that need to be in SoulCalibur. This is not Resident Evil 4. This is not God of War. This is a fighting game. And I get that you need to have good Twitch reflexes or to do fighting games to press the button at the right moment, but this is not the place nor the time. It's an unnecessary addition to this game. Didn't need to be here. I do like the stage though. And this is like classic SoulCalibur where the ring outs. I might as well join him. You don't have time to join him anymore, but yeah, having quick time events in this game was not a good idea. So you can either avoid avoid chasing him or you pursue him. I'm going to pursue him in this case. There's actually a little bit of player choice. I think you end up the same way. You just do different battles. You still end up fighting Abyss in the end. It's just whether or not you go fight certain characters. The water looks really good in this game, too. I'm actually impressed with the water here, too. Oh, yo, yeah, we have the prepare to defend yourself. Oh, my God. What is this? What is this battle? What? What? Oh, get out of the way. No way. Did I just lose? But his health went down. I am like awestruck. I am flabbergasted what just happened. So despite destroying the Colossus, have its health go all the way down, I still died simply because I didn't get out of the way. I didn't experience this when I first played SoulCalibur III. But the fact that that just happened is a bit ridiculous, and I think that's gone in SoulCalibur IV. Thank goodness. That is not a good idea. All right, moving on. I guess it has no impact on the story. You don't even fight him again. Wait, is this another quick time event? I didn't do this one either. Oh my God. Dude, 2 buttons? 2 buttons for a quick time event is insane. If you fail, you actually get punished. You start out with less health. I'm sorry, but it's not necessary in a fighting game to have quick time events like that. Especially in a cutscene. Don't do quick time events in a cutscene, especially. We're gonna stay on the ship and go to... I can't read that, dude. No way. The announcer's good in this game too, by the way. Very good. This stage looks awesome, despite it being just a checkerboard pattern. A nice quadrilateral. I love me some quadrilaterals. Women love quadrilaterals, man. Oh my goodness, it's Lizard Man. See, this game's much harder without the neutral guard on. You really gotta play more defensive when neutral guard isn't on. I think this might be on extremely hard. I don't know if it's harder to ring out in this game or not, but it sure as hell feels like it. Talum is cooking me. Wait a minute, are those special Talum weapons? Wait a minute, they're using special weapons? Oh, no wonder they're doing specific things. Another entity besides Nightmare. Wait, are we finally fighting? Oh, yeah, it's Raphael.
You will regret not killing me when you had the chance.
Hey.
You're no longer human, are you?
Dang. I think some characters got an updated moveset. Especially, I think Raphael did. Raphael's crazier in this game, I think. There we go. Get off the stage. Let's go swimming. Nightmare no more. All right, another quick time event. I better press it right this time. I don't remember all of them. Did I press it? I guess I did. I guess you could just spam it out, as you probably heard on my controller. You just spam it out.
I knew you were following me.
Yeah, Nightmare, let's go.
Let's settle this once and for all.
Yeah.
Forgivable past.
Let's go. It's not going to be settled, but... oh, a low grab. There's also low grabs in this game. I don't think I really talked about that enough. Yes! Yes! Finally! Working on that grab game. Did you notice that was infinite time, too? Oh, loading screen! Oh, man. There you go. Look, SoulCalibur is still stabbed at the soul edge. Oh, God. Another quick time event's coming up. Notice how Sazalamel wasn't here for, like, most of the time. He just pops in. Soul Edge makes sense as the boss. This guy does not. And he's like, oh, we're playing on the whole Grim Reaper thing. You get it? I don't really care. He's just a new character that comes out of nowhere. It's like, now I'm the bad guy. And I get that using a Soul Edge as the enemy all the time is obnoxious, but this just seems out of left field. It'd be different if it was like a mystery and it was revealed as a character we already knew that went to the dark side that we didn't know about when time passed, but this is just out of nowhere. And I don't think he's really that great of a boss, especially when he basically gets removed in the next game as, oh, I blocked that one, so that was only a 1-button press. I mean, Algol, I think, is better than him, and I'd rather have Inferno. But look at this! This is cool that you do get SoulCalibur to fight this guy with. Some people get Soul Edge, others get SoulCalibur. I do like the background change. That's definitely reminiscent of Soul Edge, is being able to have the background change based on what happened. You got literally meteors falling from the sky, like it's the apocalypse. If this was on normal, I'm gonna lose my flipping mind, because it wasn't that hard when I played this game. Look, Abyss is defeated, and they just copy the same death scene that Inferno does. What's the point? You try to make a different character, and he just does the same thing that Inferno does, or Soul Edge. What's the point? Why even put a new character in if he just copies the same stuff? I mean, he's got a different moveset. That's not my point. He's got a unique moveset, which is good, but he just barely any story relevance. Look, this is 3D, yes! Back to 3D arcade endings, yes! So good. Oh, no! He's coming back! And it's funny, it's default. Look at this. That's what I said. I like Siegfried's character arc. The other characters I don't really care that much about. It's insane. Oh! Oh! Did I press it? Oh, no. Did I lose? Wait, did it work? Wait, what? Did I do it? So you get alternate endings based on whether or not you do a quick time event, which to be fair is what was from Soul Edge. And I did kind of compliment that, but you had way more time to do it. I thought that was a cool idea, but I don't like it in this game specifically because of how random it is. It's not the same button for everyone. If it was the same buttons for everyone, I wouldn't care nearly as much. But the fact that it's 2 buttons at once definitely makes it worse. And then you have the credits. Look, you got gold, so you can buy things.
SoulCalibur, III.
Hey, that's Siegfried's voice, which is awesome because you have other characters that announced in the beginning as well. Kind of like SoulCalibur II did. So you have a shop in this game. This is what the game leaned towards, was buying things to do things. Or buying weapons instead of winning them, which I don't know if I like. This causes way more grind. Look how many weapons there are. That's one row, second row, third row. You have to buy all of this. All of this. Good thing I have as much gold as possible, even though it's not needed now. But this is absurd. We're getting to grinding in a fighting game, which is going to turn people away. People do not like grinding in a fighting game. That's not what they want to do. They want to fight, okay? With as much as they can. Better yet, I'd argue people like earning things in-game because that was the standard until DLC and all that stuff come around. But this is what I like to call prototype DLC. Is they're testing how long people want to grind in a game and whether or not they'll use in-game currency at this point instead of currency outside, you know, in real life. To buy things. This is just bad methodology, in my opinion, dude. It costs so much. I mean, you see how much gold I got for beating Arcade was 60,000. That's nothing. That's nothing. I can't buy even this weapon. I know this is a really good weapon, but that's my point. You can't even buy the best weapon of one character. And that's only with weapons. This is one of the 3 shops that you could buy things from. But all the chicks here are hot, by the way. They're beautiful. They're attractive, I should say.
Welcome.
Oh my God.
You looking for anything in particular?
Maybe what you got, lady, because I think I already got everything here besides you. But look at that, you got the E3 opening movie, but this is all where the art is, and it's expensive. All these weapon demos. Look how much money this would take. This would take dozens of hours of grinding to get all this stuff. Unless you had a cheat code or something.
To you. Please come again.
You too, lady. Have a nice one. Yo! What's up, lady? She's got a creepy smile, though. She got hit with the Joker toxin in this game. This is where you buy your armor. Yes, you can get armor in this game now for character customization as well, which we will get to. Which is one of the best features SoulCalibur ever added was character creation. Look at the price of all these things. All of this is too much. It's too much. Grinding all the time. Okay, I'm leaving. Bye. See you later, hot ladies. Bye-bye. Have a good one. Thank you. No, I won't. Maybe for you. So there's a tournament mode in this game? I don't know why. 12 consecutive tournaments? So I'm just going to show this off a little bit, but you have tournament and league mode. I mean, you can choose whoever you want. Let's do Owlman, because I think you could choose which style he uses. Look at this. This is one tournament. Are you out of your mind? You got to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know how many battles you got to do. You got to do like 5 battles. You got to do a lot of battles. Yeah, he has special voice acting like. But look, he fights like Huang or Young Swang. So you could just choose which playing style he has. Also, it's best on default 3 out of 5, which becomes a mainstay in later SoulCaliburs, which is insane for this mode. There are way too many battles and way too much grinding. What's the point of choosing the playstyle if it's just going to switch anyways? I guess it's cool you get to start out with your playstyle, but I don't get why it needs to be random at the second though. It says normal for quick play, but does that mean arcade? I don't know if that means for arcade too. I think it does. So I just got mollywopped in normal mode. I don't think World Competition is really that great and just adds more grind to the game, which is unnecessary. So here's Soul Arena. Oh, so this is the quick play. So this is the difficulty of quick play. I don't know why they did this either. Looking good as always, babe. Let's go. Moving on. There isn't else much to say. You fight 3 battles, I think you fight Abyss. That's it. We got to talk about character creation. We got to. I know this video's all over the place. So we can do 2 different things. We can color edit or we can create a character. I'm going to do color edit first because it's the easiest one. Look how many color options there are. Amazing. This is the good thing about SoulCalibur 3. This is one of the best parts about playing SoulCalibur 3 is being able to do this stuff. You put any color you want. You want just like pure white everything, you can do it. That's not white, but close enough. But that's it. That's all you do is just change the colors. All right, so character creation. So in this game is going to be like the other story mode that we'll be getting into. You can choose your gender, male, female, whoever you want. All right, but now there's specific class types, and there's multiple. It's not like there's little. So you got barbarian, monk, thief, dancer, saint, ninja, gladiator, pirate, sage, assassin, knight, samurai, and swordmaster. A living legend with no equal. Hell yeah, let's be swordmaster. Look at this guy, Dracula. I don't know what the stats the bottom left mean. I think it's actually your stats on your character. So armor actually gives stats if I remember correctly. But look how many options you have. Insane amount of customization for this game, especially for this period of time of just being able to put armor on. But like as you can tell, the stats in the bottom left change based on what type of armor you have. Look at that. You can have them clip through the thing, and they give stats too. Do beards give different stats? Oh my god, they do. What were they thinking? But there's so many different customization options and a lot for each one. And they all have like a gimmick to them. They all have a similar theme when they're in their own set. All right, so not only can you customize each individual part, but you can customize each individual part's color. You could just do an isn't all there. It's just all white now. Also, you can change the face. 15 different male faces. You got anime protagonist, and then you got the oldest man you've ever seen. You change the eyebrow, lip, and also change the voice. All right, so now we can use that character, I think, not anywhere. We can't use Tales of Souls. Okay, so you can use your custom character in quick play if you wanted to. So that's what the memory cards are for, is being able to select your custom character. Oh, since I'm Sword Master, I could just choose whatever I want. There's one last mode I want to show before I make this video way too long for this game, but it needs to be addressed. This is where they just took like a right turn in terms of making content for this game. Chronicles of the Sword. This used to be the secondary mode where you'd unlock the weapons, right? Where you earn money and unlock the weapons back in the day. SoulCalibur II just made it super long to where you'd have to grind, but you could play as any character. This is a whole new concept, and you'll see when we get into it. Probably should have never been made for this game. People might like it, but I just don't think it belongs in SoulCalibur. Hey, remember this screen? It's the same for here, so let's go for a female character this time. It's just the same as the custom character screen. I don't really care. Sure, you look fine, lady. Let's go. Oh no, Sword Master. Sword Masted. You're sword masted. Let's go. Finish. Get in there. So you customize your character for this mode. Change whatever you want.
This is another tale of souls and swords.
Yeah, so this is completely different to what you're used to in terms of going after Soul Edge or SoulCalibur. And it has an animated intro, which is nice. I do like this intro. But why are we doing 3 kingdoms in SoulCalibur? I mean, there's already hints of that kind of stuff in there, but that's not the main plot. But this is literally just taken from 3 kingdoms. There are literally 3 kingdoms that are battling against each other. But they're all trying to go after the sword, which is also why it's related to SoulCalibur or Soul Edge in the first place. This is more used to it as well. These type of PNGs and images that fade in and fade out as well. The Art of War. Wow, Sun Tzu much? Look at this! Fire Emblem? Look at this! Alright, then I'm going to teach you baby birds what it means to be a commander. What? This has nothing to do with what SoulCalibur is or its identity. There's victory and loss conditions. Look at this! Select sortie members. What? What are you talking about? Why is this Fire Emblem now? You can equip weapons to him now that give different stats. You have to add people to your team. This is an infantry guy. He's level 1. He's got health bar. I could change his unit type if I want. Look at this map. What is this? Muso map? Fire Emblem? I don't get this. Why is this a SoulCalibur? All you do is just click a character, point to area, and move them. That's it. And I know this is tutorial, but like, why? You gotta get the other person out there. See, the other person was held up there, but since they're cavalry, they move faster, and they just attack the buildings for you. It's a real-time strategy game in SoulCalibur. What? Like I said, you gotta wait until all these things go down. It's like, this is not SoulCalibur. All right, so when the tower actually gets low and there's a person in it, you can now battle. That's the SoulCalibur part. See, and you gain experience too, just like SoulCalibur. Oh. Well, to be fair, you're doing SoulCalibur 2 as well, but you could choose any character, which is what I really thought that mode was more for, instead of just choosing one character and doing everything individually. That's just too much grinding. See, you won! Ta-da! Now you get that tower, just like in real-time strategy games. This mode would take you longer to do than probably every other mode to combine. You know how insane that is to say? In a fighting game? I guess that was the norm for Namco during this period of time, especially when Tekken 5 comes out. I mean, Tekken Force was a nice side mission. It actually had purpose to unlock a character. I can't say that for this mode. I don't think you unlock a single character or weapon in this mode. This is just a side thing to do. So it's like, well, what's the point if it doesn't unlock anything? It's just, this might as well be a separate game. And you can tell this mindset goes on later on with the SoulCalibur branding. I mean, for all those real-time strategy fans, you'll want to play it, go ahead. If you enjoy it, I don't, because it's not SoulCalibur anymore. It's an entirely other game. So you can either have them fight for you or you could choose the battle. I usually just had them let them fight for me because this is real-time strategy, dude. You're going to be sinking hours into this. But see, you notice how my health was impacted because of health on the main map? You might as well just do this because it's faster, I think. And if you want to guarantee victory instead of relying on the AI to do the work, then you might as well just control it. Because you can't decide to battle. You have to wait until the fortress gets destroyed. Look how long that fortress is going to take down. That's why you need 2 people to go over and do it, but I split them up so I could do it. Instead of just carrying both of them to every spot, I split them up because I could take care of these enemies. Fun stuff. Decisive battle. All right, let's get in there. Even the tutorial is boring. Why would I want to play the real game? Natural time waster for nothing. You know, because the shop's there, right? And you get gold playing arcade in every other mode, then what's the point? Because you can just unlock weapons with gold. That kind of negates the whole point of unlocking as you play, which is what the original goal of Soul Edge was. Gosh, that experience gain is so bad. I understand it's a tutorial, but I don't think it's that much better outside of the tutorial. It's like the worst part of Civilization, I think, in Fire Emblem and all those games about moving troops to a specific land. Civ has a lot more going for it, even at this time. This game does not. It doesn't have like the treaties. It doesn't have building other forms of civilization. It's just attacking fortress and move forward. So there's 2 characters now. Nope, I can't even send them in. Never mind. No tag battle. Oh, see, you get more experience for beating people that are higher level, but I'm not even a third of the way there. Notice also that didn't give experience to my second guy. Are you kidding me? God, that's why you have to battle with individual individual characters as well. Because I don't think that gave experience to my second guy. See, it gives you an end result of what you gained in all this. And there's like special things you gotta do as well in terms of your assessment. That's how you get gold out of this. Occupy the enemy base, lose all your main, all allied. Okay. See, now I got 3 guys now. Oh, so they actually do go and attack your tower. Okay. Oh, you can just battle automatically while you're in the tower. So that doesn't mean I have to fight 2 people at once? Yep, I gotta fight 2 people at once. Interesting. Oh, that damage output is insane. He's level 4, I'm only level 1. I haven't gained enough experience. Are you serious? It's over. Wait, do you just keep your health then and they just keep destroying the tower? How does this work in a loss? Oh, they're retreating. Well, I'm good. So mission mode is where you collect, whatever, who cares? Look, I'm using an ore. Isn't it funny? Look, it's mission mode where you have to select certain missions and the details of how to do it. Remember that from the other game? Why is this a separate mode? Oh, I never showed off Night Terror. He's the secret boss. Yo, okay, so Night Terror is where Nightmare is basically an upgraded form. Look at this final form boss. Why wasn't he the boss? You make this cool guy who's just true ogre. Oh my god, yeah, it was bad. Oh, that was a sick move. I think I could bring him out. What'd I tell you, Namco? Crouching tall characters look like they could be grabbed. Oh, I didn't talk about the museum yet. Dude, I am taking so much time with this game. It's insane. This game has a museum just like SoulCalibur II where you can look at all the nice stuff, right? All the high-res images, the illustrations, the background images, publicity, posters that they use, the special, the movies, all that good stuff. Got Battle Theater again, Exhibition Theater. Nothing really crazy or different from SoulCalibur II. That's pretty much it. This game is exhausting. There's so much in it, and not for the better. The glossary's good, too. I didn't talk about the glossary at all, but this is nice. This is a nice add-on to let you know what things mean and do. I think you got my thoughts on SoulCalibur III overall. It's a weird game. It's definitely a weird inclusion, especially being sandwiched in between 2 and 4, especially when it had lower sales, not just because of the additions it had, but also just staying on PS2. That was not a good, wise business move in order to gain better sales. Thanks for watching this review and retrospective of this game. If you want to play it, you're more than welcome to. If you like real-time strategy, you would have that for you. If you don't want to do any of the fighting stuff for 1 billion years, you can grind in this for 1 billion more. All right, have an excellent one. Bye-bye. When using the controller connected to the Wii Remote, smack the hell out of everyone. Bandai Namco Games. Great. What a great company. Surely this can't go wrong. Project Soul. What happened, Project Soul? What happened to the soul part of the project? Ooh, look, so its hands reaching out. It's important. Very important that you know this. For the plot reasons. This is actually not a bad opening, but at this time they're trying to be more JRPG, but not like a turn-based JRPG. This game plays like Devil May Cry, Ninja Gaiden Black, and God of War for some reason, and it's somehow the worst of all 3. Oh my goodness, that's loud. Holy crap. Look at Siegfried. Very short intro, too. I'm usually used to those being 2 minutes long. And there you have Ivy saying it right there. SoulCalibur Legends. What a font. I think this might be the worst font of SoulCalibur. As you can tell, you don't got a lot in the menu. Not a lot to work with. So this game was released on the Wii, a SoulCalibur franchise on the Wii. Surely I love swinging a sword with the Wii remote constantly. But there's not a lot of settings here, and I'm not really too concerned about it. All right, we got our quest right here. Doing good. It's the only reason why you play this. I don't know why you play party. Unless you would have beat up each other, I guess, but we're going to go into quest. As you can tell, I played 21 minutes of this and I was disappointed. But we're going to get into a new game to show you why this is not the way to make a proper Devil May Cry clone, God of War clone, or Ninja Gaiden Black clone whatsoever. Anything that closely resembles those 3 games, this is not how to do it. This is fine. I got no beef with this art style whatsoever, or introducing what the story is going to be. I mean, we're also just replaying the intro again. Look how sick Soul Edge looks in that screenshot. It doesn't even look like that in this game. Wait a minute, SoulCalibur's in this too? What the? Yes, they're both in this game. It's basically grab swords, gain power. It's pretty much SoulCalibur. It's been the plot of SoulCalibur since SoulCalibur 1, not Soul Edge, because obviously you only thought Soul Edge existed, but SoulCalibur came out of nowhere. I'm surprised there isn't 3 swords at this point. SoulCalibur, Soul Edge, and Soul something. I don't even know what you make of the 3rd one. So this guy, Sultan Barbaros, is supposedly the bad guy, and the Master Emperor of the Holy Roman Empire is supposedly the good guy. Look at Siegfried. Welcome back to the stage of history. You know, you say the stage of history, you say chosen by history. Come on. It's a classic SoulCalibur tagline, man. But I wanted to show this off because it tries to entice you into believing it'll be a decent game. But that's a lie. Look at that, I got the SoulCalibur 4 loading. This game doesn't look bad, per se, especially on the Wii. The Wii wasn't necessarily known for having the greatest resolution or graphics in terms of their output.
So, This is Soul Edge.
The English voice acting is kind of middling a little bit. It's a little bit of the middle. It's not the worst I've ever heard in a video game. It was much better in SoulCalibur IV. These voices also might sound familiar to you if you've heard them in anime and other type of video games out there, or media in general. So this is taking way too long.
Get stronger.
Okay, Siegfried just grabs the sword. I'm sorry, but my patience is getting tested. So this and their big brain move by Bandai Namco, either in a deal just to make this an exclusive, clearly with Nintendo. That's the only reason why they did this, because if this was on the PS3 and Xbox 360, it would have sold better. I'm not saying it'd be a better game. Using the nunchuck to move is fine, but swinging to do enemy attacks is terrible. I don't know what they were thinking with this. Look at this, swinging constantly, and you gotta do it constantly, all the time. Up and down, left and right. I don't know what they were thinking. Look at this, you have to constantly keep doing this. And look how fast that is. You gotta constantly keep doing it to make sure you make it through the game. I'll probably put up some footage of Devil May Cry 3 and God of War 2 at this point and show you the differences when we get into the combat, because this is just the opening area where you just break barrels. No kid would want to sit here and swing the Wii remote constantly just to get through this. Because it's important to open up barrels because they have items inside them, just like they do in Devil May Cry. Look at that wall! Not Dark Souls, but Devil May Cry has walls like these. So now they teach you how to do horizontal attacks. They should have just taught you that earlier with the vertical attack. You can also lock onto enemies, but this is pretty much all you're going to be doing. That's it. You having fun yet? Look how much damage these guys take. 3 hits each. That means you're gonna have to swing approximately, what, in a large area, maybe 9 times? Look at that Devil May Cry wall! It's just not intuitive to sit here and have 2 remotes to basically do the functionality of 1 remote, like it was for the PS2 for the most part for the Devil May Cry games and God of War, or the Xbox with Ninja Gaiden Black. See, you got some nice health in there. Nice. Good stuff. If you notice, we also got like a Metal Gear Solid mini-map, which kind of cracks me up for some reason, because aesthetically, it looks out of place. Look, we're on a pirate ship where we found Soul Edge, right? And you look at all of this embroidering, the nice wood of a ship, the nice candles, and then you look at this Metal Gear Solid mini-map, it's like, this has nothing to do with the aesthetic of the game. I mean, look at Siegfried's profile picture and the health bar and soul gauge bar with it. At least it seems like it's era-appropriate, or at least what this type of setting is going for. That mini-map is just not cutting it. Maybe if they put like a frame around it, maybe it'd look better, but I don't think so. I think I'm playing this on normal, if I remember correctly. So I haven't used the soul gauge meter yet, which is the green bar up there, and it's full. But we're gonna do it against this guy. Who is it? You may be asking, well, we're on a pirate ship. What other pirate you know that's in the game? You think Raphael's a pirate? No. It's the one and only, the original wielder of Soul Edge in the introduction of the series, Cervantes. Let's go. Look at him. He's a bum. You're a bum, Cervantes. Do you believe in bad video games, Siegfried? Well, you're in one. That's mean. That's so mean. True, but mean. This is a villain. This is an antagonist character. And all you do is you beat him here and that's it. I don't even know if he comes back based on how far I played in, because I didn't beat this game. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not playing this to show that I beat it. I'm playing to show why you shouldn't even play it in the first place. That's what my argument is. Besides being a retrospective review, this was just bad. Look, he'd also thrust the Wii remote. See, he put the soul gauge and does more damage. Look at that. Look at that attack. Look at his damage. Great stuff. Good fight. Good fight. It's not even over yet. I already know it's over. Good fight. Great stuff. Just spam. What's the point of dodging, rolling, or anything like that if you could just wail on him? So this is supposedly takes place between Soul Edge and SoulCalibur as well. But this is non-canonical, so don't worry about it. It doesn't matter. What a great blade that is. Didn't look anything like it was in the cutscenes that you were showing off, but thanks. That's what I'm talking about. You didn't even show it. SoulCalibur looked right, but this doesn't. So in this cutscene, Soul Edge just decides to go crazy and have evil demon creatures invade the world. Look at that. Haha, Siegfried, you got tricked because you were down bad. Look at it. It looks like an atomic bomb going off in this medieval fantasy world. Like I said, these don't look bad at all. Bravely Default, I think, uses this type of art style and cutscene stuff to show off their story. And I think it works for SoulCalibur, but at this point, they're mostly doing 3D stuff. The evil seed of Chucky. Okay, yeah, I know. So Siegfried screws up the world by unleashing Soul Edge's power, which then splits it. That's it. And then we're just going straight into Siegfried was enveloped by the evil seed, but he's fine. Okay, sure. This is also reminiscent of Fire Emblem as well. Definitely reminiscent of the PNGs from Fire Emblem, or like I said, Bravely Default. Art's a bit wonky. Siegfried's head is like shrunken in. He's got fetal alcohol syndrome or something. He's got no forehead. I'm Iska, the court jester under the emperor. I just want to get this done. So do I, Siegfried. I'm just going to skip through this because I straight up don't care. This is not what SoulCalibur's about. It's just not. Just not. But they try to do the idea of that world mode. Remember SoulCalibur III when you go to each place and do battles like the original Soul Edge? They try to make that into an entire game, and it just doesn't work the way they did it. I don't even know why I'm saving the game. Do I even bother? Let's get in there, though. I got to show off the trail. They give you a condition, and there's even a rank in the game, but it doesn't help when you don't get extra rewards for it. In the level. I don't know if you get rewards afterwards. It's not like I care that much. This person's a woman? Siegfried, he's going full chide. It's a woman? What the? Apparently, you can level up your soul edge to use different weapons. I guess it'd just be the same.
I'll prove my power.
That sounded terrible. All Siegfried could do is two-headed weapons. I like how they tell you the map is here now. Why wouldn't you tell me that in the first level? Why would you just tell me everything in the first level? I don't even care to guard. I'm just going to swing. Because these guys take forever to do their attacks. Why bother? You know, even if I get damage, it's not going to be so bad. Look at this. You can just drill through them. Why bother? But I think also the lack of enemy, not necessarily lack of enemy variety per level, because this is obviously different than the skeletons. But you'll notice when we get to the arena, you'll start doing repeats of the assets they used in other levels. Jump feels wonky. It feels like DMC1 jumping. Look at this. Yep. Oh, okay, nice. You actually hit me. Good stuff. It looked like they were just jumping to get closer to do an attack. I didn't even know that was an attack. Oh my goodness. Dude, for real. It's not like I have great movement here. Where are you going? You done yet? Let's go. I'm already getting tired playing this game. Look how much health that healed. Are you kidding me? So they're more like a nuisance to be like a skillful challenge to get through in terms of learning what these enemies do. And they're so slow and cumbersome. They're worse than the skeletons. This should have felt like the first level enemy because how slow they are. And they might do decent damage, but I never got hit by them. So this is to build up your soul charge, spirit charge. I call it soul gauge. That's what it essentially is, but they call it spirit charge. Don't know why you just changed the name. Why spirit charge? It's the soul. The game's not called Spirit Calibur or Spirit Edge. It's called Soul. But some of these levels actually do have bosses. And you actually get to see a cutscene for those bosses coming in. I think it's at 30 frames per second. This game runs at 60, I think. Feels like 60. That's clearly 30. Do I even care to block? I think I'm just going to prove that you don't even need to block. How did I even get hit by that? Okay, I just don't even care. Like, look at how much damage he's doing. Nothing. There you go. Great boss battle. You don't even get to kill him. You just hit him halfway. No blocking, no parrying. Compare this to Cerberus and Devil May Cry 3, and it's not even close. Look, it's Ivy. Ivy's in the game. Let's go. Just knocked it away. Wow, it's like I was already doing that. What? Why do we got Kingdom Hearts victory poses? They try to take that from SoulCalibur, like, yeah, we won, so we get the victory pose. Look, that's Kingdom Hearts. And that's the power of the Soul Edge. See, I got an A, just for clear time. Notice how health, I don't think, was even a part of this. It's just max combo. Great stuff. See, you have a ranking here, too. I think that's what the bar is for, is based on your ranking. Why you care about ranking, I don't know. Do you get something out of it? I don't know. Don't care. I do like the aesthetic, though. Don't care. So Ivy gets to join the team and also pledged help with the Roman Emperor to help stop the Sultan from destroying the Roman Empire. Because the Sultan is actually using SoulCalibur, and we're trying to recover the fragments of Soul Edge. That's essentially the plot of this game. See, as you notice, you got two different areas here. Why'd I hit yes to save the game? What am I doing? Why am I doing this? We need to go to the arena, and you're going to start to notice that, wait a minute, I've seen that enemy before, but sometimes I think you have to do one stage over another. So now you can choose between these two characters. So we're going to choose Ivy.
Pain only lasts an instant.
I'll do it.
Good intro. See, you can switch between characters in the quest, but I'm probably not going to. Ivy is really good. I think she might be better than Siegfried. She just has better range. Look how easy. She's so much faster, too. Look, skeletons again. Just like the rock enemies, just reuse those assets. This is also like a worse version of a SoulCalibur IV stage. I mean, because it's on the Wii, so it's not like they can show it off graphically. Look at that horizontal attack. It's so good. It's such a good circumference. Why wouldn't you use that? That hit? Was that even a proper hitbox? Jeez, that was a one-hit kill. Oh my goodness, Ivy, you are too good. Why would you ever play Siegfried at this rate? It does a similar amount of hits to Siegfried, if not just the same. Like, there's no differentiation. The issue is, in Devil May Cry and Ninja Gaiden Black and all that stuff, they also have projectiles, which help deviate from their normal combos you're used to. In this game, there doesn't seem to be any. If they are later on, that's just ridiculous. Like, there should be already day one. Game one. Even then, you still get other weapons that are to one character and not relying on doing them on multiple. I shouldn't have to switch between characters to do different weapon types. It's like, there's other characters in this game, like Mitsurugi, Astaroth. Those are all like melee characters. There's not really any projectile characters, I don't think, in this game. There's apparently also some character from Tales of Symphonia in the game, but you probably won't play it long enough to even see that character. Look, this is a new enemy. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. I think I'm done here. Why was it blue? Soul Edge is red. That's what I don't get. Like, why is he wielding Soul Edge? Why even wield Soul Edge at that point? Why isn't he just getting the fragments of SoulCalibur? Just say he found SoulCalibur instead and he's gonna have to defeat the soul and he's using Soul Edge instead. I don't know, man. They just feel like SoulCalibur's the bad sword, and I get that it's like utopian sword of your own vision, but in most cases, like you see in this SoulCalibur IV ending and most story battle characters, that they'll just tell you that their utopia overcomes what's like, oh, that seems like sort of a good thing, I guess, but it really depends on what you think a utopia is. So this is SoulCalibur Legends. If you're interested in this type of game, I wouldn't even recommend it. This game is decently long. I'd say like 9 to 12 hours. Maybe if you're speedrunning it faster, just wanting to rush through things, maybe 7 to 8 hours. I don't recommend it. More reviews, retrospectives on the way, everybody. Welcome back to the stage of history. Isn't it beautiful? Bandai Namco. What? Who? Who's this new company I've never heard about? What? The Havoc engine? What the? Cryware. This is all new to me, as will be new to anyone who's ever seen SoulCalibur. It went from Soul Edge to now SoulCalibur IV as we're at. Project Soul yet again. And we'll get into this intro of the game, which I do believe is actually an in-game cutscene instead of an FMV. I think they wanted to show off the processing power of the PS3 and Xbox 360, which is what this game is available on. But actually shows us the villain of the game, or I should say the antagonist. This is Algol. He's Warrior King, and his son got corrupted by Soul Edge, essentially. This is like thousands of years ago. It's a very long time ago, apparently. And he realized, no, my son! He's been corrupted. It's over. This game looks good. Even at 720p, which is the resolution I'm playing on right now, it still looks excellent. Also, there's no voice acting for this part. So what Algol does, he decides to trap Soul Edge with him. That's where all this crystal stuff comes from, is actually what the new design of SoulCalibur looks like. Look at this guy, dude. That's Siegfried, baby. Look at that crystal armor. The armor's a bit goofy, but I could dig it, especially with how Siegfried is portrayed now in this game. That background art looked good. Oh my goodness. Ivy certainly got enlarged assets there. There's Hilda, new character. Look at this, Darth Vader. Yes, you heard it here first, folks. Darth Vader is in this game as a cameo character, which was a good idea. It definitely helped the sales of this game on the PS3, and then Yoda is on the Xbox 360 version. It's so good. Look, Mitsurugi versus freaking Darth Vader in-game cutscene. Are you for real? That's insane. Or I should say in-engine cutscene is a better way of putting it. Look at this. They all mapped it out. Look at the freaking glare on Mitsurugi's blade. Is insane. This game was made for ray tracing 10 years before ray tracing came out. It's a shame, but this game still looks really good. I'd argue it's top 5 best looking PS3, Xbox 360 games of all time. This game is phenomenal looking. It's really surpassed. I'd argue SoulCalibur V might look a bit better in this game, but the aesthetic of this game's awesome. And this newly designed Nightmare, this one and SoulCalibur II are probably my favorite Nightmares, because this isn't Siegfried Nightmare, this is Soul Edge Inferno, piece of that Soul Nightmare. Look at SoulCalibur, baby. Oh my goodness. This is a completely and utter redesign of the original, and it looks nothing like the original, but you can really tell that the essence of what they wanted to go for in terms of good or happiness, the opposite of Soul Edge. This emblem, probably the best emblem.
SoulCalibur IV.
That was a beautiful intro. Lucasfilms, Bandai Namco, they fused together. Now they're one company, and they decided to release this. Look at this intro UI. Isn't it flippin' beautiful? Thorns on the sides, the font is beautiful, amazing. This is what I wanted all the time in SoulCalibur. Since SoulCalibur II is like this type of aesthetic. Look, each option you could go for, which is ironic because I'm on options, but each little slide here is like a sword. So good aesthetically. They understood the assignment of what they were missing from 3, where they're trying to go too medieval and maybe too many options to show on the screen, but this is just a simple UI. You don't have to make it more complicated than this. All right, so we're going into training mode. That's obviously the practice mode for this game, so I can show off some stuff with this. This is the character roster. Notice that there is no timer in this. I complain about that in Tekken because it is unnecessary in practice mode. I believe I got every character unlocked. I think this is something else, but I'm pretty sure I got every character unlocked. So we got Algol, who's the main antagonist per se. We got Salamel, who was the last antagonist of the previous game. I don't know why he's not dead. Whatever, it's SoulCalibur. They're just making it up as they go. Okay, he's not actually Abyss. It was actually Soul Edge controlling Abyss or whatever. Whatever excuse they give. You got Yoshimitsu back, Talum, Young Song, Sung Mina, Rock, Cervantes, Ivy, Astaroth, Killick, Zhang Hua, butchering names, Hilda, which is a new character for this game, Maxi, Voldo, Tira, Nightmare, your custom character, Siegfried, Mitsurugi, Cassandra, Raphael, Taki, Setsuko, Amy, who was a bonus character in the previous game, is now a full-blown character in this. Sophitia, there we go. Lizard Man, Darth Vader, and The Apprentice, yes, because they also wanted to promote The Force Unleashed, which is why The Apprentice ended up in this game. Because I do believe SoulCalibur IV and The Force Unleashed were released in the same year, so this was obviously cross-promotion, which is awesome. And he's a fun character to play as well. But we're going to pick my boy, Siegfried. And of course, you could pick multiple options. You could pick the alt costume or the main costume. Just like in 3, you can customize your own character in this as well. well. You can also customize Siegfried to have him look like anything you want. But look at these 3D models. The 3D model will appear when you click the character, and you get to see their pose coming in. These maps are awesome too. They're all good. I don't think there's a bad map in this game. Unless competitively, maybe there is, but aesthetically, they're all good. They're all bangers. I love looking at all of them. They're just so beautiful to be around. This is the new Versus screen as well. Great aesthetic, great music, and just everything's good about this game. It has that classic arcade feel, but it's modern.
Time to play around.
Nightmare's voice is probably my favorite voice. It essentially plays like SoulCalibur. I don't know if it feels more or less janky than 2, because that's everyone's favorite, right? That's the one that's considered the greatest of all time. This feels good, though. I can't really be mad about it. Look at this. Look how fine-tuned that is to do left and right and barely see it judder on the screen. That's insane. We got your back step. This is an insanely quick sidestep, and the sidewalking is much faster as well. I'll probably put on the screen the difference between Tekken 4 and SoulCalibur 4's movement. I mean, that's not really fair. And also, you see the character's model actually turn to see you. It's very interesting. Instead of just moving your head like they do in Tekken, the full torso and thighs and hips all right turn. It's insanely detailed. They just had to turn the head, now it's been fine. Woo, look at that drop kick. So there's ring outs, good ring out font. The health bar's good in this game. The timer's good. I don't even know if I want to call it birds. It's like edge. Elegant edge is what I want to call it. Egyptian, the golden scarabs, the wings, all that good stuff. So it pretty much plays like every other SoulCalibur. I think there's something new in this game. I don't know what it is. What a great retrospective. I'll probably put on the screen what's new to this game, because I usually focus on the gameplay, right? But this game is known for everything else as well. Aesthetic, soundtrack, it's different modes, all that Namco goodiness that you'd like to expect in their games moving forward. When you win a round, it shows like a red jewel. I always thought that was an interesting change. So you got your soul gauge or whatever. Equipment could actually break in this game as well. So sometimes when you hit your opponent hard enough in a certain area, their stuff will just break. It looks pretty cool. Oh, see? My equipment broke. That's just SoulCalibur in a nutshell, man. It just feels good. I don't hate it. So this is the menu. You got your soul gauge stuff. Actually, it's really interesting. You could change the soul gauge to what you want it to be so it's at max. So let's look at the move list. This game has a crap ton of moves you could do. It's insane. It's all centered around certain attacks like kicking, vertical, horizontal, signature moves, classic signature moves. Look at that. Double grounder beta, dude. Your 8-way run moves, it's crazy. Throws, special moves, and you got your help. Thank goodness for the help. It actually tells you what moves do and what they are. Like if they're unblockable, they'll give you the red U and stuff like that. Very nice, very neat. It also tells you what your buttons do, which is awesome. Look at that move, huh? Look at that block. You even get a nice purple aura on it when you're blocking. But it's actually to move into another move. There you go. Ooh, you see that pose change? Because there's stance changes with Siegfried and Nightmare. Some characters I think have stance changes, but Siegfried's definitely known for changing stance. I'm playing on a D-pad right now, and it feels good. I don't know if it feels as good as 2, but it doesn't feel bad. It may not be as impressive as 2's movement, but it definitely feels good. Look at the background 3D models of those statues. That water looks good. Like I said, this is in 720p. Obviously, I'll be rendering it in 1080p, but man, this is awesome. Enough gushing about the scenery. We got to get into the story. So Algo's like the main guy. Like I said before, he's the main antagonist. I say antagonist. He's not really a villain. He's just antagonist. Really like the litmus test or the benchmark in which other characters have to hold up to in terms of whether or not they want to actually achieve their goals in this game. Because you know the goal of Soul Edge, SoulCalibur, whatever it is try to get one of the swords. Originally it was Soul Edge, but that was an evil sword. Eventually SoulCalibur came into the fold and that was the sword to go for. But now anyone could go for any other of the swords. So we're going to play as Siegfried. Also, certain characters have special abilities like the red, green, and blue. They do special things for that. So this is where your opening is about what each character has for their story mode. This gateway looks insane. Stage 1, first sin. So they tell you what your moves. So I have a guard breaker, a soul gauge rate up B, and auto grapple break B. So I get to fight 3 characters here. Each character has their own special abilities, which may or may not be good for balancing. I'll let you be the judge of that.
How many sins will you commit? Father, is that you? You cannot fool me.
I do believe that's Siegfried's father. This isn't, obviously. He's supposed to be like a premonition or whatever, but they made it into a custom character. Look, Revenant from the last game. I feel bad for Zasalamel, dude. He gets introduced in 3. 3 doesn't sell nearly as well for multiple reasons. And they're like, nah, we'll just make a new guy now. Dang, you really got the shaft. Dude, look at the timer on that, too. This is a special thing in this story mode, because it doesn't really happen in the other SoulCaliburs. It's fighting multiple people at once. That's new to this game. Special battle poses, special quotes for certain characters. 4 people I gotta fight. Siegfried's tough. Hey, man, he's gotta fight. Announcer of this game's good as well. Come on, Tira, let's take you on. I don't like this Tira outfit. Her outfit in SoulCalibur 3 was much better. Yeah, I knew it was coming. Just didn't know what direction. Oh my goodness. Wait, what? She hurt herself in the process? Oh, well. Voldo's back. Look at him. He looks so good. It's really impressive to me when something that you played when you were younger might even look better now, if not equal to what you thought you remembered it looking back then. I always thought that was interesting about nostalgia specifically. Usually in Stage 3, you get to fight a special character, a bonus character, that you can unlock by beating them. This is just like Link. Female Link, I guess? I don't know what else to say. She's just an elf. But this character has a backstory. Wow, that was crazy quick. Am I on easy? I don't know what difficulty I'm on, but that was insane. Was that even 4 seconds? They try to combine old SoulCalibur with new SoulCalibur. There's some maps with walls. There's other maps that are just completely out in the open so you can get ring outs. There's some maps where there's no ring outs, which is here. I don't think you can ring out here or destroy the environment. So you gotta fight in this cathedral. Such a sick environment to have a fight. So these two have a history. She's from like the Wolfcrone Empire and he's either from that same empire or another one that's close by. I think their friends or allies. She's got a sick style though. She's got lance and sword. Ooh, Ivy. That's special dialogue between Ivy and him. I think she gave up on the whole redemption thing at this point, if I remember correctly. I don't think she cares now. I don't know. I don't remember her arcade ending in this game. But both of them were looking for redemption. Siegfried for his sins and Ivy for her father's sins. Now, this is the intro that you get depending on what character you have on the tower. Yeah, this is a special intro cutscene where Nightmare actually just destroys Tira. It absorbs her soul. He actually just betrays her after she was working as a minion for Nightmare. Soul Edge has an interesting redesign too. They've made it more like a standard fantasy blade than a flesh blade. I kind of like the flesh design better. I do like the eye though in this. The eye is very good. Also, the boss usually has 2 things of health instead of 1. Also, they have nullify ring out. This stage is so good too. Just like a giant tower where you're above the freaking clouds. It's simple, but it works. So here we go. Special cutscene. Bam! Slice through Nightmare. Yeah, get him, Siegfried. Enough is enough. It's time for a change. You tell him, buddy, in your weird crystal armor. They both get crystallized. That's right. They put an end to the misery of both. They're like, screw it. Here's my redemption. Everyone become crystal. And there you go. I think that's Siegfried's ending. I don't know what the canonical ending of this game is. I straight up just don't know. I don't know if it's Siegfried's Nightmares, Algol's. I don't even know. There you go. You got your credits for the game. Look at those beautiful credits. Dude, the gosh darn font is so good. That color is very nice. A nice copper color. A B rank. I got perfects. Are you out of your mind? So there is the arcade. I'm not going to show off the arcade. It's an arcade mode. There's nothing really different about it from story mode. Besides the fact that you do unlock characters in arcade. Here's the Tower of Souls. This is an interesting take on the old style of fighting enemies. Welcome to the Tower of Lost Souls. Ascend the tower and seize it by defeating the bosses that protect it, or descend to battle against hordes of enemies and see how far you can descend. Utilize equipment effects and skills acquired in character creation to prove victorious. So we're gonna go in here first. So the number of characters, 2. That's how you have to fight. The boss style, that means the boss fights like Astaroth. And there's a hidden item. That means you have to do hidden things in order to get those items. That's basically just this mode. It's not really that complicated. Law of the Earth, baby. Let's get in there. All right, so switching in this game, it basically has a tag mode. Kind of works like Tekken Tag, except it's instant. You switch in instantly. But you see that the meter at the bottom left? It ran out because I constantly kept switching. You take up 1 bar, and it slowly goes up, but it also goes up more as you hit. So it means I can switch in, and then switch. There you go, and then hit him. There you go. You can actually use the force in this. It's crazy. Look at that. That's a force push. The Darth Vader feels fun in this game. He might not be the best character, but he feels fun. So does the Apprentice. The Apprentice feels really good. Yoda's just cheap because he has such a low hitbox. That's a Namco special, is either make a character too large or too small. Like they did with Gone, like they did with Night Terror and SoulCalibur III. You have to do both floors. Astaroth's got a brand new design too. I don't know why he's a rock guy, but he is. He just is now. Hold on. There you go. Look at that. Force into grab. Look at you. Oh, I picked him off the ground. That was sick. Oh, I can't believe I got the animation off. That was awesome. Wow, I got a treasure chest. That's good. Warrior trousers. So that's where you get the customized stuff for your character creation. But that's it. That's basically all this is. It's not really that complicated. It kind of, I wouldn't say ruins the mystique of what Soul Edge, SoulCalibur, and SoulCalibur II were trying to do. They just want a different methodology of just running the gauntlet of destroying enemies and whether or not you could figure out how to unlock the hidden items. There's supposed to be like a hidden challenge to it, but some people might find that annoying. I think it's just okay. It has its ups and its downs. So let's look at the versus mode. So you have standard versus and special versus, just like in SoulCalibur II where you get all those weapons and stuff like that. You can play online in this game. I am not kidding. This game had online. This is the first SoulCalibur to really do that. So let's go into character creation. We can go in here real quick. You notice how I could just click any character I want to. Look at this. It says 50, but it's actually 48. I don't know why it says 50. It's 48 extra slots that you can work with. So you go with new data. You could choose like customize Siegfried. You could choose what type of helmet he wants, what type of stuff you want to get in there. See, I've unlocked stuff already. Death's cloak, you could have him wear a cloak if you want. A whole bunch of stuff. You could change all of this if you want to. And it actually gives different stat effects. Attack, defense, and HP is different based on what they're wearing. See, if I gave this, the defense changes. But if I give Paladin's Cuirass, it'll give something else, or Hero's Breastplate, or the Guardian's Breastplate. It's all different. If you play with a custom character, I'm not saying you're cheating, but it's basically broken. I don't think they balanced it for it online. I have no idea if they did or not, but I can see why it's a balancing problem. So you got all these hairstyles. You even could have him have an afro. Look at this guy. They didn't have to do this. They didn't have to put the waving of the background wind on the character. They didn't have to do any of that. They went in crazy detail for this game. Dude, look at the stage too. It's moving. The eyeball is seeing like the eye of Sauron because it's the Soul Edge eye. Look at this, man. Oh, they cared back then. They cared back then. Look, Siegfried's eyes even follow you as you turn his character model. Are you kidding me, man? They did not have to do this. See, there's SoulCalibur. SoulCalibur kind of looked like this originally. It might look a little bit different now, but it was more like a blade back then. But now they're trying to go more for the crystal look. So then you could just do custom character too. Male or female, whoever you want. You could also choose a style. It'll tell all the new styles that are in here as well. You can pretty much play as anyone, except for Al Ghul. Al Ghul's the only one you can't choose as a play style in this. So you could auto-generate if you want. So you could have none, light armor, heavy armor, or standard equipment. We'll go heavy armor. Battle trait, attack focus, defense focus, HP focus, maximum attack, maximum defense, maximum HP, concentrated skill type, dispersed skill type, or none. Maybe we should do none. I think none might be better. Alignment is good or evil. It's just auto-generated character. I don't care. Cool, he looks terrible. So it's just the same thing as you saw with Siegfried. These are different powers that you can choose. They tell you when they activate, how they activate, and what they do. Like this has a chance of preventing a ring out, right? Nullifying ring out. But this has a higher chance, the highest chance. You can tell by how much it takes in order for it to happen. Step cancel. Cancel move when used while attack the opponent by simultaneously hitting A, B, and kick. Let's go. Simultaneously during battle. That's crazy. Look at all this stuff you can put on the character, which is nuts. You could change the background too. I forgot you could do this. Just change in the middle of the thing and it doesn't crash the game. Thank goodness. Hall of the Warrior God, dude. Look at this stage, man. Hey, this is a stage with walls as well. Look at this, man. Oh, this looks so good. You can test play your character too. You can change the pose if you want, whatever pose you want. So let's test play our character, shall we? If you don't even like it, you can just go back and try it again.
Test play.
See, he just plays like Siegfried. That's the thing though, is that it's just Siegfried. No, that's kind of a problem because the moveset's just the same, but you're a different character. That's essentially it. See, same grab as Siegfried. Let's go to the options before I go to museum. So you have versus mode settings, normal, all the classic stuff. Do you see how quick that menu came up? They don't have a 3D controller, but at least they have the PS3 controller to show here, and I think in the Xbox 360 version, they have the Xbox 360 controller. You got your sound settings here. Nothing fancy. Not like the Dolby stuff from before. You don't have that in this game. You got your messages. You got your stage music settings. Set downloaded music as stage music. So that means I think you can install music onto your PS3 and have that as the background music. But that was the options menu. We can go to museum here. See all this good stuff. So Chain of Souls tells you the relationship and profiles of every character that's in this game to everyone else. You have Nightmare as the epicenter because he's the wielder of Soul Edge, and you have Siegfried here, who's a big screen, who is the wielder of SoulCalibur here. You got different locations here. You got Orstrensburg. I probably didn't say that correctly, but you even have Darth Vader and the Apprentice here as well. You click on a profile, 6'8", 300 pounds. They even have his midichlorian count. That is an insane detail. You didn't have to do what they did. Gemso is discipline. I think his lightsaber discipline, and his family, Emperor Palpatine Master, Planet Tatooine. They even have the music, Star Wars music, in this game on the hangar. It's freaking awesome. Planet Kashyyyk, 6'1", 178 pounds. His master's Darth Vader at this point. It's freaking sick. All right, so that shows every character profile and how they're connected to the story. Look, you got Al Ghul here. Look at this guy. Age is frozen in time. The Hero King Al Ghul. An ancient dynasty. Height, whatever he wills it to be. Weight, whatever he wills it to be. Birth date, meaningless now. Only pure power courses through. They did this as a joke. Family, all in the past, command of the flow of power. SoulCalibur and Soul Edge. Assimilated SoulCalibur and Soul Edge. Trade his life to create the legendary SoulCalibur. So he's the reason why SoulCalibur exists in the first place. Interesting stuff. I actually like that, but it's kind of BS how they try to get all the other characters together and make stuff up. Whatever. So you got your illustrations here of each character you want to look at. Look at this portrait. Looks good. Same as it ever was. You got to buy all this stuff to look at it, of course. Classic or not classic Soul. Well, it's classic to me because it's so old. Now you can look at high quality models. These are the 3D models, right? Yo, that looks good. I actually want to look at this. Look at this model, man. They say it's L2. There you go. It's L2 to zoom in and R2 to zoom out. There we go. Look at this guy. Look at my boy Nightmare. Yo, is that an Al Ghul model? What does this one look like? His face looks rough. It doesn't look like what it was in the game. This looks like a game Siegfried. But these are just some high-quality models you can look at, like each blade you can look at if you want. Promotional materials. I actually have a separate file for this. Look at that, man. That looks so good. Oh, you have Al Ghul just sitting in his throne. Look at it. Look at this. This clearly looks like a figurine or a doll version of him. I think that's what this is as well. This is like a doll version of Al Ghul. Look at this promotional image. Darth Vader and Nightmare. Are you kidding me, dude? How is that not a seller? Here you go. We got some other special stuff here, too. Yep, some character illustrations of these side characters that were made by special artists and never come back again, if I remember correctly. Wait, can I not go to page 2? Oh, there we go. All these customized characters, anime characters that had no reason being in this game. I'm gonna be honest, the bonus characters aren't that great. It's just the same problem I have with SoulCalibur 3 is there's too many like who characters on the roster. That's the art gallery. We have event theater so you can see through everything. Opening, ending, extras, credits in the trailer. Yeah, the special trailer. But yeah, that shows his arcade stuff. Play the game, you'll find out yourself. I'm not supposed to show everything off. Openings. These are openings for each character you beat either in arcade or in story mode. Okay, these are the people I beat with story mode. I don't know what I was talking about before. And then you have your battle records, which is your standard stuff. It's nothing too crazy. But this is where the stuff of where you get honor from. Win a battle with critical finish. Land an attack on a taunting opponent. Cleared story mode with Darth Vader. Cleared arcade mode. Look at all that. I think that's it for the game. I definitely recommend this game. Its alt modes aren't very good. Tower of Lost Souls isn't that great, especially when you can unlock every character in the story mode or arcade mode. Story and arcade are your main two modes where you unlock every character, right? But this is stuff to unlock armor for your character creation, which may or may not be worth it for you if you're that interested in making your characters. But yeah, I like this game. Definitely recommend it. It's fun to play. Definitely have a blast playing it just for Darth Vader and Apprentice. If you want to play the Xbox 360 version to get Yoda, have fun with that. Certain character assets definitely got a bit larger, for better or for worse, I gotta say. But a lot of these characters came back. It's a good roster. It's definitely downsized from 3 because they realized there's way too many bonus characters. Even I don't like the bonus characters here because it's crazy to say this about SoulCalibur, that they're out of place. And it definitely determines that based on their art when they could just have been in main roster characters. I think you should play it. Enjoy yourselves. When you do play it, like and subscribe. We got more retrospectives on the way. And dear God, I gotta play SoulCalibur V. Wish me luck on that. The game saves the data automatically. Did you know that? What a great thing the PSP was. Look, Bandai Namco games. And then Namco again. That's how you know who developed the game. And how you know it's whether or not it's going to be good or bad. What? God of War? What are you talking about? Yes, Kratos is in this game. And we'll get into that when we get into it. But here we go. We got a different intro than what you're used to in normal SoulCalibur games. Because now this is on the PSP instead of on a console. Look, it's Al Ghul yet again. Look at Al Ghul just staring at his hands. Sick. Yo. Like I said, these were always good intros. I think this intro might be shorter than the SoulCalibur IV intro because this game is a port, but it's also not a port. I think it's objectively worse than SoulCalibur IV, but it does have some interesting stuff to say the least in it. Look, who's this guy, huh? Wow, it's being funny. What is this stupid stuff? Who is fighting like that? Oh my God, it's Kratos. Look at this guy. Now this is a matchup. Freaking sick, yo, the double dagger dive. Hey, this looks awesome. Even on the PSP, this looks great. And obviously, this is blown up larger. See, that was very short in comparison to old SoulCalibur stuff. That is super loud. I have no idea if you even heard me through any of that. SoulCalibur Broken Destiny. Oh, they didn't even say it. All right, so this is what you're going to be looking at when you get into the main menu, okay? You can look at the game manual if you like. And it tells you all the stuff. You use L&R to go through it, tell you all these nice things, if you even care. All right, so we got Quick Match, the Gauntlet Trials versus Creation, Training, Records, and Options. We're going to go to Options real quick. You're not going to see a lot of options on the PSP. Sadly enough, there's not a lot of options on the PSP. Okay, cool. Name entry, data options, save, load, install. That's it. You're not going to see a whole lot. You got your battle records here. See how well you did. Look, wow, and Gauntlet. That's great. Wow, cool stuff. Like I said, this is just a worse version of SoulCalibur IV. There isn't a lot of cool options in this. I mean, you got training, which we'll get into right now, but I got to show off the roster. See, there's no timer on the roster. Wow. So you got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 29 characters here. Plus, you can create characters like you could in SoulCalibur IV. But we have 2 additional new characters in this game. You have Kratos and Dampier. Dampier's like your Joker character. I don't know why they made this guy, but I get why Kratos is here just because they wanted to have name brand recognition for the PSP in order to help it sell. So we're going to play as Kratos. He gets 2 costumes. Who do you want to fight? Let's fight Nightmare. The matchup of the ages, Kratos versus Nightmare. Kratos with Soul Edge or SoulCalibur would go so hard. So the maps are the same as they are in SoulCalibur IV. I think this is a new map. I think this is Dampier's map, and I think this is Kratos' map. So I think that's the 2 new maps on this. I think they cut down the maps in this game. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. I have to compare it to both. Let's go to Kratos' map. As you know, you didn't see 3D models when selecting the characters because they had to get memory for the PSP.
Make you suffer.
Oh, that audio is so crispy. It's like talking out of a ham radio. All right, so it's basically just SoulCalibur IV. I really don't got any comparisons or differences in terms of gameplay. It's pretty much the same. It might be worse, it might be slower. See, the sidewalking's so quick in this. I wish Tekka was this fast. You got your standard buttons, your horizontal attacks, your heavy attacks, which is more likely your vertical attacks. Your kick button's still the same. You got your ring outs too. There you go. You can also jump out and do the same thing as well. So the UI is actually just a downscaled version of SoulCalibur IV, and I'll put a comparison on the screen. Obviously, this is blown up, but I could make the screen smaller, but it's still not that great, even on a smaller screen. They made it way too pixelated instead of 3D. I mean, look at the 3D models. The 3D models don't look that bad at all for a PSP. But comparing the UI to it, it looks way too pixelated. The names do. I don't really like the Kratos and Nightmare font either, especially how pixelated it is. The damage is fine. It's whatever, man. I don't know what else to say about it. It's so goofy to me. Look at the background and how pixelated it is. Was it really that pixelated on a normal PSP? My goodness. That's insane. Even if I shrink the screen, it still would be pixelated. But that's all you can really do. There isn't too much here. You can do CPU settings, all that stuff that you can do in SoulCalibur IV. Nothing much different there. So you have character creation as well, like you can in SoulCalibur IV. You got 16 slots here. You can choose an original character or a regular character to customize if you'd like. So if you want to customize Kratos here, you give him... Oh, dude, can you give Kratos hair in this? What? Why is he so large? Wait a minute, hold on. Back out. Wait, I can't change anything else? I can't change his clothing, his hair, or anything like that in this? For real? Wait a minute. You telling me you can't do that with any character, or do I have to beat something? Because I don't think you have to beat the gauntlet to do this. Or is it just Kratos that you can't? Oh, it's only Kratos you can't change. Why? You can't change Kratos' equipment color or anything like that? For real? Why would you do that? One of the best things about SoulCalibur, especially during 3 and after 3, is being able to change things. You just use the same Blade of Chaos. Oh my goodness, what were they thinking? They weren't thinking much about that. Hold on, we gotta go back into creation to do character customization for original characters. So let's just pick a character here. So obviously you base off one of these characters that you choose from. You can't even use Kratos? What? Oh, come on, man. I get it. Well, it looks okay. It looks really smooth. It's just standard stuff that you got from SoulCalibur IV. I don't think it's more. So you got multiple blades that you can use as well. Look at that. Wow. You have your versus, which is also online. Yes, this game has online. It is not going to connect. I don't know why it's still trying to. It's not going to work. As predicted, it was an internal error, but yes, you can play this game online. Oh my god, is it gonna get stuck here? Are you for real? Does it get stuck here? It doesn't let you get out of this screen? I hit circle to go back. Why is it still in this? What are you doing, PSP? Are you okay? All right, we're back. I had to make sure I could get out of the versus screen, but it seems to be that it's only for online mode. Okay, so this is the trial mode. Not really much to do in trial mode. Gain a high score by connecting attacks. Okay, cool. Let's show that off. Let's pick Kratos. Why wouldn't you pick any other character? You pick the new characters, right? Especially if you already played SoulCalibur IV.
I will make you suffer.
Yes.
Don't cry when you lose.
I doubt that's going to happen, lady, but we'll see. You get percentage points based on how many hits you get and how much damage you do. But when you get hit, you lose points. You don't want to get hit. And obviously, this gets harder as you go. So this basically goes for a certain amount of battles, and then they'll count up your score based on how well you did. I'm doing pretty good right now, but this is the first battle, and I think this is on normal mode. There we go. Excellent stuff, Kratos. There you go. There you go. You got your win quotes with Kratos, too. I think he has 4 unique win poses and quotes. We have Kratos versus Kratos. Oh, God. Violence! I like that his combat style is violence. That's an insane statement to make. Oh, my goodness. Why is he okay? Random difficulty spike? Why is he so much stronger? I'm going to get perfected. Almost got perfected there out of nowhere. By the way, this is the second battle. Why was he just going off there? I think Kratos might play better in this than Mortal Kombat. I need to learn to block. There we go. We did it. It's weird because his face is not pixelated, but his chest is. I don't know how that works. How'd you model the face correctly, but when you get zoomed in, his chest is all pixelated. There we go. Good combo. So this is pretty much just the trials. It's not much here to talk about. It's basically just do a form of arcade mode, but you have a score that's determined by a multiplier based on how much damage you do in the match and whether or not you got hit in the match. My goodness. Why was she way easier than Kratos? Guard-centric.
You will be next.
Yeah, you tell him, Kratos. You cook that Zeus guy, whoever that is. Who are you? I am from ancient Greece. Oh god, we get to see Dampier. I actually like this map. This map is awesome looking. Use run. He sidesteps a lot. I think I lost to him last time because I wasn't used to him sidestepping so much. Oh my goodness, please. I don't want to fight someone who plays like Voldo. Look at that combo. You just keep doing it. Why wouldn't you when it has range like that? Look at that. He's on the ground. Is he stuck? Oh my goodness. No way. Okay, he's not stuck there forever. Well, he would have been if he didn't quick roll. 500%. We're doing pretty good. Is this the boss? Semi-boss battle? Jeez Louise. Who let Siegfried cook? I like how his style's violence too. What the hell? It's Y-hander, I think they call it. SoulCalibur IV. Why would you say violence? Like, everyone's violent in this game. What are you talking about? Oh my god. The grab looks like I grabbed his head. Oh my goodness, he's going off. Okay, never mind. I think we're good. At least we see the losing battle pose here. ABAAF. So, quick match. You can choose your opponent and you get a title from it. That's it. There's no arcade mode. There's no story battle in this. The Gauntlet is the story battle, quote unquote, but it's not that great. You'll pick Kratos again because it's the whole point of playing this game. So you just fight some random person, you get a title out of it. It's going to be Kratos again. Let's go. Oh, that was sick! Goes to 3 battles in this, which will become a standard in SoulCalibur V. Doing 3 battles in arcade mode instead of 2. Oh my god, what was that move? Oh my goodness. This Kratos is going off. Oh my god, what are these? What is that combo? Are you insane? Why would you make that? Oh, that was even better though! Of course it made Kratos good this game. Why else would you play it? This game did not sell well. It did not sell well compared to Tekken 5 Dark Resurrection, which sold over 2 mil. This game sold under 1 million, which is not good on a console like the PSP. Okay, well. How'd I win? Oh my god! What was that move? What the hell? Are you kidding me? Okay, I don't think Kratos is balanced. I'm going to show out the Gauntlet, which is your so-called story mode. It's non-canonical, and they tell you that. So we're going to pick Kratos again. I've already done the first chapter. This game mode is bad. I don't know why you would put this as your story mode. They give you like this side story and they talk about all these woodland creatures and these characters you gotta fight, and they give you like a prologue to it, but all this is a tutorial to play the game. And I have no idea why they made it like this. Why would you do this? Why? I don't care to do this. Look at this. Great. This is a great story mode, by the way. This was a bad idea. I don't think you should have done this. It does nothing for no one. We have training mode for a reason. This is not a JRPG. And this is all you do for the first chapters is just learning how to play the game. But that's true for also the next chapters that you play in the game as well. There's just no point. I think you get stuff unlocked in the Gauntlet, but there just isn't any point to do so. So the issue I kind of get with this game is like, what do you even unlock in the Gauntlet? Clothing and stuff like that? Because at least in Tekken 5 Dark Resurrection, with all the characters unlocked, you still have to unlock clothing and stuff like that by getting money. I don't even know what the point is to playing the Gauntlet besides just learning things. This is just a PSP port. It's not that great. Do I recommend it? No. Just go play SoulCalibur IV right now, man. Just go play that over this. There's just no point, especially with no online. There's no point in playing this game over SoulCalibur IV. More reviews and retrospectives on the way. Have a good one. SoulCalibur Broken Destiny! Bandai Namco Games yet again. Cryware, what game is this? It's SoulCalibur V. Project Soul, baby. Rest in peace. It's just like the broken shards of Soul Edge scattered across the world. Hey, yo, it's Nightmare, baby. That's how you start out a game, though. Just show Nightmare wrecking everyone. Why not? I think that's a good start to any game. But look how good this game looks. Look at Nightmare raising Soul Edge up and doing his big bang blast, baby. Bye-bye. That's what happened to the franchise when SoulCalibur VI was made. They decided to nuke it, reboot everything. But wow, look at this. Yeah, baby. It's SoulCalibur versus Soul Edge. Siegfried versus Nightmare. Oh, yeah. Go at it, fellas. That's what I'm talking about. I wish SoulCalibur actually felt like this, but it'd probably be too fast to react to it properly. I mean, SoulCalibur IV is pretty quick. It's pretty smooth for what it tries to utilize, especially on the PS3 and Xbox 360. Oh, no! It's getting trapped in ice. That's kind of what happened at the end of Siegfried's arcade mode or story mode. It's okay. He's got SoulCalibur. He'll be fine. Ta-da! This goofy crystal armor. I am one with SoulCalibur, baby. Let's put an end to this now. He's got to power up. We got to power up. Duel of Fates or whatever. That's Star Wars now. The final clashing of the blades. Blam! Locked eternal battle. for your soul. I don't even think Siegfried is in his right mind. I think he was being controlled by the sword. Yep. Bam! No way he could have dodged that. So that was a good fake out, actually. I'm absolutely fine with that being a fake out. And of course, Siegfried stabs the living hell out of Nightmare. And Soul Edge, he tried to block, but he shattered it. There you go. Again, Siegfried wins. Again. Shocking literally to no one. We need someone to win. My goodness, it can't be Soul Edge. We can't have an era of darkness. We absolutely cannot have that. We got to have SoulCalibur be put into the mix to end the nightmare that is Soul Edge. Okay, and that's your intro to this game. That's it. And it's not very good at representing what this game ends up being. It's not it's not very good at trying to tell you what the story is of this game. They even tell you here, the first thing you see after hitting start, which you see the logo and stuff, which I don't think it's the best SoulCalibur logo. It's mediocre to lower end on my scale. It's a bit too, not whimsical, it's a bit too edgy, but the wrong kind of edge. Like gothic edge. Like everything looks like a finger or a bent bone or something like that, instead of the sharpness that was like the SoulCalibur logo back then. But this is the first thing you see when you hit start. Story, 1607 AD. Experience the story of SoulCalibur V. The story focuses on the main character Patroclus and the two swords in 17th century Europe. Who? Literal who? This is not a character that's been mentioned in any other SoulCalibur game. So that beginning cutscene just showed basically the end of SoulCalibur IV, which doesn't help us introduce anything that's happening in this game. We're gonna go straight to options. I just want to show this off real quick. Control settings. Look, you got a controller there. Yay! You got display settings, which you got your brightness. I kind of went too quick there. There isn't much to do here. Look, realistic sounds. This is probably the newest thing they added to this game. You can have exaggerated sound effects or more realistic. Larger value denotes sound effects are more emphasized. We're going to keep it realistic +3. I think that's fine. These settings are perfectly fine for this. You also got stage music settings, which each character has their own stage and their own theme to it, which is nice. Got the install the game onto the thing in software notice. All that cool stuff. Great. Done with options. We're going to do offline play first before we get into the abysmal story mode. You got to satisfy certain conditions. I can't believe they just tell you this, that you have to satisfy certain conditions to unlock a mode. You mean just beat story mode or something else? So this, you only do 6 stages, which is kind of insane in arcade mode, but we're actually gonna do training mode. See, I fooled you. We got to go into training mode. I keep wanting to do arcade. So here's all your characters. I don't have them all unlocked. You got some new characters in here. You got some old characters. This is Lizard Man, by the way. He goes by Aeon something. I don't care. This is Tira. Remember Tira? Look at this nothing Sun Wukong character. Look at Hilda. Look at Siegfried, all grown up. Woo-wee. See, you got some old characters in here. I don't have everyone unlocked. Killick became Edge Master. He essentially became Edge Master, does everyone else's moveset. Look at Raphael. This dude looks insane. We also have Ezio Auditore as our guest character for this game. Not the worst character. I think this was an appropriate choice for that time period, especially for how big Assassin's Creed was going on to be. It's why it's just like a stand user from JoJo for some reason. This is the main character of the game. Notice how he looks like Siegfried? This is Sofatia's kid. So is this. We have both of them. Why? I don't know. What's the main story of SoulCalibur about? Siegfried fighting his inner demons and evilness of when he became Nightmare from the first game called Soul Blade or Soul Edge. What does this have to do with Sofatia? I'm not saying Sofatia didn't have lore in the story, but this is the main man. It'd be different if it was his kid, but man, they dropped the ball on the story in this game. I do like these models, but notice how they're not in 3D. They're in 2D. The art's nice. All right, we're gonna pick Siegfried. See, he's without SoulCalibur here. So in training mode, we're just gonna beat up Pyrrha. I don't care. Look, you got stage selections, which is nice. See, I unlocked a stage there. Got some stages you need to unlock by playing arcade battle and story mode and all that nice stuff. Let's see. Let's just go to the Conqueror's Coliseum. You could change settings and stuff like that. Notice how there was no 3D models there? SoulCalibur IV had 3D models there. All right, so this is SoulCalibur V. It's basically SoulCalibur IV. Except you could do like a critical edge move, which is double quarter circle ABK, if I could even do it. There we go. That's ABK. So R2's ABK. There we go. So this is critical edge. You basically get a super move. I don't know why they're trying to transform this game into Mortal Kombat, the reboot for the PS3 and Xbox 360. Look at this. Why is this needed in SoulCalibur? In SoulCalibur IV, like there was already special edge moves that you had in that when the opponent's health was low and your meter or soul meter was up, but this is just nonsensical now. We don't need this to be a gimmick in this game. Like I said, SoulCalibur stood out based on its mechanics, but now that you're trying to add other mechanics from other games, it works for those games. I don't think it works here. Especially double quarter circle. Is this Street Fighter now? Are we doing double quarter circles in a SoulCalibur game? Are you out of your mind? Why would you ever need to do that? Whatever. This game feels okay. Kind of a bit blurry when he moves. Is motion blur on? Is that why I didn't see an option to take motion blur off? I don't know why they're so obsessed by putting motion blur in games. I don't get it. Does the game look better with motion blur? Would you say? No. I'd actually like to be able to see what's in the background as I'm moving. This was the worst time to have motion blur on the PS3. Look at that. Critical edge while they're on the ground is crazy. Look how much damage the critical edge does. And specifically, it's different for each character, their critical edge. Look how much range it has. And damage, dude, it does what, 40%? About maybe 35% of your health, which is bad. Because it's kind of like the X-Ray in Mortal Kombat, but that doesn't work for SoulCalibur. You got all this system stuff you could change here and there. It's very nice. It's very nice. I like it. It's okay. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen. You got your move list. It's just like SoulCalibur IV. You got nice that. You got versus battle. Now we're going to do the arcade. So you can actually change the route. I don't know why. It doesn't even matter how hard I try. We're in normal mode. Normal difficulty. Oh, we're just going to play as Ezio so I can show him off. And also Zwei, a new character. Eins, Weins, Dry. Eins, Weins. How about Zwei? Zweihander?
I didn't catch all that.
I don't care. I wish I could care. The game doesn't look ugly. It's not about this game's visuals. Bandai Namco was pretty good at that. The problem is just not understanding what made their previous games good and how to interpret that into the new era. They just think they need gimmicks. Let's not. Also, rounds normally as the default go to 3 instead of 2. I don't think that's better for a game like this. Now, SoulCalibur II, sure, that game's fun to play and rounds are pretty quick. But in this game, it feels like a slog. There we go. GG. There's also armor breaking in this game just like it was before. It's so weird. This game looks almost too edgy, but it's not edgy. It's medieval. It's not even medieval gothic. This is what it tries to look like. It looks like a DMC3 menu. Compare it to like the Egyptian scarabs of SoulCalibur IV, and you look at this, it's like this is way too edgy, especially for a series that really isn't based on gothicness. It's not based on Resident Evil, Devil May Cry, horror monsters whatsoever. Got your own battle poses, stuff like that, like you do in the other games. It's not like this doesn't look bad. I like the cool revolving background, and these maps are pretty good. There isn't much to say. Not enough things that are different besides mainly critical edge that makes this game different from SoulCalibur 4, because it's just SoulCalibur 4.5, essentially. There's new character stuff, but they don't stay long. SoulCalibur 6 made this game look worse. I'm not saying SoulCalibur 6 is better. Notice that was a stage transition without having to destroy it, but I think you could destroy environments too. I'm not for sure. But my point is that SoulCalibur 6 made this game irrelevant. Would you play this over 4? No. Would you play this over 2? No. Would you play this over SoulCalibur 3? Probably not. Requiescat Pace. Yeah, rest in peace, SoulCalibur 5. It's nice knowing you. I like we get to fight most of the new characters now to prove my point. This is just Goku. I can't believe, like, let's put Goku in the game. Sun Wukong Goku. Why? Remember Killick? Why do we need another Killick clone? It's insane. Look, okay. Oh my god. As if Killick wasn't annoying enough. We gotta make yet another Killick clone. That's what I say to that. I don't have enough for critical edge. I'm doing so well that I'm not building my soul meter up. Wait, hold on a second. Nope. I just wasted it there. Did you see it pop up? And I didn't even get an animation for it. I got knocked out of it even before it started? How is that even possible? So you only need one soul meter filled in order to do a critical edge. It's not like this game feels that bad. I just don't like the gimmicks of it. There we go. Got him. GG, baby. Look at that crossbow shot. Done and done. Barely need to do anything for it. May no one remember this game. Patroclus? Nice. We've got to fight Patroclus. This is your protagonist.
Fine. You'll die next.
I already hate him. Wow, this isn't Siegfried. The problem, he's too much like Siegfried despite not being Siegfried's kid. That's what really makes me hate him. Try to redo Siegfried, but he has the moveset of Sophatia. I just don't know why. I can't explain it. Who thought in Project Soul or Bandai Namco administration to believe that Sophatia should have children and then put them in the game? Because I think she had kids in 4. That was kind of her arcade mode, was about her children and stuff like that. But having them be the main characters, the main driving force of the plot, no thanks. I'm good. I don't even like Sophatia that much, especially compared to Siegfried and flippin' Nightmare. What a change of pace, huh?
Fear my tools.
Well, okay, can't move. Can't. Okay. Be nice to play the game. Excellent, baby. Let's get some excellence off. Like I said, the UI isn't that bad. I don't think it's really that great. It just feels tonally out of place for like this medieval fantasy game that's not gothic. This would be in the Castlevania fighting game. That's what it reminds me of. We're doing pretty well. I'm going through it pretty easily. Been a couple months since I played this, I think. I like how I don't even care to remember adequately whether or not I played this game in the last couple months. It's sad! It's just nothing can live to the legacy of SoulCalibur II. Every new SoulCalibur game that came out SoulCalibur II kept looking better and better. That's the problem. It became a better game just because the newer games weren't as good. I like the lighting. I don't think the lighting's that bad, or the character models. It has nothing to really do with the art. Maybe some like UI changes and stuff like that. Look, I think the soul meter looked just like that dragon's wing back there. That's not a dragon. I think it's a chimera. You can block critical edges, by the way. You didn't already know that. I mean, you can hit people out of it. It's just like a super you would in any other fighting game. Oh, I'm going to get hit. I couldn't even block that. Oh, unblockable attack! There you go, just do low kicks. When in doubt, do low kicks. Now we should be fighting Nightmare. So Nightmare's design is different in this game, which they didn't show in the beginning. They show you in story mode, but this is also not Siegfried. This is a whole different Nightmare. Spoilers! It's a guy by the name of Dumas who is Raphael. The difficulty spike when you go to Nightmare is insane. Medium difficulty, by the way. When to attack, when not to. How did that not grab? Gosh darn Bandai Namco. Jeez, I'm getting mollywopped by Nightmare. He is rough. If you notice, my time was like 9 minutes because of Nightmare. Nightmare is pretty tough in this game. On medium. He just doesn't care. He has no respect. He reads your inputs. I tried to block there, but it was a mix-up. Oh! Yeah, baby! Like that! That was a pretty good comeback, but now I gotta do it 2 more times. I'm fighting for my life out here. Oh, please hit. Yes, let's go! I got him in the middle of his moveset. Bam! Let's go! I'm cooking now. Oh, let's go! What a comeback. I did that excellently. I'm so glad I get to do this during recording. But there you go. Done and done. That's the arcade mode. 6 battles. That's it. They don't even care to extend it past 6. Okay, cool. Didn't you have so much fun? You can also play online. That's cool. So we're going to get into story mode. I'm saving creation for last because that's the most fun part about this game is being able to make abominations. The curse is soul edge. Yada, 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 yada. We watched the cutscene from the beginning, which I think extends beyond that. So look, experience various battles while following the story of the Spirit Sword SoulCalibur. Clear the episode, open the next one. Oh, remember like previous SoulCalibur games where it was like this? Where we play as Patroclus. There's something going on with these character models, like the bloom and lighting's off. He looks pretty good, but like there's this weird shading, like everything's metallic or made of plastic. So we gotta fight some rebels here. So look, now you get to play as Patroclus and fight. I mean, it's SoulCalibur. What'd you expect in a fighting game? You gotta fight. What? We have to do cutscenes to see the next rebel? I thought they would run in. Did SoulCalibur IV not do that? What the hell? Did you really need to cut? That's so weird. You kind of figured that they would just run in. I just think it's crazy that there's a wipe away there. Boom, look at this. I feel so justiced. Let's do another. So you get 2 of them. What were they thinking? We beat the rebels. Yay. Yo, look at this art, though. Like I said, I always liked the art of this game, but is this a show not tell moment? What the? No, I was like, wait a minute. This is fine. They've done this back in SoulCalibur before. They use art to describe the story, which isn't too bad of an idea. I actually like that for SoulCalibur. Like it says, it tries to be medieval fantasy, and it, like it says, the story is being written what looks like on parchment. Oh, no. Oh, no. Wait a minute. He's not actually that good. I know I'm skipping cutscene and I shouldn't. Look at that bronze trophy. Patroclus headed for Closetburg, destroyed Eddie that looked like malfested. Or to learn the malfested with the rig blade who had destroyed his family. So Tira, I think, was responsible for killing Sophatia or destroying the family with Pyrrha or corrupting Pyrrha. And Pyrrha becomes evil. Oh my god, I gotta fight this guy? Why? I know I skipped it, but like 3 battles, 3 rounds? God, why? Why? Just why? That's all I ask is why. So the last enemy of this game, or the antagonist, is Elysium, which is the soul of SoulCalibur. It's very weird, makes no sense. Who was the main wielder of SoulCalibur for most of the games? That would be Siegfried. They weren't thinking when they were making this game. Not at all. We don't think, we just do. They don't have an editor to edit out all the bad ideas that come through. Very clearly did not have someone with wisdom on Project Soul, nor in Bandai Namco administration. Just not at all. Just tell them, don't do that. It's not going to work for SoulCalibur. I don't think that's hit. That hit? What? Also, I like it's just some random flame spire. That was a counter? These new characters are bad. That's why they don't return. I don't think they're in SoulCalibur 6. They might be. I could be wrong. But there's a reason why they rebooted the franchise in SoulCalibur 6 because of how bad this game is. Look, he's got to summon his wolf spirit that you never got to see because I whooped him so hard. Yeah, he has a wolf spirit. Listen to what I'm talking about. I can't believe in a game that has mystical swords and stuff that I'm like, why are we going full anime and copying JoJo? I don't think that's a good idea for this franchise. Look at this nonsense. If I told you this was a ripoff of JoJo, you'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. And then I'd tell you it was freaking SoulCalibur like, what? Denigrate his lord. Yeah, see, because he's working for Dumas. It's so painful how bad this is. Because I just don't care for Patroclus, man. If this was Siegfried, I might feel a little bit different, but I just don't care. Trying to be an RPG, look how it worked out for SoulCalibur Legends, but they just don't understand what made SoulCalibur good. I've said that before, and I'll say it again. They don't understand the success of the other games, why they worked and why this didn't. I'm tired of the excuse that fighting games weren't big or fans were less interested in the series. No, you made them less interested by the way you were making the game. Who's Patroclus? Why would you introduce a new character as the protagonist? There was no warning. At the end of SoulCalibur IV, there's no warning that we're going to play as Patroclus or Pyrrha or any of that nonsense. There was obviously hints that Siegfried was basically being done. I'm fine with that. But he needs to be the mentor. Like Edgemaster was to Killick and them, Siegfried should be the mentor to Patroclus. And I don't think he is in this game. And it ruins it. This should have been Siegfried's son. But Siegfried wasn't old enough. And I get that. But I just... they could have done it so many different ways. We could have did a proper time skip, but no, we can't do that because then the characters would age too much. This feels like Guilty Gear and Blaze Blue now. This doesn't feel like SoulCalibur. We gotta find Pyrrha. Yeah, it feels like a Pyrrhic victory. This game is Pyrrhic and the full embodiment of the adjective. Oh my goodness, don't care. I'm sorry, I should be skipping this, but this is just to put in retrospective. Look! Oh my god, the better character? The character I actually want to play as? Or be the mentor to, Patroclus? Which he probably is a little bit, but he should have started off like that. Wait, am I wielding SoulCalibur? I didn't even realize it because I'm so used to SoulCalibur being a normal sized blade or a giant blade because Siegfried was wielding it for so many games. Oh, please. You are not forgiven. This game is not forgiven. So when you're playing as a character you don't like the style of, it makes you not want to play the game either. That's also my problem. Like, I get lore-wise why he does, but doesn't make me feel better to play as him. I don't know what that yellow bar does. I don't care, honestly.
Don't feel bad about it.
Oh, come on. All right, let's actually describe what the heck's going on here. He is wielding SoulCalibur.
This just means you are worthy to wield SoulCalibur.
Somehow.
Never heard of it.
Are you out of your mind? How do you never heard of this blade, dude? It's the whole plot of the story. Patroclus, your mother was literally fighting for it, you moron. Oh my god, why did they make him so naive? 17 years? It's been 17 years and a time skip too? Clearly I didn't play enough of the story. God, this is so sad. Yeah, are you gonna become the mentor, please? Yeah, for plot convenience. Teach him.
I want you to wield SoulCalibur as a member of Schwartz.
There we go.
Hand in our fight.
Yes.
I will no longer serve.
No, well, fair enough, but come on. He doesn't need to serve a nation. Ironically, that's what Siegfried was like in SoulCalibur Legends. He just wanted revenge. Which is what, it reminds you of the plot of SoulCalibur Legends, which is a non-canonical game. It's a spin-off. Patroclus is basically that version of Siegfried. Oh, I should have skipped that. I apologize for skipping stuff, but I just don't want to sit here and sit through it and talk through it.
Get out of here alive.
Who are you? Oh, now we're playing as Pyrrha, who is also a sword and shield wielder. So if you didn't like wielding a sword and shield in the first character, you got to do it again. I just want to point out, SoulCalibur before this allowed you to choose a character and then do their arcade story, essentially. Do arcade mode, story mode to do their own story. Now you are forced into playing these characters whether you like it or not. That's the problem with this game too, is forcing people to play characters, first of all, that are new and styles that you also might not like. It's a double whammy. And also she complains and she's terrible. She whines too much. This is not the right character to have in this game. Yeah. You like all the sound effects? Wow, that barely did any damage. Wow, it just goes through, huh? She does not feel good to play. Maybe because I just don't know how to play as her, but like I said, I'm not a big fan of Sword and Shield. Cassandra actually feels fun, because she throws her shield, she goes crazy. Cassandra was literally the sister of Sophatia.
Forgive me. I have to fight.
Stop moping. I don't care for mopey woman character. To be fair, I don't like it in men either. It's just not good for characters. See, now you get to play as her, and I don't care. I think we're just going to end off there. So basically just go through the whole game of Patroclus and Pyrrha, essentially. I don't got any more to say. I don't got any more to say. That's it. Now we can do character creation, which is the best part of this game. Look at all the stuff you could do in this. It's similar to SoulCalibur IV, and they even have two different sections here for your regular characters and your original character. We're going to do original character, which is funny because then you choose a style of an already pre-made character. So we're going to choose Siegfried. Male or female. You could adjust the height if you want to. You can adjust the body type if you want to. That's even before you get into all the features. I'm gonna try to be the shortest character in the game. Oh yeah, you could change the stuff here too. Look, you can make him super buff if you want, or super skinny. If you want to rechange it here, you can. Let's make him super anemic. Multiple different face styles here. You choose from all these if you like. What's the worst one? Yeah, that's pretty good. Travis touchdown hair. Hold on, what's the worst hairstyle in this? What is the worst hairstyle in this? This is one thing that Bandai Namco could do well, is actually do character creation. Allow for so many different combinations to happen. Cornrows, let's go. We're getting it. Those eyebrows look painted on. Oh my goodness. What's...
Can't run away. I can't run away. I can't run away.
Okay. We got that done. Body. So now we have to do all our equipment. Western Knight, I don't even care. This has not always been the craziest thing for me. I mean, it's nice to customize your character. I don't think this is a bad thing. It's just figuring out the hurt box and hit box of a character at this point. So look at all the stuff you can put on your character. And this is even all of it. You got to unlock more stuff in this game. It's not like Tekken 6 to that degree. Here, have some spikes. Why not? Have some knee socks. Dumb hat that won't even fit on your head. Look at this dumb stuff, dude. Are you kidding me? You have a sake bottle. This is the worst looking SoulCalibur ever made. I think I've seen fan art that's better SoulCalibur than this. What is this? What is this from? This isn't from SoulCalibur. What were they thinking as I'm looking through these other blades? This looks so bad. No way, it just said anime pack. Dude, no. We gotta be the sickest guy in all the realm. Literally ill. Leprosy, gangrene, whatever we got. Oh my goodness. What kind of face paint we got? Wait a minute, being old is a face paint. Interesting. Look how many face paints there are. Dang. I wish they cared more about the gameplay than this, so then it would actually make you want to customize your character. Wait, there was more stuff you could do. You could do equipment colors, stickers, weapon color. Oh god, I could make it even worse than it already is. You could shoot pictures. You could input name, custom one. Oh no, we're not going to downloadables. No, we're not doing that. No thank you, downloadable contents. No thank you, PS3, Xbox 360 era. There you go. There's my character. Passionate artist. I sure am. So we're going to end it off by actually using this character in a quick battle. So you earn titles by winning. I don't care. Creation bottom left. So this was also in another SoulCalibur game. I don't know why. I don't know why they care about this. Look at that picture. It's so bad. I can't run away! So this is where I'm going to end it. If you want to play SoulCalibur V, go ahead. If you notice, this is also a map that's not from this game. They took a lot from the other games. They try to make a story that just doesn't work for SoulCalibur, for characters I just don't care about. They had a bad habit of introducing new characters, just like in Tekken 6. Introducing new characters I don't care about, and nonsensical plots that end up either getting retconned or rebooted anyways. Who cares? Also, you just saw a new mechanic there with guard burst. Look, he's Voldo now. Isn't that great? More reviews of retrospectives on the way. I could be done with this franchise forever, forever, forever. Fall off the stage. Just fall off the stage. Bandai Namco presents yet another free-to-play game that was a mistake and I wish it wasn't. Cryware. What went so wrong for this game? What went so bad for Project Soul? Are you kidding me? I can't believe this exists. I can't believe this game is worse than Tekken Revolution. Look at this. Subtitles on a SoulCalibur intro? Are you out of your mind? Look how lazy this is. Are you kidding me? I'm surprised they even have music for this. It might as well just be a dark screen with nothing on it for how bad this went. Oh my goodness. Remember pre-rendered cutscenes in the opening of your video games, Bandai Namco? Apparently you didn't care for the free-to-play games. You just wanted to sit there and be lazy and just do cutscenes from a previous game. Oh my goodness. Look at this. That's from SoulCalibur V in the intro. What are you doing? And there's just a still image. Are you kidding me? $1 billion corporation, $100 million corporation doing this nonsense for their free-to-play games. Oh my god. And just recapping the end of recapping the beginning of SoulCalibur V. Awesome. Great stuff. It looks wonderful, not? This would be fine if this was story battle, because that's what happens there, but not in the intro of the game. Look, the Astral Chaos. It used to be called Catastrophe Chaos. Look, that's where the swords resides in the shards. Man, I don't care. Not anymore, at least. Worlds and time. I can't believe you used the term timelines. Were you really trying to capitalize on Marvel at this point in 2014? Are you serious? Are you out of your mind? I think they were. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. And now the stage is set yet again to disappoint anyone who actually liked the SoulCalibur franchise. Oh my goodness. I can't believe I played this game when I was younger. Look how bad that font is. Both of them are terrible. This might be the worst logo of SoulCalibur of all time. It's definitely up there. I'd have to look at those SoulCalibur mobile games. And look, you don't even have time to do anything. And then it just repeats itself. So getting footage for this game is difficult, and I don't want to use anyone else's footage. So what I'm going to have instead is a better game in the background, SoulCalibur IV, to you to look at while I talk over the game. All right, let's get into it. Bandai Namco and their infinite genius after Tekken Revolution decided to make yet another free-to-play game called SoulCalibur Lost Swords. It's a free-to-play video game that was essentially a glorified mobile game for the PlayStation 3 and only for the PlayStation 3. Why would they do this? Because they were trying to capitalize on the mobile market and at the same time the PlayStation market. That clearly failed. It was released on February 6, 2014 in Japan and April everywhere else in the same year. That Japanese date is important because it's related to the demise of this game. So let's get into the gameplay of this atrocious game. Similar to SoulCalibur IV instead of 5, this game used Soul Crush for getting collectibles and items from NPCs you fought to upgrade your weapons from quest mode into the Forge, or you could just purchase them again. Yes, since this was a glorified mobile game, it had microtransactions to either buy them or speed up when you could play again. It also had an AP system, which is an energy system that would regenerate like it would in Tekken Revolution, which did not help whatsoever. Repeating the same mistakes of Tekken Revolution did not help this game at all. They also put armor destruction in the game, and guard impact went back to normal, thank goodness, as it didn't require a meter to be executed, which was one of the few compliments I'll give this game if you consider bringing back a mechanic that was before SoulCalibur V a compliment. The newest mechanic was an elemental system. You could forge weapons that contained them, and had a rock, paper, scissors mechanic that had fire beating wind, wind beating water, and water beating fire. But what they removed from this game is what baffles me the most. They removed the ability to ring out any opponent you fought. Why would they do this? Was it necessary? No. It has been a staple in this series, this franchise, to ring out an opponent since the very first game. And we can't even have that in this free-to-play game? I'm surprised it was a DLC or a microtransaction at this point, using this absurd phone game business model for the PlayStation 3. But it gets even worse from here. There was going to be multiplayer for this game, but they decided to ditch it since they believed it would cause balancing issues. Let me read you an excerpt of quotes from one of the producers of SoulCalibur Lost Swords and see what you could make out of it. Originally, we were thinking about having a multiplayer option, Hoshino explained, but because we're going with a pay-to-win model, we were worried that by having online multiplayer for all the new users that would be coming in experiencing the game for the first time, they might be immediately deterred by fighting against opponents who had superior equipment and gear. Hoshino said that the pay-to-win structure doesn't have the same impact on single-player, while free-to-play broadens the game's appeal. The reason for going free-to-play wasn't so much about the business model itself, but the idea that we wanted to expand the market to the more casual user. We thought that free-to-play would fit the model better, he added. Well, he was wrong. Tell me this person understands how they could have coded a program to not allow high-level gear in ranked or any multiplayer mode, just like they did in Tekken Revolution. Did you forget? Why are these two groups underneath Bandai Namco not interacting with each other to let them know what happened in this game that didn't work that could work in SoulCalibur? I can't believe how disproportionately Tekken Revolution has these neat things and then SoulCalibur Lost Swords just flat out doesn't have it in it. Even though they're under the same company, it's absurd. It's terrible. Balancing issues are a valid concern, but the only thing they wanted players to balance was their wallet by spending money on this game, because even though it is free to play, it's essentially pay to win as well. One of the microtransactions was to remove the limiter on the playtime on the game, which was ripped straight from the standard energy mechanic of mobile games of the time, as well as Tekken Revolution. Now, after all of this nonsense, we can start talking about the playable characters in this game. You get 3 in the beginning. I did not stutter there. You get 3. 1, 2, bop 3. Mitsurugi, Siegfried, and Sophitia, which is already off to a bad start. Not saying that these characters are bad, the fact that you only get these 3. Then, when you choose the character you want to play as, you could only play as that character until you obtained character keys by completing in-game quests. Insane decision, but we must move forward because there's more. There are 14 more playable characters you can unlock, and I will list them off in alphabetical order. Amy, Astaroth with his SoulCalibur II outfit instead of his other outfits, Cassandra, Cervantes, Hilda, Ivy, Lexia, Maxi, Nightmare, Patroclus, Y, Pyrrha, Y, Raphael, Songmina, and Taki. How some of these characters made it in here but not in SoulCalibur V is baffling beyond belief, and this roster is stunted even compared to some of the earlier SoulCalibur games. It's not the best selection either, which also turned players away if they weren't already by the title screen. It made it look like Bandai Namco were, and even still, out of touch and allergic to consumers for how little sales they surely wanted or downloads for this free-to-play game. What makes it worse for them is SoulCalibur II HD Online released a year before and absolutely destroys this game in roster, gameplay, and having a multiplayer, which meant meant both games were competing with each other for players' attention. There were other characters in this game, but they were not playable and could only be recreated in the character creation mode. This game was taken off PlayStation for just under 2 years on November 30th, 2015, which there were no more updates for the game and service for it ended. It also has a terrible UI. Can you look at this screen and tell me that this is normal? There isn't a whole lot to even say about this game because the game mechanics are even less than Tekken Revolution, which is insane because SoulCalibur was all about presentation. How it looked in the beginning has some of the most iconic intros of any video game. But then you get all these cutscenes that are just copied and pasted from SoulCalibur V. It's so over. And turning this into a mobile game is insane. But Bandai Namco were really into it at the time. They also made a pachinko machine out of SoulCalibur. How soulless can you be? SoulCalibur became Soulless Calibur. Insane. Overall, this game should have never been conceived, and I wish I never played it when I was younger. This is by far the worst SoulCalibur game, and I'm glad the nightmare is finally over. More retrospectives and reviews on the way as we head toward the last game in the series so far, SoulCalibur VI this time. I know I forgot this game too at the end of SoulCalibur V. Meant to say at the end of Tekken 6 in the last video for Tekken Revolution. I don't know why I said SoulCalibur V. I meant SoulCalibur V for this game. Anyways, bye-bye. Thank goodness you don't have to play this game. Bye-bye. Bandai Namco Entertainment now. Bandai Namco Studios. Look how fast it's going. Unreal Engine 4. Oh my goodness, AMD software! Put nothing on there. Project Soul. Woo, SoulCalibur 6, baby. Look at it. Look at the swords.
SoulCalibur 6.
Wow, we actually got a voice to intro the game to let you know that it's SoulCalibur 6, a SoulCalibur classic, a trademark, if you will. I don't think it's a trademark. Other games have done it. Especially Resident Evil. That was made by Capcom. So this is the intro of the game, and I got to tell you some things that you wouldn't see on your second playthrough, but you would see when you're first opening up the game. Keyboard controls are told to you at first because I'm playing this on Steam. This is before the logo, by the way, that you get told all this stuff. And after you click into the game, you get network data could not be retrieved, and you have to reset the game if you want to. You don't have to. Before the opening cutscene. All this before the opening cutscene. I'm like, these are things you do after the opening cutscene, not before. You have all the logos of the companies that were involved. You have your intro cutscene, then you have the title screen, then you should do the controls and all that. Nah, they don't care. Just shove it in before even the logo comes up, where you won't even see the opening cutscene until I press a button, do the network data, and then we get into the intro cutscene. Are you out of your mind? But welcome to SoulCalibur 6. This is currently the last game of the franchise, the main line of the franchise. First off, I want to look at the logo. I do not like this logo nearly as much as SoulCalibur 2s or 4s. This is like corporate fantasy if I want to add two things together. It's very minimalist. It's not very creative. It's very cut and dry. It's like if you took Arial font or like Helvetica and just put some slight edges on it. That's what it looks like. It looks like it's made of barbed wire. It looks like Ivy's blade or something like that. But it's just too corporate. Everything's the same size. Where in SoulCalibur normally like the S and C are super large, but now they're all condensed and small. The shine, I guess, is okay, but that's not the right type of metallic. It's too clean. You know what I mean? That's why I say it looks too corporate, because it's too clean. There's no soul in it. And also the 6, I don't know why they made the 5 larger than the 1. It makes it look weird to me, especially because how thick the left side of it is and how skinny the right side of it is. What is interesting, though, that there is like a bluish, purplish hue on the left side, reddish orange hue on the right side. So you got basically SoulCalibur, Soul Edge, and then you have the yellow hue in the background. But you do have SoulCalibur and Soul Edge here, more of the original designs of what the blades look like, or close to. Obviously, Soul Edge was different in the first game because Cervantes had it and it changed its design based on that. But this is more when Nightmare wielded it, or should I say Siegfried when he became Nightmare. That's not a spoiler at this point. We're 6 games in. This is a new timeline, by the way. New timeline. We haven't even gotten to the game yet. I guess the night sky's okay. It's not like the backgrounds of SoulCalibur games are really that exquisite. Gotta check the network data. It's important. You know, there's clearly going to be a lot of online battles we'll be doing, not? All right, so this is your opening scene. You don't even see the cutscene when you come back into the game. They're like, nah, we're going to cut that out. You know what? We're going to watch the opening cutscene. That's what we're going to do first. I know this is going to be weird because we're going into story mode, and I have to click on prologue to watch the opening cutscene of the game again. I don't know if you could do it in options, but I need to show off what this game is now because there is a new timeline. It is a new story they try to introduce here. So, I don't know why it looks like Castlevania. I don't know why. This looks like Castlevania. Look at that Soul Edge, baby. I don't like that design nearly as much. It's weird because they have the original Soul Edge on the logo, but that's not it. So they have Cervantes take it, so this takes place after Soul Edge. But there's things that's different to the plot. So they just adapted the fact that, oh yeah, it does split into two and it changes based on the wielder. Something you see in SoulCalibur II when they change weapons. You can have a Soul Edge for every character and it's different based on their fighting style, which is cool. Also, this is lazy. This is the same thing I criticized with Lost Swords, so keep my criticism here, is that you're using these type of slides. Also, Sophitia beats him? What are you talking about? Why is Sophitia the one? I'm actually saying it right this time. Sophitia beating him. What? And then she doesn't even win. But look who comes next. Taki. Oh my god. Why are we throwing Siegfried under the bus for no reason? I do not get it. He is the reason why SoulCalibur, in terms of a franchise, exists. I'm not saying you could pivot to another character, but he's the reason why Nightmare exists. You already established that Siegfried is Nightmare for how many games? And look at this. He's changed from 2D to 3D for some reason. The 3D kind of looks a bit goofy, but it's in-game cutscene. It's not really like pre-rendered like they used to do. This intro is not very good because of that. You're known for making some of the best pre-rendered cutscenes in your intros of all time, and you do this instead. So somehow Siegfried still gets the blade and becomes Nightmare anyways. How does that make any sense? What? So the guy doesn't even get to beat Cervantes, but he gets Soul Edge anyways. And not only that, we're still in the plot of SoulCalibur Legends, a flop of a game for the Wii, a spin-off game that should have never had anything incorporated with the main series. But clearly someone in Project Soul wanted it to be a part of it. They like the concept of the evil seed, they like the blast. There was literally copy and paste cutscene. I just don't get it. I really don't. I mean, SoulCalibur V has that in their story mode, where they use those cutscenes, but not the opening cutscene of the game. Are you out of your mind? So I had to go here just to show you the opening intro cutscene. Like I said, I don't know if I have to unlock it in options or buy it. This is the UI of the game. And this is like the most cut and dry, uncreative element of this game. It's so bad. It's so cut and dry. What is this? Times New Romans blown up? Are you for real? Are you kidding me? Look how generic this is. It's like the backgrounds are cool, but the font's not. It's like the laziest fantasy medieval font you could use, and that's Times New Roman. But I do like the art in the background. I don't like the Photoshop filter, really. Like, I try to make it part of a page of history. I got that. But you could do that Photoshop filter easily. You know, I've done it before. It's trying to make it not necessarily like a book, but like a canvas. The canvas of a piece of art, which is interesting. Interesting choice. I don't know if it helps it, because look, you actually have fire animations in the background, so it makes it look weird on top of a canvas. There's even animations of the sunlight in the background. There's cool things like Clock Tower. Who cares about SoulCalibur 3's QuickTime events? Everyone remembers Clock Tower and SoulCalibur 3 because the freaking QuickTime event that every character goes through, no matter what. I like how all the changes in here are all the light. It's all light-based in the background in terms of their animations. They just like, it's mostly sunlight. This is kind of lazy in a way, because even though there's fantastical elements, you have the rocks, the ship. This reminds me of the C.S. Lewis book cover that you saw back then, where it was the ship out there in the sea. But the only animated thing really is the light. Everything has to involve something light. Sunlight, a flame, sunlight, which also has candles in the background, so it's a double whammy there. Sunlight. Sunlight and flames. Sunlight. A sunlight from the clock tower, maybe moonlight, which is just sunlight reflected off the moon. Sunlight. But the exit screen doesn't have anything. All right, so we're going to go into the options. As you can see, there's also little logos next to them. I guess that's okay. I guess they're cool. So you have a lot of options here compared to what you're used to because of the graphic settings and because of the keyboard settings that you'd get playing on computer. We'll go to screen settings. You can change your brightness if you want. You got your HUDs. You got your subtitles and battle cutscenes. Both players have combat displays and all that nice stuff. You have battle camera settings, which you have for Mission of Libra, so you have a more dynamic camera, but you could change it from dynamic. It seems to be backwards. Right is left and left is right. I don't know why. Which is cool. That's a nice addition. You got the music, sound effects, character voice, and narration voiceover volume. You also got to switch languages from English to Japanese if you want to. Here's your settings for your controllers. Here's your settings for your keyboard, if you want to play with a keyboard for some reason. Stage music, you got them all here, I think for the most part, unless I got to buy them. Here's the graphics settings. So this is obviously different from what you're used to in console, because we have all these different resolutions that we could set if we wanted to. We got without border and borderless, as they call it, full screen or windowed if you'd like. And you also have VSync, which is to go with your monitor's frame rate. My monitor is 180 frames per second, so I doubt this game runs at that. It doesn't seem like it, but it could be. You also have network settings, because obviously you can play online in this game. Data analysis. Do you want to give them your data? Here you go. No. There's display copyright info. So that's all you get in the options. You get a little bit more because the graphics setting, but it's not really that great. We're also going to go to the museum now. I usually try to get through with these in the beginning because they're usually the shortest and the least impactful in the game, but there is important things in them. Look at this portrait art. What you're going to notice in this game, there is a level of dissonance between the art and the actual 3D model, and you'll see with certain characters like Sophitia and and Talum are like the big two I saw in terms of their facial features that just look way off. Because this is a more of an anime style with the eyes being the way they are. But you'll see when the 3D model comes around that they try to make it more realistic. But this art's amazing. It's never really bad. It's not really like the worst thing you've ever seen in a video game ever. It's usually not like that. And they're good. These are just PNGs taken out of their backgrounds. That's why his foot's a bit yellow, because it was taken out of a background that was bright. So they actually cared about shading to a degree. And also it has the new lore of each character. So if you want to learn about Nightmare, he's male, unknown, he has a height and weight, soul edge, Y-hander type, soul edge, his memories. And you click on it, you can look at the weapon and style, you can look at the story, and that's pretty much it. So if you want all your info here, this is nice. This is not nearly as cool as SoulCalibur IV's chart where it showed how everyone's connected to Soul Edge, SoulCalibur, and each other. That was probably the best chart ever to show you lore in this game and why people are connected to it. I'm surprised they didn't bring it back, especially for this new game. Would have helped a lot more people out. So you have the library, we have an encyclopedia of things if you want to learn more of the lore of the game. The evil seed. I can't believe they brought back Malfested from SoulCalibur V. Surely that was a concept that sold the game. I can't believe you're adding things from games that did not sell well and putting into this game thinking this is the reason why this game would sell even well. I don't understand that. Bandai Namco, please. So I don't have a lot of character compendiums. 3 out of 59 is insane. I don't even know if you'll play that much to get there. Same thing with this, 61 out of 77, 142 out of 193. There's 51 blades I got unlocked. Oh my god. So there is a weird change in this game in terms of what SoulCalibur actually is, in terms of its relation to Soul Edge and everything else. Its real name is called Krita Yuga, and it's one of the 3 sacred treasures of Ling Shangsu Temple. What? It is in fact the Spirit Sword SoulCalibur. Why? Why are we turning SoulCalibur into Journey to the West and 3 Kingdoms now? Trade his life to create the legendary SoulCalibur. So he's the reason why SoulCalibur exists in the first place. I thought this was medieval fantasy. What are we doing in terms of the medieval part? We're getting the fantastical elements down, but I wouldn't say Journey to the West and 3 Kingdoms is really medieval. That's a European thing, especially the Crusades being a big hallmark of medieval times, but definitely a hallmark of knights' armor, the blades that they use. That's why Siegfried is like the main guy. He's like the pinnacle of what you think someone from a German empire or a German adjacent empire the time. And it's just so awkward to now make this a Chinese artifact. What are they doing? Why is this a Chinese artifact now? Bearers of the 3 sacred treasures. Shut up. Because look at Soul Edge. Soul Edge doesn't get that. Soul Edge gets to be its complete own thing, but SoulCalibur can't. Why has it got to be the 3 treasures? SoulCalibur should have been its own thing, just like Soul Edge is. Nah, it's a Chinese treasure now. Eastern mythology treasure. Sorry, I don't care, but that's where you can look at all the weapons. This is nice. This is nice to look at all of them. And they even give a little background story to all of them. I think this is a nice addition. Also, historical documents, Germanic intertribal strife. I have none of these unlocked because you have to buy them. Something I didn't show off before is that you could buy these. You buy them with your spirit points. You don't do that with this. Also, I wish you could actually see a closer look at the blade and the blade on the character. That's something SoulCalibur II had. Notice I can't buy everything in every place ever. There's also hidden records. Look, is that Solomon? That's the Libra of Souls mode. But there's other things to buy. We're just in library. Look, 3,700 to unlock SoulCalibur V gallery. And this is like concept art that they had of the game. Like what they wanted stages to look like. I mean, that's a SoulCalibur V stage. And a SoulCalibur IV stage. Similar to, they're not exact. Obviously, they changed it up a little bit. Look at that. Astral Chaos. Remember Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 where you land on the princess thing and you have to choose which weapon you want to use because choosing a weapon dictates your stats or how you gain XP throughout the game as well? See, that's the original illustration of Geralt. That's why his leg is bright. You got all this nice character illustrations here. They're nice. They're okay. There's not really much to talk about. They're just nice character illustrations. I don't know. Things you'd classically see in SoulCalibur. Look at this 20th anniversary. I actually want to show this off real quick because I think this might be a better intro cutscene than this game has, which is sad. The trailer should never be better than the game. Look at this. Oh, dude, look at that SoulCalibur 4 blade. Ew. Ew. Oh, look, a better game. Look at that intro cutscene. Are you serious? Soul. Remember when Cervantes was basically Scorpion? God, look at that. Those graphics. This is just to remind you of better games. It's so sad. This is what I'm talking about. How could you make all these intro cutscenes but couldn't do it for this game? Ew, they showed SoulCalibur 5. Oh, why are they showing so much of SoulCalibur 5? Are you out of your mind? Look at this. These are in-game cutscenes too. To be fair, these were also pre-rendered. Oh my god, they're actually mentioning Broken Destiny? Interesting choice, to say the least. Oh god, SoulCalibur 5. It's even stranger to talk about this because this is basically a new game and a new timeline. So none of this matters anymore. Oh my god, they actually mentioned Lost Swords? Look at this. They have to do in-game gameplay because how bad it is. Bandai Namco, dude, are you for real? Oh, legend will never die. Well, ooh, they used the freaking Lost Swords emblem. Gross. Oh, so Soul Blade's actually cheaper. Why is SoulCalibur 5,000? Why are the prices all over the place? Are you out of your mind? So these are combat lessons. There's too many. There's just too many in this, okay? You're just gonna have to learn as you play as well, because I don't think this is a proper tutorial, but this is basically part of your tutorial. They do have a training mode, obviously, to help you play the game, but there's new stuff in it, and I'll tell you about it. I won't tell you about every new thing ever. Reversal edges are new, and there's just things that I don't want in a SoulCalibur game. They tell you the moves of the character. Like, they tell you what your critical edge, the soul charge, and the reversal edges are. That's nice. If you also notice, the DLC characters are not in this because you have to buy them, which I'm pretty sure unlocks their lore and all that stuff. You got music, which you can choose from SoulCalibur 6. You can randomize it, and you can also favorite some that you like. There's tips for the game. Look. So this is the update history of the game that tells you what has happened in previous years. Previous updates. We'll get to the DLC, dude. It's disastrous. I can't believe they thought it was a good idea. Oh, I hate Bandai Namco in the modern era. I actually hated Bandai Namco as soon as they merged. Not when I was younger, but when I realized that everything was because they merged when I was playing through their games, I'm like, oh, this is getting worse as we go. So the first thing we're going to do is trading, which is in battle now. You have to hit battle and it shows off the other things. Kind of like SoulCalibur II, where you enter and it shows the different game modes.
Welcome to the stage of history retold.
That's nice. Retold. For better or for worse. I don't think for better. It's been 7 years. We don't have a new SoulCalibur game. It was not for better. So this is your character roster. As you see, there's empty on the right and left, which I do believe are DLC characters. So if you want to talk about a dissonance between character models and character art, look at Sophitia. Look at her art in her profile picture there, in her little hexagonal or her little star there, and look at her face in their character model. These are not the same character. This feels like a nitpick, but it's more like showing off the idea versus the execution. An idea is only as good as its execution. And it's not really a nitpick to me, because changing the face changes the character, does it not? If you change the art style of something, it's going to change what the character is, especially how they're being portrayed in this game. Because most of the time, you're going to see that they'll be using 3D models in 2D environments in terms of just using a 2D sprite or a 2D image of them, like a PNG or a JPEG, and be put on the left or right side of the screen for Libro Souls mode. Also, Geralt of Rivia, he's actually good in this game. You know who's also good in this game for once? Nightmare. When I say for once, I'm pretty sure he's probably a decent tier back then in some games, but this guy is insane in this game. We're gonna choose Siegfried. So I don't know if you have to unlock them in character creation by buying them, but you only get colors here. Just straight off the rip. You got different costumes without having to buy them in SoulCalibur II. And I bring up SoulCalibur II because it's arguably the best game in the franchise. It set the standard of what SoulCalibur was and where it was gonna head towards, at least at that time. Then SoulCalibur 3 happened. It's like, well, there's some good and bad in that game. The balancing, the character roster is very large, but I don't want a large character roster if half the characters just goof off characters. There's no point in them. We're gonna choose this color. This is just SoulCalibur IV Siegfried, but with new armor. Let's see, who should we fight? I mean, Geralt's nice. We should fight Geralt. And they got Geralt's voice actor too. They didn't cheap out on that. So I got every stage unlocked, almost. I think these might be DLC stages, or stages I have to lock in story mode or mission mode. I guess we should show off Kaer Morhen, which is Geralt's stage from The Witcher 3. This versus screen looks like something straight out of a rap album. I do like there's 3D models now. I didn't point that out. They went back to SoulCalibur 4 and said, you know what, we're going to do 2D art illustrations and we'll do 3D models. Thank you for actually doing that. What is there to say about this game? The movement is good. Might be better than 4. This looks goofy. I gotta say, problem why this animation happens isn't just you're sidestepping fast, it's because you're sidewalking too, basically. I don't like that delay. I don't think I ever really liked that delay. I don't think I ever really talked about it much because I don't think it was nearly that bad in like SoulCalibur 1 and 2, and maybe it is. But there's like a weird delay when you switch from sidestepping to sidewalking. It's like half a second or a second to where it switches, everything slows down too. People with motion sickness, I don't recommend this game. It is insane how much things are going in the background when you're sidewalking. Look at that, dude. Look how fast that is. Where he has to do critical edges in order to get his soul charge up. And these obviously critical edges are back. Don't know why. That's not what sold SoulCalibur V. That's all I'm saying. Like, this game could have gone without that goofy gimmick. So I think this is hits based on his critical edge, because I obviously went up a lot. See, that filled up the whole bar when I did it twice. So that's reversal edge, which you just basically do rock, paper, scissors. To see what your opponent would do, it's either A, B, or K. Why do we need a reversal edge? I don't understand it. This is you going in a circle. Isn't that crazy? It's that precise. It feels pretty fluid. I don't think I really have an issue with the movement. I think it might be better than 4 and 5. But like I said, with the background moving as quickly as it is, it kind of could be distracting. But it was kind of like that in SoulCalibur 4 and 5. I could put them on the screen just to show off the differences between these games to give you guys a reference to movement in this game, especially how the background moves. Look at that. Look how fast the background is moving just from doing this. Siegfried feels about the same as he would be. He's not a good character in terms of tier list. He's like middle maybe, if that. B tier. I like S, A, B, C, D. He's probably B tier. He's somewhere in the middle of the pack. They try to treat him like the Ryu of the game, but he's a great sword wielder, so he's obviously going to be limited, unless your name's Nightmare, which Nightmare is just usually better anyways. There's Soul Charge. Look, you like that? Also, there's Break Attack, and it's just a button press now, because since you're playing on PC, and even then, even if you're playing on console, you just have to press a button for most of these things anyways. Break Attack is just L1. L2 is also a grab. You can see that the damage is there. It's really too small. I don't know why they made it too small. The UI isn't too bad. It looks like something out of Saints Row the Third. It looks like the Saints Row the Third emblem. This feels out of place. It's too shiny. It has too much chrome on it, and chrome is something of the modern era, not of the past. I'm not saying Knight's armor couldn't be shiny, but chrome as a concept is more a modern thing. It looks more like chrome than like rust or the iron that was used back then, the steel that was used, Damascus steel, Japanese steel, stuff like that. I just feel like it looks too modern. Also, the soul gauges of the 2 and the burning symbol isn't that great either. They moved them in the center instead of having them next to the character, so it'd probably be easier to see in terms of your line of sight looking at a screen towards the center in most cases. But the life bar, it's too sleek. It's a freaking parallelogram, I think. It's some type of quadrilateral. I think it's a parallelogram or a rhombus. Multiple things like that. I don't know why. It's crazy to say give something more of an edge, but this feels more, like I said, Saints Row the Third, Saints Row the Fourth in terms of its design. But you can see what weapons you're using beside the character's font, which isn't that great, and it's too small. They could have made the font as large as the background life bar wings and stuff like that, the curls. They could have just made it go across that and would look better. Whoever UI designed this was just not that good. 4s is better than this. 2s is better than this. But yeah, that's pretty much how you play the game. Like I said, reversal edges are just rock, paper, scissors, and you can just press them whenever you want. But obviously they take time to charge up. And they clearly show an animation of it, so it's probably a bit easier to dodge. So you know it's coming. So if you want to be a part of the rock, paper, scissors series, you can be. I mean, fighting games have 50-50s in them, but now we're literally doing a 33-33-33 as if that's necessary. Look at this stance by Siegfried, by the way. The problem with Siegfried changing stances, this is some of the side thing I talk about, especially when I play Siegfried. Notice he has terrible movement. You have to commit in terms of changing stances, because if you don't, you're going to get hit. It's either you hit your opponent or they're going to hit you. This is why I don't like changing stances too much unless it's the middle of a combo, which I'm pretty sure that's what it's used for, but like, look at this. This is all you can do until you change out of it. Now you can do all the sick movement. Look at this. Just from those 2 stances. Isn't that insane? But everyone has their own gimmick, essentially. They have their own special soul charges, special move sets. Just like before, they bring some move sets back. I don't know what else to say about it. I just don't think it's as good as 2s. Kind of concerned it's not as good as 4s because of all the gimmicks in this game. The gimmicks I just don't like. We don't need reversal edges. We don't need critical edges that take forever to get through the cutscene. These are things I've already talked about. But these are your move lists. And I say our move list because there's 2. You can actually see your opponent's move list, which is awesome. Look at this. You even have reversal edge attacks now. This game already has a lot of moves you can do, as you can tell. This is saying a lot of movement in terms of what you could do as combo material and how to combo into things based on their frame data. You can tell what buttons are mapped to what, which is cool. So you can map them out wherever you want. All these different freaking moves. Are you going to keep up with it? Probably not. You're probably shrinking down to like 10 moves you'll use given a situation. But it's nice to see your opponent's moves so you know what they're doing in terms of their animation. So you know when to block, when not to. But Geralt gets the Axii, the Quens, Igni, the Erdens, the Ards. He gets all that cool stuff. I wonder why he's good. I mean, you also have combat lessons in here, like you would in the option screen. You have instant replay, position reset, and tell you where to reset. System settings. This might be the coolest feature I've seen involving online play, where you can train offline, but intentionally put frame delay to actually compensate for the lag or the input delay. That was about a second. About, I'd say. If not more. Might be the greatest online feature of all time now. That's a bit of an exaggeration. That is out-of-box thinking to do in a game like this. Maybe Tekken 7 has it. I don't know for sure. Maybe Tekken 8 has it. I don't know for sure. Maybe some other fighting games have it. I don't know for sure, but it's definitely unique to SoulCalibur now. They didn't have it before, now they do. You got your display settings. You have your controls of what type you want. You can clear all the settings if you want. You got Siegfried. You got Geralt. You can even change the character while you're in training mode. That is a good feature. So you don't have to keep backing out and going back in training mode to switch characters. So let's change Ivy and Cervantes. Why not? Classic. And obviously there's going to be a delay, but it's pretty quick. And now you're in. Look at that. Unblockable. So those are like the same unblockable attacks from old SoulCalibur games. Character models look fine. They're good. The motion feels good. I never really had a beef too much with that. It's more like the gimmicks that keep constantly get adding onto the game are really my main beef. I mean, so there's side beefs there too, but you also have dummy character settings that you could change here. You have gauge settings that it's always maxed out if you want. I mean, there's just so many training settings now. All right, let's go back to the main menu. So we've gone through training. Now we're going to go through arcade. So they actually have a goal to see how quickly you can get this done. We're going to do normal. And I want to show normal off because that's probably about what the average person plays at is normal, especially for a fighting game compared to most other games. They still have standby settings. Don't worry about this connection status. I'm going to choose Nightmare. I've already beaten with Nightmare. I just want to show Nightmare off again because how fun he is in this game. He's too good. I don't even think he's a broken character, but there's something about the idea that a great sword wielder is good is scary. That verse still throws me off every time. I do like the 3D models, but they're massive. They're like too close to the screen. Yay, opening dialogue. I wish the dialogue was better in terms of character interactions. They're not that great in this game. Look how fast this is. Dude, it's just... I'm like losing it as I'm playing it because of how quick it is. Look how quick that was. I'm just saying that this game is insanely fast. Notice how it's infinite time. All right, so I got to guess. Look, cinematic, isn't it great? Don't you want every game to be like Tekken 7 or Mortal Kombat X? Voldo's actually trying in this. That's crazy. Yo, I got a great. That font looks okay. The gray font's different than the logo font, which is different than the replay font. There's so many different fonts here. This guy is crazy. Look at that. And that's because I charged up Soul Edge, which you see the logo on the left side. See how quick that match was? We're on normal, by the way. Less than a minute. For 3 rounds. I don't like the 3 rounds, but this game is pretty quick. It compensates better than SoulCalibur V, in my opinion, in terms of its speed, but I still would rather just have 2 rounds. Look at these nightmares, huh? I wish this game had costumes already unlocked. That's so bad. I don't want to sit here and buy things in character creation because it makes me want to grind. I don't want to do that. Look at these maps. Look at that intro cutscene. The one thing you probably should take from Mortal Kombat is unique character dialogue and interactions. That's a good thing to take, not a bad thing. Wow, absolutely slaughtered him. It looks like I'm the real Nightmare. This Nightmare design's okay. That's all I gotta say. I don't think it's the best Nightmare design. It's pretty good. I think it's better than 5s. I don't think it's better than 4s. Grabbing is weird in this game because there's like a little pause. It's very clear that's meant to be the window to counter, to grab as well. You also have unique dialogue when you end, just like you do in regular SoulCalibur games. Raphael has glasses now. I don't know why. He looks like a lost librarian. What is he doing in this game with glasses? SoulCalibur V, he had a hat. Look at this desert map. I mean, this game looks pretty, especially for an Unreal Engine 4 game. All right, just grab him. I don't like that animation for the grab, especially the delay that comes with it. I'm not even gaining enough soul energy to even do my soul charge or my critical edge. I think they do that. Oh, okay. Well... If I'm going to keep winning this quickly, I don't think I'm going to get gold, but the fact that I'm just smoking these rounds on normal is crazy. What are you doing? You're just going to sidestep? The AI is not that great on normal. You really got to get a challenge on hard. Nightmare's voice isn't as good as SoulCalibur IV's as well. Like I'm adding side things as I'm playing because those are things that I've talked about. We don't need more anime characters in medieval fantasy. We don't need more anime characters. Stop adding them. Geralt is more related to SoulCalibur in terms of his design than Gro is. Geralt's a cameo character. This is supposed to be, oh yeah, this is a new character that we like. It's so cool. Look, he's got like a demon arm. Remember Nightmare? He's got the same color scheme as Nightmare. Isn't he cool? Oh my god, am I actually going to lose a round? That's crazy. I don't want to actually block. I don't want to... Oh my god. Jesus, when do I attack? It's weird that there's a difficulty spike between this character and Raphael. We were on the 4th stage and now they're actually trying for some reason. I never said I was good at this game. That's not my point. I can hit my critical edge now. Let's go! You notice he tried to hit me out of it? Oh, I got my soul charge on too? Yeah, baby. I think that does 80 damage, usually is around for most people's critical edge, which is the same amount of damage. Oh my goodness. Oh my god. Look at Siegfried. Oh yeah. Look, SoulCalibur II Nightmare. One of the best Nightmare designs. Oh, block. I tried blocking and I guess I didn't have enough time. Look, anime. You love Noctis from Tekken 7? I also don't like there's comeback mechanics. Don't give people free soul energy. Are you out of your mind? Why are you rewarding him? This is not Mario Party. I don't know why we're treating fighting games like Mario Party. You did poorly, therefore you deserve soul energy. Imagine having to watch this all the time. That voice does not work for that character model. That's why his voice was just an evil version of Siegfried in 2 for that reason. Because this is one of his alt costumes. It sounds more like Al Gore or Astaroth. That's what cracks me up about this. Double eagles as an emblem in the background. Very interesting choice. There you go. Wow, that was... Woo, that range was pretty good. Nope. Woo, grabbed her out of the attack. That's good. Give me some of that third strike action. Sorry, Taki, you gotta go. Don't start... What happened there? So what's the point of even doing it half the time? Oh my, that did damage? But that did damage to her health bar when she escaped. That's weird. Notice how I mollywop Taki, but Gro is like, yeah, we're gonna just go all out now. Zasalamel, yes, everyone's favorite character. Why does he look like Heavy from Team Fortress 2? What's going on with Solomon's character model? I can't unsee that now. My armor's already broken. Imagine breaking armor in the first round. Ooh, guard impact, huh? I actually started doing it. Playing defense is nightmare. Good one. Playing defense? Nah, I'm good. Nah, no thanks. I'm not playing defense anymore. I don't want to play with you anymore. But you get 8 battles in this, which is very nice. Much more in SoulCalibur V. See, look at Amy's face. It looks nothing like her art. It throws me off every time because it looks like a created character. That's why. Her character model just looks like something you'd find in character creation, which is why it throws me off so much. Give me that perfect. Thanks. This is a nice map. Like I said, the stages don't look that bad. They're kind of barren and empty, some of them. Why is the AI not trying now? They're not trying nearly as hard as they used to. Look how quick this is. Can you keep up? Does this hit? Okay, so it doesn't hit off like that. All right, good match. I don't know if you even want to use a reversal edge. It's probably good because it stops you from getting hit, but it's too much of a risk. When you do a reversal edge, you now have to play rock, paper, scissors to see if you get hit. And obviously, some characters are slower than others, so why would you ever reversal edge unless you can guarantee that you can hit your opponent during it? Huang might be one of the worst redesigns. He is not a Bloodborne character. Why does he look like the Bloodborne hunter? He was in the original Soul Blade. He's in SoulCalibur 1. Why is he a Bloodborne hunter now?
Those who stray from the path are lost.
Why is his voice so low? What is this? Holy crap. I hate Huang's redesigning this. Also, I think you do fight the same characters in arcade mode, or at least there's a pattern. He also has a unique gimmick with his peace thing, the yin and yang. I don't know what it does. I don't know what every character does, and I really don't care. This game's dead. We'll probably play an online match just to show you how it feels, but when we get there, I'll just show Steam charts and stuff like that, how bad it really was, on Steam at least. Oh, that was sick. Oh, that's hitting. Woo! Not saying Invincible Super, but it has priority animation. 8IT, that's not too bad. Grow gave me hard work, but like I said, the AI is not very good in arcade. Sometimes they'll start getting good for some reason. You don't get a special end cutscene, you don't get any of that. I still got silver. Look at that, Grow took 2 minutes, which was ridiculous, but notice how the average is even close to that. It's around 50 seconds, 50 to 55 seconds. But that one stage where Grow's like, yeah, I'm actually gonna start playing now. You can restart from the beginning if you want to get a better medal, but you already know, based on the first few matches, you can average those out. We are now going to get into Libra of Soul mode, and I'm not going to show everything off about this. See, I did a test mode, played it for 8 minutes. I'm like, why are we doing an RPG in the game again? I don't know why they're doing this. I still can't believe we're doing SoulCalibur Legends, man. It blows my mind that we're taking plot lines from SoulCalibur Legends. They really wanted to make a SoulCalibur RPG, but clearly did not know how to do it. They've tried it multiple times with other game modes, and it just doesn't work. As you notice, the Canvas Photoshop filter will be on a lot of this stuff. Wow, SoulCalibur is our main guy? This guy? I should have point out he was the villain of 3, and now we're just gonna make him a good guy. Why? I don't know. The choices made in this game of thinking what character would be best to introduce you to something is not SoulCalibur. He's not the guy. So this is where you can just straight up create your own character. There's a lot of options here. There's also a lot of different species. You can be Malefic, and it tells you a background story of what this is. They put a lot more time in character creation. You could be Revenant. Remember Revenant from SoulCalibur 3? Automaton? To be or not to be. Colossus. Sculptures graded life by Hephaestus. So weird to talk about Greek mythology. I know Sophitia had it in it, but this was a time to reboot the franchise. Is this God of War now? How many gods are there? Who made the swords? Are we just gonna loop back around in SoulCalibur 7? Actually, Hephaestus made SoulCalibur instead of it being a Chinese artifact of the legendary trio. But you got so many options here. I'll just choose regular guy. Look at these Greek portraits. Slightly tall. Look at it. Tells you there's legit stat change for this. For some odd reason, you get more power the smaller you are. In what world? How does that make any sense? That's one way to balance it. Not properly, but it certainly is. This is your neutral character in terms of reach and power. It makes sense why Amy and Raphael are actually good. Or at least Amy and some of the women character are good. Because even though they have less reach, they have really good power. If this is true for every short character in the game, which is a bad balance technique, because I think everyone would just want more power. You got your Dark Souls build, you get your upper arms, you can make yourself look ridiculous if you want. We'll just do that. He just got upper arm gains, but there's plenty of male faces in this. This is Libra of Souls. It's not character creation. Let's see, I love being a clown, so let's do that. Get those sharp eyebrows. Yeah, there you go. Adventurous youth. All right, unrecognizable. Have a nice day. We're not getting at the colors. Who cares? So this is where you choose your weapons, and it tells you how good they are or what they do. What weapon I'm going to use? I'm going to use Geralt's weapons to show it off. What is this, by the way? Bipolar pulse enhancement device. What? They're invisible, but it makes attacks impossible to predict because it's random. Bad. It's bad. You could also choose random if you wanted to. You see the loading stuff at the bottom left, but it's so fast that they're barely even there. Goofy, fantastical elements that I'm not really interested in terms of SoulCalibur. I'm not interested in these RPG ideas that they're trying to go through. I just don't think it fits SoulCalibur as it is in this game or other games. So you actually have like a health bar. You have the style which you choose, which you can change whenever you want. I don't know why. Why even have a choice to choose one thing if you can change it whenever? What the? Slenderman! That art style reminds me of the Slenderman pages. Take that as you will. So this isn't voice acted, I don't think. When I woke up, my head was pounding. You're finally awake! Are you kidding me? This is a Skyrim moment? Guys, we're going to Helgen. It seems you had quite the nightmare. Shut up. Whoever made this line, you're fired. You're ultra fired. Whoever translated that from Japanese, you're omega fired. The end of all firings. Like the end of this franchise. Amanda Hood stood at my side. His appearance suggested some quiet but strong-willed. A lot of tell and not show in this. We gotta tell every single detail as if we're reading a visual novel. You were affected by the evil sea. Remember SoulCalibur Legends from Western? It's so insane to talk about real places and then have these weird fantasy elements about some great seeds and some foreign blades. It's so absurd. They could have just made up the lands. I don't know why they just didn't do that. Is that an issue? You made up these characters. What difference does it make? That feels lazy. Symptoms vary. Are you freaking Advil? Is this a Tylenol warning? Okay, Surgeon General, is that Solomel? My pharmacist? I can't believe we're talking about the Malfested. That was not a good plot point in 5. Not going to be a good plot point 6. The idea is bad. We don't need Resident Evil zombie people walking around. The Astral Chaos. Remember the Astral Chaos that was barely brought up in any of the previous SoulCaliburs? It was barely talked about. It's a fighting stage, yes, at the end. But it's supposed to be a fighting stage at the end because it's a cool looking thing about an evil demonic entity. So this tells you part of the story of this. The thing is that they're trying to do what SoulCalibur II did, where you can change any character you want in order to change it to their fighting style. So they simplified and said, you know what, you can just use it in any style you want. That doesn't really feel unique to the playthrough then. This has no replay value to me. Even if there's different quest lines, this is just a one and done thing. There's also food you could select. Wait a minute, that's the food I got from my other character, so it does transfer over to a new game. So if I start a new game, I could just have all the stuff from the previous game? Why are they shared? Defeat your opponent. Remember SoulCalibur where they had objectives too? The air was I just don't care, dude. There's too much dialogue. There's too much exposition in this game. I didn't point this out earlier. Notice how they're using 3D models on this weird parchment-esque ancient background? Why do they have 3D models here, not 2D? What were they thinking with this? I don't understand. I understand they were already pre-rendered, but you had a choice between 2D art that was already made and then 3D models that were put in 2D backgrounds like this. They look so out of place. SoulCalibur Legends did the 2D thing, and that was more of an RPG game. It was action-adventure, but it had RPG elements in it, like Fire Emblem. You could also skip this whenever you want. You probably will be skipping a lot of things because you just want to get through it to unlock things, sadly enough. Especially when you're not playing as a character that you want. You play as their fighting style, but who cares? They're not them. So Geralt's pretty good. So Geralt's style is pretty good. He's pretty quick. I'm just pressing buttons. I know what the buttons do, but I am just pressing them. So that's your first opponent to get you introduced to the combat. The attacker burst into particles of light that soon faded. I can't believe we're having internal monologue stuff too. That's such a weird choice because they didn't go really with a blank character if I have internal monologue. Link doesn't have internal monologue like that. Mario in the beginning did not have internal monologue, if at all. That's what makes it so weird about this game is that you're trying to do like a pseudo self-insert character, but it's not because you're speaking and there's predetermined lines. You take phenomenal power from the fissure. We got to control the astral chaos. So in this game mode, you can choose to be good and evil, and we'll see that. I'm sorry I'm kind of skipping through this, but this is the boring stuff of this game. It just is. This is not fun or interesting to me. Didn't work at SoulCalibur V. You making it in this style is not going to make it better for me as a player. If you like it, good for you. It is not for me. And I've made that abundantly clear in other games about a similar style to this, especially SoulCalibur Legends, which is a spin-off game that they clearly just stole the ideas, or not stole. I say stole, even though it's from the same company, but it's just copying or repeating the same bad ideas that clearly weren't executed well. You get more levels. Yeah, you level up. They also tell you what year it is. Now in the real journey, you see the scales? The scales have tipped in balance in your favor of being a moron. They constantly repeat the nightmares. I don't even know if there's changes, really. It'll just do the same thing. I think the nightmares get worse, and there'll probably be a plot point that goes into it. But I'd argue this is just too long. Look at this. I watched as a colossal building. What are you talking about? Show me it. Why don't you just show me it? So this is where the two swords show up, and this is where you choose being good or evil. I'm going to choose Soul Edge this time. I chose the golden sword. See, Azur's sword is good.
Your soul resonates with the darkness.
With the darkness. I'm pretty sure he was the voice of Zemnis, so that's why I joke about darkness. You're a nobody. Ring out's disabled. What the? Hey, you okay? Dude, are you okay? You like my chin? Got a massive chin. It's insane. Everyone's got Chad face syndrome in this game. From the art to the character model, they do. Everyone's got like a prominent chin. It's not really rounded out, which is interesting to me. Also, you notice I couldn't change the difficulty for this. It is what it is. What do you go by? I told Maxie my name. Why wouldn't you just do that at the bottom left? Why would you put a dialogue in the middle instead of just putting the dialogue at the bottom and just put it in parentheses? An internal thought is usually done through parentheses. You didn't need to make a whole separate thing. And I'm talking about just being cost efficient. You didn't need to make a separate thing unless it was an overall narrator doing the story. If you just want internal monologue, just parentheses. I already have my character doing ellipses or a series 50-50 split. So I'm not going to go with Maxie because I'm evil. Oh no, it just automatic. Never mind. Player choice? There isn't really much choosing going on. Things are going to happen whether you like it or not. This is probably the last I'll play of this. After this, I'm not saying there isn't more to this. It's just not that interesting to me to keep going or show off in a retrospective. Again, we're seeing the same nightmare for the third time. I think we got it. We already do this. What's the point of having... Whatever, man. What was this? What's the point of this? Put that down here so you don't have to waste time doing this. It's not a nitpick. It's legit criticism. Come on, man. I thanked Maxie. Then just thank him in your dialogue. Why are you having internal monologue? Just make our character talk. If we were just going to have internal monologues, just make him speak in the bottom. It's not like it's voice acted. Suddenly a voice... It's so much exposition. So much exposition. Because if you don't like these characters, you're screwed. That's the worst part. If you don't like Zaz Salamel, you're not going to like the beginning. If you don't like Maxie, you're not going to like this. It's very character oriented. And if you don't like those characters, you're definitely not going to want to keep continuing to play the game, even if you like the gameplay. Because this is too story based. Even though we're in mission mode, this is based on its own separate story per se. But there's just too much dialogue. There's too much rambling, too much exposition, too much jawing away. All right, Killick Light. That's the worst part though, is that there's so much exposition and there's so much dialogue. So many things written on the screen that you have to get through. And then when you get to the gameplay, it's less than a minute. The gameplay is supposed to be carrying the game, but now we have the story trying to carry the game and it just doesn't work. It's not strong enough. The story in this game is not strong enough to carry the whole game. Shake your head. Nope. What is the point of that? Does that change anything later on? Why even give me a choice if we're just going to do the exact same thing? If the result's the same, why even have separate actions? Now I have 2 cakes because I didn't use it in the first game. This is when I quit last time because you literally have a group of people or an organization called the Qualifiers. I'm done. You clearly stopped caring. That's Libra of Souls. If you like that style of gameplay, you could play it. If not, you could do story mode or online instead. We haven't tried online yet, and I think we should do a little bit of online. Let's do 1 match of casual. So they tell you what casual mode does. Is there any rooms even available? There is 1, and they want a best of 5. I don't think so. I might as well just do ranked. The online's dead. If we don't get a match, then don't worry about it. But this is where I'm going to show you the Steam charts. This game did not do well in sales on Steam. It absolutely did not. This game was dead in the first 2 months, and even right now, it's still bad. But it's been 5 years out since the last update, I think. Can we find a match? Let's do 1 match, see how it feels, to show it off. But this game does have online mode, and this is the first time I'm actually getting to show it off in a SoulCalibur game. I didn't show it off in 4 to 5 for obvious reasons. I'm just going to keep talking through this, because when we get to story mode, it's definitely going to be interesting, too, because if you like the dialogue or hated the dialogue in Libra of Soul, you're going to get more in the story mode. Oh, you wanted show, not tell? Which was one of the best things about the intro cutscene of SoulCalibur, is that it showed you what the game is instead of telling you. That was another criticism of the intro cutscene, by the way, as well. But to be fair, there was a new timeline. I give a little bit of leniency and levity when the timeline changes, so you know what the changes are. Okay, we actually got a match. It probably is helpful for people that are new to SoulCalibur to tell them what the new storyline is now. Mitsurugi. Oh my god. I'm gonna get cooked. Please have good internet.
This should be a good fight.
Okay, I'm fighting a custom character as Nightmare. Oh my goodness. I'm probably gonna get cooked. I don't know if I'll be fast enough to grab. Nice. Good job. I'm going to lose. I'm whooping butt. I didn't think it'd be that easy. Also, it's interesting to do like a best of 2 with 3 rounds. I'm gonna get whooped. Oh my goodness, Nightmare's good. Oh my god, Nightmare's good. I only gave 150? That dude had the 3,000s. Oh my god. Why am I trying to grab? Oh, that was sick. That was awesome, actually. Nice! Look at that move! I should be guard impacting more, but blocking is just pretty okay in this game. Oh, I'm getting hit. Yeah. Oh, okay. Keep blocking that. Oh, that was a sick jump. I got him. I got him. Yeah, let's go. GG. Best 2 out of 3. We're done. Yeah, we won. Didn't feel like I won, though. Felt cheap. How do I not get more RP? He had 3,000 RP, by the way. And we're done. I'm not going to play more. So if you want to play that, go ahead. Now we are going to get into story, which is very much different. You saw it earlier when I played the intro to the game, but this is the main story. You can, if you want to, choose one character and go through their story. If you don't care about playing the main story necessarily, you can just begin an episode here. But we're going to do the main story. So you already saw the opening, and the prologue is just the intro cutscene of the game. The Ling Shang Su tragedy within the evil seed. Welcome back to the stage of misery. More of this canvas Photoshop filter on these things. I don't think this was a part of the original art. I think this is clearly a filter and it doesn't look great. Notice how this art's different from the other art they showed in the character profile portraits. It's got like 5 billion art designs, 5 billion different fonts as well. This art direction is all over the place. It's all over the place, man. Ah, yes, lovers quarrel. In the main story, we're starting off with Killick. I hate it. What this story mode tries to do is Dead or Alive, and it just doesn't work. And also, Dead or Alive's cutscenes were in 3D. This art was similar to Libra Souls in terms of Zasalamel's portrait. Like I said, the background's the same, so they just copy and paste it. This art isn't the same art they showed in the other cutscene with Killick. Why is SoulCalibur part of the 3 ancient artifacts? What are you doing? Astral Chaos! Look, a belt is a freaking artifact. Are you kidding me? Is this like Ninja Gaiden where they keep it in the clan? The Dragon Sword. Oh, this is Shuang Liang.
I thought you'd get greedy, Yuka.
This makes me frustrated because this is not SoulCalibur. This is Fire Emblem. This is Journey to the West, which we have a Sun Wukong game. Go play that. Oh no, SoulCalibur escaped. We got to get it back. It ruins the medieval fantasy aspect because now it just makes it more Chinese mythology than European mythology. Yeah, this is some interesting voice acting to say the least.
Was none other than my father.
Oh! See, my thing was, I wish SoulCalibur was more stringent about who could wield it. That made more sense to me. They didn't do that well in terms of the arcade endings, but they very clearly have a reason why Siegfried is wielding it for so long and not anyone else in the main story. There's supposed to be one chosen one. Not 15, not 10, not 5. One, and it's very clearly Siegfried. That's why they keep it consistent all the way through the SoulCaliburs to SoulCalibur V in the intro. Obviously, the time skip and they give it to Patroclus. Terrible mistake. And now, instead of using Sophitia's kids as a plot device, we're now using Killick and Shang Liang. I'm not saying they were never important characters. They are not the main characters. I don't care for them. I care for Siegfried because he's the plot. He's the plot catalyst. It's not simple bias. You have shown me time and time again as I'm talking over their dialogue because there's too many. I don't care. When you push the plot forward, you're wasting my time. I would have to choose another episode if I wanted to do something else, but this is the main story, which is why I chose this. If you want a more complete story, you'd play the main story. You wouldn't just play everyone's episodes. Hell on Earth, Evil Seed, Mortal Kombat, the Shaolin monks. Even this random monk got portrait art. So this is where you play as Killick and you just whoop this monk. No soul charges. Who cares? I'm Killick. Do you know who I am? This looks too much like Asuka Kazama too, but I see the long hair and it's like, okay. Wow, I sure hope Killick becomes the main wielder of SoulCalibur. I stopped mid-sentence. God, there's so much dialogue. This is the same criticism as SoulCalibur V. Oh, it's Edgemaster, so he is in the game. Whatever. I don't like that now everyone has a sacred artifact. That's dumb. That's not the point of SoulCalibur. If your artifact was so good, you wouldn't have been going after Soul Edge and SoulCalibur. Just pointing that out. You're ruining the point is that everyone has their own destiny. Where everyone is trying to choose their own destiny by either getting Soul Edge or SoulCalibur, for better or for worse. But Soul Edge gets to be a special blade all on its own. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm sorry if I'm making this insufferable for skipping this, but it's just dialogue! You could watch this on YouTube and not change anything because there's not enough gameplay. That's the worst part about it. I want a game. I don't want a visual novel in SoulCalibur. What? What are you talking about? A second Soul Edge? Oh, shut up. Oh my god. Let's get down to business to defeat the Huns. God, we're having a montage. We're gonna fight a bear in the wild. What is this, Baki? All right, who is it?
Sometimes things reveal themselves. I understand.
What is this? This is your test character that you made in Libra of Soul? What are they doing? And the squeals make this so much worse. This is great. This is actually great in the worst way possible. This is B-movie schlock stuff. All around me are a million faces. Worn out faces. Worn out places. The dreams of where I'm a clown are the best I've ever had. I don't know what to say. This is not going to combo. I did my critical edge, it hit, and then it didn't do the critical edge. Boom, look at that kick. I didn't even knock him off the stage. It seems to be a little bit hard to get ring outs if you're not just juggling in midair. Oh my god. Oh my god, more dialogue. Okay, we actually get to fight Edgemaster? Do I unlock him if I beat him? Because I know Inferno's in this game, but he's not available for on. What? You don't even get to fight Edgemaster? I'm so done. I'm tired of Killick. This is the main story, by the way. Main story! And it's just nothing but killing? Look, Taki's supposed to show up here. Maxi's supposed to show up here. Why do I need to play all the separate modes just to get to these characters? I think I'm done. I'm suffering. I'm done. This last Soul Calibur game. 'Tis the time for the best thing about Soul Calibur in the modern era, which is character creation. And this game, by far, has the best character creator. Okay, AMD Software, stop coming up on my screen. I got it. So you have many slots like you do before, but you have 100 in this game. Way more than the previous games. You also get to choose original and Soul Calibur character customization. So if you want to customize, let's say Mitsurugi, who's on the screen with Sophitia, you could do that. But let's do an original character. This is the newest stuff that hasn't been in Soul Calibur 4, which is a race selection. You have Human, Outcast, Lost Soul, Winged, Residents of the Astral Chaos. That's wild. Lizard Man. Why is Lizard Man not in the game? If you have him as a race type, that's weird, unless he's DLC, which that sucks if he is. I don't think he is. Mummy, Automaton, Shapeshifter, Colossus, Malfested fully transformed, Malfested mutated, Malfested when it's starting out, Revenant, who is a character in Soul Calibur III, Darksider, wow, I love War, I love Death, Lost Soul Horned, Malefic, and Hidden Village Clan, hidden in the leaves, hidden in the sand, hidden in the sound, Naruto! If you want to be a ninja, my Ninja Clan, Ninja Clan. You could be one in this game. This is a crazy amount of selection for character creation. It seems like they cared way more about character creation, arguably, than anything else in the game, simply because of how much stuff is in there. There's clearly more effort to do this stuff than there was in any other part of the game, sadly enough. Let's be Shapeshifter. Look at these portraits. What the? There are many customization options. Did you know that? There are many. So you can choose your character, of course, of what style from. Obviously, I don't have all the characters unlocked, nor do I have DLC characters, so we're going to choose, let's see. I like Cervantes. Look at those two weapons, baby. Official flags. These are weapons? Are you kidding me? Okay. Oh, you got the anime pack. Yeah. Holy. So one of the things you could do here is you could change, just like you did in Libra of Souls, you could just do the upper arms. Because Libra of Souls is just the same thing as this, except there's more options in this, obviously. Well, for Shapeshifter, I'm not saying you can't see a difference, but it's Alien? Okay, that's good. So you got all the options like you do in previous Soul Calibur games. The Samsara hood. Dude, is that Solomon? Yeah, that's the best one. Of course, going to use that. Why wouldn't you? We just need to be the goofiest guy we could be. No, that's a bit too much. Come on now. Dragonfly wings, dude. See the absurdity. I mean, Tekken has this too as well. Is this the absurdity of thing? But like I said, it was a hitbox, hurtbox situation where you just don't know for sure why this is not used in official tournaments. The Purge Gauntlet. That's what Gro's weapon's called? Are you serious? This piece is incompatible. Okay, so there is some incompatible pieces. That's good to know. They're not just letting you do hodgepodge of everything on top of everything. This is the most fun you have in a game like this, man. It's like Soul Calibur 5 and even 4, arguably. You can just put a boot on your head. Good enough. So this is my character. Dude, we still gotta do colors and all this stuff. Okay, I'm not gonna do every little thing. I'm just here to show it off as part of this retrospective. You're not without options in this game. You can choose what comments and greetings you can have for each character upon which situation. Look how many there are. That's insane. You can also take a picture if you like with different... I should go back in there. With different frames. Bad with 2Ds this time. We can even do a mock battle, which is so good. I always like this option to show off what your character can do. This is supposed to be Cervantes' moveset, so it's not like you get crazy new movesets. You just get Cervantes' moveset. You know what's throwing me off? The alien voice. You can also use this online, as you've already seen through the online battles, so if you want to fight people like this, you can. But even in the mock battle settings, you have a lot to choose from here. Oh, wait, hold on. Finish editing. You can share it online, too. Yay. I'm not doing that. Bye-bye. I'm not sharing it. Nope, it's mine. We could actually get to the price of the game of DLCs. So we're actually gonna try on hard. I'll probably get my butt whipped. So let's talk about the price of this game. This game's still $60 7 years later. Are they out of their minds? Do they really think that anyone would buy this $60 on a dead online game? It should be down to $20 now, if that. I mean, it does go on sales and I'll show the sales, but the DLC is so expensive. Even when they're on sale, some of the DLC is more expensive than the game when it's on sale. I bought this cheap. I'm still criticizing it based on that. This game is too expensive. Bandai Namco does not know how to sell a game based on prices. Everything is too expensive for a dead game. And that's the worst thing about Bandai Namco. It wasn't nearly as bad in SoulCalibur 4. But now, these days, they want everything to cost $1 billion. It's been true for Tekken 7. It was true for Tekken 8. It's been true for Sparking Zero. It's horrendous. Why would anyone want to do anything with this at this point in this game? That's why this game is so dead. I'll pull up the Steam charts just in case to show you no one cares anymore. They stopped caring the first 3 months it came out. They were done. If Bandai Namco's make things so expensive as they're releasing these character passes and all of these DLC DLC characters that should have been in the game. Hilda should have been in the game. Look at the list. You know these characters that have already been mainstays in the series. Hilda was in 4, right? That's why I say she should have been in the game. 2B is a cameo character from another game. I'm fine with her being DLC as a concept, but the execution of the price is not the best. I know one who's going to buy this game, and it proved that with the sales numbers. Apparently, this game sold better than SoulCalibur V, but I don't think it sold better than 2. And like I said, this is multi-platform game. Multi-platform, and it still couldn't outsell 2. And I know 2 was multi-platform as well. It had 3 consoles. But in the modern era, you'd think that a game made in 2018 would maybe sell better, especially at how far it's gotten into its franchise, than the second game in the franchise. Love that winning pose. It's the best winning pose for Cervantes by far. One of my favorites since Soul Blade or Soul Edge, depending on where you're from. They did not learn the mistakes of the previous games of 4 and 5. They're overpricing things even worse than before. DLC characters way too many, and characters that should have been in the game are now DLC characters. It's ridiculous. I don't even know what to give this game. This is horrible that this is the last game of the franchise. I gotta say, overall, especially as a guy who's played every other game, it's just not great. It's just not. This cinematic style gameplay is not great for SoulCalibur. It wastes too much time. This is the epitome of what is good and bad in SoulCalibur. Thank you guys for staying this long in this review retrospective of SoulCalibur. More reviews and retrospectives on the way. I hate Bandai Namco. I wish they were a better company, but they're not. They don't care anymore. Have a good one on me. You're not welcome back to the stage of history. Apparently, that's what Bandai Namco said. We're not bringing it back. I don't know if there'll ever be another SoulCalibur game. We'll see. It's been 7 years. If they wanted to make one, they could have done it by now. They usually take 3 to 4 years to make, so have a go on me. Bye-bye.
Victory goes
Bye-bye.
to the last one standing.